Onion wiped away his tears and looked at Zhang Wanwan with a wry smile. I was completely drawn into the play by you. I really didn't expect that your acting skills are so strong. Wanwan. Yeah, I was stunned. I even thought it was the old movie star himself acting. Shang Wei also praised. It was really too strong. We lost with a sincere heart, really. If there is a chance in the future, I must work with you on a play. Zhang Wanwan smiled and said. Okay, remember to pick a better script. Director Chen came over at this time. Just when Zhang Wanwan thought that Director Chen would have a constipated expression on his face again and reluctantly give her 20 yuan, Director Chen actually showed an extremely gentle smile. He was so happy that he felt like he had seen his own daughter. He gave the money to Zhang Wanwan with a smile. He also said with satisfaction, it was a beautiful win, and the performance was really good. I declare that the Penghu Bei team won all 3 challenges. The champions have secured their presidential suite. Well, it's getting late now today. S-Lib broadcast will end here. Tomorrow, everyone will officially begin a new survival and love mission in Lianyu County. I hope everyone is ready. See you tomorrow. After saying that, Director Chen walked away laughing. Zhang Wanwan felt confused. Finally, he pulled Shen Feng aside and asked, is Director Chen crazy? Shen Feng touched her head. Then do you want to return the money to him? Zhang Wanwan immediately put the money in her pocket. Don't even think about it. Don't worry, he's not crazy. He's just too happy. Zhang Wanwan was puzzled. You are still happy after losing money. Isn't that crazy? Shen Sheng took out his cell phone, opened Weibo and took a look at Zhang Wanwan. Zhang Wanwan was stunned when she saw it. Old actor forwarded the link of the live broadcast room of dating. The old actor praised Zhang Wanwan's acting skills. These 2 trending searches are both in the top 10 of the trending search list. Zhang Wanwan clicked on it and found that Xu Yilin, the veteran actor who is called a national treasure by countless filmmakers, not only reposted the live broadcast room of Let's Start Dating Today on Weibo, he also posted a separate Weibo post to comment on her acting skills. It's very short, only 8 words. The master craftsman is very skilled in his craft, and the young are to be feared. Chapter 58, I have to go back and make more mistakes. Xu Yilin's influence in the domestic film and television industry is equivalent to Jordan's influence in the basketball circle. Now, he not only posts on Weibo, but also reposts the leap broadcast room of a dating variety show. Some people even used comments like, the great craftsman is so skilled. The young ones are so promising to evaluate Zhang Wanwan, who is considered a second-tier traffic star by many people. If this doesn't make it to the hot search list, it would be the weirdest of all. Leap broadcast room. This was forwarded 10 minutes ago. At that time, Zhang Wanwan had just started her performance for a few minutes. The comment was posted 3 minutes ago. At that time, Zhang Wanwan had just finished her performance. Many people arrived a little late and saw nothing when they clicked on the link to the live broadcast room. So I hurriedly went to Xu Yilin's Weibo and asked others what had happened. I heard that these 8 words are used to evaluate Zhang Wanwan. What did Zhang Wanwan do? I'm late, can someone explain it to me? Why would the old movie star forward this live broadcast? Did he get paid to advertise for someone else? In the comments section, some people even began to question whether the old actor had received money. In response to this, Xu Yilin's fans who watched Zhang Wanwan's performance just sneered and sent a video link. Why forward it? Why praise Zhang Wanwan? You can find out by watching this video yourself. So these spectators went to watch the video again. It was the part performed by Zhang Wanwan and Meng Yan. Zhang Wanwan's acting skills and suppression power surprised the onlookers. Is this the acting that young people should have nowadays? Isn't she a traffic star? How come she is so powerful? The temperament is almost the same as that of the old movie star. No wonder the old movie star gave such an evaluation. As a result, more and more people flocked to the live broadcast room with a black screen. Zhang Wanwan glanced at the number of people in the live broadcast room, which had exceeded 150,000. She couldn't help but complain. Is Director Chen crazy? It's rare that so many people are watching. And he actually turned off the live broadcast in advance? But she also understood that Director Chen turned off the broadcast to avoid suspicion. The veteran actor suddenly reposted the post and it became one of the trending searches. The show became so popular that it was inevitable that it would be targeted by some interested parties. It would be better to turn off the live broadcast in advance and let the heat settle overnight. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan got into the elevator while checking their phones. I plan to go back to my room and rest. Zhang Wanwan was scrolling back through the comments in the live broadcast room during her performance. Wanwan's eyes are killing me. Husband, Wanwan is my husband from now on. How can a woman acting as a man look so handsome? And she's not wearing any makeup. This is killing me. Feng Zi is also my husband. Wanwan is also my husband. Ooh, Both husbands are good, how should I choose? Only children make choices. I want them all. Are you worthy? Aren't you afraid of having 6 locks put on your head? Zhang Wanwan laughed so hard while watching this. But as I was having fun, my cell phone lost signal. Zhang Wanwan had no choice but to put down her phone. Watching the elevator go up floor by floor, Shen Feng stood beside her and suddenly whispered, "Someone calls you husband, are you quite happy?" Zhang Wanwan raised her little face proudly. "Yes, this is a recognition of my acting skills." Shen Sheng leaned close to her ear and whispered, "But someone calls my wife husband, I'm a little unhappy. What should I do?" Zhang Wanwan blushed. She turned her head away from Shen Feng and muttered, "There are still people calling my husband hubby, I'm not happy about that either. What do you say you should do?" Shen Feng smiled and said, "How about this, I'll punish you and you'll punish me. A small punishment, and a big warning." Before Zhang Wanwan could reply, Shen Sheng kissed her on the side of the face. Then he smiled and said, "I have given my punishment, it is your turn." Zhang Wanwan blushed. "Reach out your hand." Holding Shen Feng's face, caressed Shen Feng's face for a while. Then, he pinched it hard. Shen Feng almost cried because of the pain. Until the elevator stopped, the two got off and returned to the room. Shen Sheng was still covering his face. Zhang Wanwan felt a little guilty when she saw this. She was just too embarrassed to kiss Shen Feng in the elevator. So she pinched Shen Feng as if she was upset. "I didn't expect Shen Feng is still in pain now. Could it be that she used too much force?" After thinking about it, Zhang Wanwan moved closer to Shen Feng and took his hand away from her face. He stood on tiptoe, tilted his head back, and kissed the place where she had just pinched him. And he looked at Shen Feng pitifully and said, "Fengzi, are you feeling better now?" "I'm sorry." Shen Sheng shook his head. With a painful look on his face, he said, "One time is not enough. Maybe I need to do it a few more times." Zhang Wanwan thought about it again. And he picked up a vase on the table, and said pitifully, "And then I'll knock you out, and your face shouldn't hurt anymore." Shen Feng. Why is his younger brother so violent? Seeing that Shen Feng had calmed down, Zhang Wanwan smiled triumphantly. She knew that this guy was pretending. "You are too young to fight with her." Zhang Wanwan put down the vase with a smile. Then Shen Feng said, "Give me 2 kisses and I'll make you a burger tonight. 3 kisses and I'll make you a barbecue. This 4 times. And I'll give you a steaks too. Otherwise, just order takeout tonight." Zhang Wanwan picked up the vase again. But Shen Feng had a heroic expression on his face. "Then if you knock me out, I won't be able to cook for you tonight." Zhang Wanwan. Zhang Wanwan, but Zhang Wanwan, Zhang Wanwan, how can you be so disappointing? Are you going to be taken down by him over just one dinner? Zhang Wanwan thought to herself. And he put the vase down and took a deep breath. Forget it, just take it. Who can resist delicious food? She walked to Shen Feng and kissed him 3 times on the face like a chick pecking at rice. Just when she was about to kiss him for the 4th time at the speed of light to end the battle, Shen Feng, who was originally sitting on the edge of the bed, suddenly stretched out his hand. He hugged Zhang Wanwan in his arms. And he turned over and lay on the bed. Zhang Wanwan's already hot face turned even redder. Before she could say anything, Shen Feng's kiss was already imprinted on her lips. Shen Sheng had been enduring this kiss for a long time. Zhang Wanwan performed really well today. It was so excellent that even Shen Feng was amazed. This is his youngest brother. Sure enough, it is more dazzling than the others. It was so dazzling that Shen Feng wished everyone would praise him. But I don't want anyone else to see it. This kiss lasted very long. Zhang Wanwan felt her body was getting weak and powerless as she grew older. Shen Feng then let her go. Zhang Wanwan's eyes were filled with mist. And she said softly, Now, what should we eat tonight? Are you still having dinner tonight?" Shen Sheng brushed the messy hair away from her face and said, "Let's eat Zhang Wanwan tonight, what do you think?" As he said that, Shen Feng was about to lean over and kiss her again. As a result, before the kiss ended, there was a knock on the door. Shen Feng, who was interrupted, took a deep breath. After sorting out my clothes, I left the bedroom and walked to the door of the suite. Opened the door. Outside the door, Jiet Nan was looking at Shen Feng excitedly and said, "Brother Shen, you are famous, you are famous." Today, after the old movie star commented on Zhang Wanwan's acting skills, it attracted a lot of viewers. Those viewers who couldn't watch the live broadcast went to search for video clips. The little love song you sang with Wanwan before. The tacit guessing of the lyrics, the earthy love words. And your highlight performance today, etc. The number of views has soared. And several of them have become trending searches. Especially the part where you confessed your love in the hotel kitchen during the day. It's already gone viral. Oh, by the way, Brother Shen, are you and Wanwan really? Jiet had not yet finished his words. Shen Feng slammed the door shut. Jiet Nan looked at the closed door in front of him in astonishment and scratched his head. He thought, didn't he say anything wrong? Why does Shenfeng seem so angry? After a little thought, Jayat Nan suddenly reacted. Could it be that Shenfeng was angry because he just wanted to say that Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan might be a real couple? That must be the case. Brother Shen confessed his love to Wanwan just for the sake of show effect. In fact, he and Wanwan just have a pure brotherly relationship. Brother Shen was angry because I misunderstood their pure friendship. Jayat Nam felt that he had guessed the truth. Shensheng closed the door and returned to the suite, rubbing his forehead. He must have cheated Jayat Nam too many times before. So this was his retribution. I will have to make more mistakes when I come back. Thinking about it, Shenfeng decided to go back to the bedroom and continue with Zhang Wanwan. But the bedroom door was locked. Shenfeng knocked on the door, but there was no response. Wan Ji, open the door, let's go eat. Okay? Shensheng asked tentatively. No, I'm not hungry. Zhang Wanwan said. Then where do I sleep tonight? Aren't there 2 bedrooms in the suite? You can sleep in the other one. Shenfeng. Damn, I was careless. If I had known this, I would have given this suite to Jayat Nan when I took on the challenge today. No matter how Shenfeng tried to persuade her, Zhang Wanwan just refused to open the door. Be firm in attitude and resolute in will. It seems that I can only use that trick. Shenfeng murmured and left the suite silently. Chapter 59. Let's announce it officially. Hotel kitchen. Shenfeng bought some ingredients and cooked a few dishes for Zhang Wanwan. Because it is not recording time now, Shenfeng can spend his own money to buy things. He specially bought the best ingredients from the kitchen. After Shenfeng prepared the dishes, he brought them upstairs. Then they were placed one plate after another in front of Zhang Wanwan's locked door. Shenfeng knocked on the door and said, "The dishes are ready. We have your favorite sweet and sour pork ribs, come out and eat." I won't eat it. You are so evil, Fengzi, and you have bad intentions towards me. I won't be fooled into opening the door for you. Zhang Wanwan in the room muttered. The dishes Shensheng cooked tonight were all full of fragrance. Even through the door, the fragrance still drifted into Zhang Wanwan's room. Zhang Wanwan was very greedy when she smelled it, but she still showed her determination for once. This Fengzi just made it clear that she wanted to do something weird. Although Zhang Wanwan was not opposed to doing this or that with Shenfeng. But this is a hotel after all, and we are recording a show outside. Zhang Wanwan doesn't like this kind of environment. Shenfeng outside the door said helplessly, "Wan Ji. I was wrong. I was too impulsive just now. I won't do that now. Aren't you hungry? Open the door and come out to eat." "No, at least until tomorrow morning. I won't open the door." Seeing that Zhang Wanwan was so determined, Shenfeng had no choice. He could only take out from his pocket a piece of wire that he had just asked Uncle Li for in the kitchen. He poked it into the keyhole of the room. In fact, his real purpose for coming downstairs just now was not to eat these dishes, but it's this piece of wire. It's a shame to say. When Shenfeng had nothing to do, he also learned a little about lockpicking. Although I haven't reached that advanced level where I can travel around the entire community with just a bowl of instant noodles, but the level is pretty good. The wires swung up and down in the keyhole. With a click sound, the door of Zhang Wanwan's room was pried open by Shenfeng. Shensheng was about to push the door open. As soon as I pushed the door open, I heard a ouch sound from behind the door. Just now Zhang Wanwan heard Shenfeng stop talking and wondered what Shenfeng was going to do next. So I ran to the door and planned to eavesdrop. Shensheng suddenly opened the door and hit Zhang Wanwan's head directly. Zhang Wanwan squatted on the ground, covering her head with her hands in pain. Shensheng didn't expect this either. He hurried forward and squatted beside Zhang Wanwan. Rubbing her head, he asked, "Wan Ji, I didn't notice you behind the door just now. Does it hurt?" Zhang Wanwan looked at Shenfeng aggrievedly and nodded. "Shall I give you a blowjob?" Zhang Wanwan shook her head. "Shall I give you some ice?" Zhang Wanwan shook her head again. "So how can you feel better?" Zhang Wanwan didn't say anything, but her stomach growled. Zhang Wanwan glared at Shenfeng with a red face. "Do you understand?" Shensheng laughed out loud, picked her up and placed her on the rattan chair next to the round table in the bedroom. Several more dishes were brought in. Zhang Wanwan blushed and started to eat the ribs. While eating, she glanced at Shenfeng secretly. Then he asked in a low voice, "Oh, how come you can even pick a lock?" "I learned a few tricks just in case." Shenfeng said. "What are you worried about? Are you afraid that you'll forget to bring your keys?" "No, I'm afraid that one day I'll piss you off and you'll put a ring lock on my bike." Zhang Wanwan. "This joke can't be overcome, right?" She snorted and took 2 more mouthfuls of rice. He mumbled vaguely. "You just irritated me, you know that." Shensheng smiled bitterly and said, "I know, I was wrong, I won't dare to do it again. I'm not saying that it won't work in the future, I just want you to pay attention to your environment." Zhang Wanwan's voice became smaller and smaller. "At least in our home." Having said this, Zhang Wanwan no longer dared to look at Shen Feng. She covered her red face by eating hard. Shen Feng smiled and nodded. Okay, then wait until we get home. Zhang Wanwan ate a few more mouthfuls of rice. But vaguely, Shen Feng heard Zhang Wanwan say hen. After dinner, Shen Feng cleaned up the dishes. When he finished cleaning up, he found Zhang Wanwan sitting on the bed, browsing her phone. His eyes were shining and he looked very excited. Seeing Shen Feng coming back, Zhang Wanwan hurriedly called out, Fengzi, come and see. We are really famous this time. Although Shen Feng had just heard Jie Adnan say it once, but he still pretended to be curious, stepped forward and asked, "What's wrong, what happened?" Zhang Wanwan handed the phone to Shen Feng and said, "After the old actor forwarded our show, many passers-by began to search for clips related to our show. And those fans in the Peng Hubei topic started to recommend our previous videos to others. Now the number of views of Little Love Song has exceeded 1 million. And your Weibo followers have exceeded 100,000. It hasn't even been a week since your debut." Zhang Wanwan was very excited. Shen Feng checked Weibo and saw that there were many new people in the topic of Peng Hubei. And those old fans of Peng Hubei are promoting his and Zhang Wanwan's videos in various ways. Not only has the number of views of the Little Love Song soared, but even some video clips that were just released today have hundreds of thousands of views. For example, the segment where Zhang Wanwan's performance was highly praised by award-winning actor Xu Yilin, had a higher number of views, reaching 700,000. Shen Cheng first inferred the floor where the room was located based on the light in the room, and then quickly solved a competition-level high-level math problem. The video, as well as the video of conversations in multiple languages, also had more than 100,000 views. Whether they are fans or passers-by, their opinions of Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng are extremely high. I used to think Zhang Wanwan was just a traffic star, but now I realize that this is all prejudice. Wanwan is too strong. I am already over 40 years old, and I have never chased after any other star except Xu Yilin. Now I want to chase after Zhang Wanwan. She really has the feeling of Xu Yilin. She is not only beautiful, but also a great singer and actress. She is a real star. Is Shen Feng really a new artist who just debuted? He sang this Little Love Song without accompaniment or reverberation so beautifully. I was stunned. Fengzi is so handsome, he is proficient in so many languages and is also so good at math. He is a super academic master. If young people were chasing after these stars, there would be no need to regulate fan clubs now. These are all positive stars. I am obsessed with this couple, I am obsessed with them. I have never chased such an interesting couple. Although I just got into the game today, I still want to shout out, the Circle Lot couple YYDS. The reviews online are almost one-sided. Even if there are black fans or water armies, it's almost impossible to start, because there is really almost nothing to criticize about Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. As an actress, Zhang Wanwan's acting skills can be praised by veteran movie stars. Just for this reason, no haters dare to criticize her. If you criticize Zhang Wanwan, isn't that the same as criticizing the old actor for his poor vision? As a newcomer who just debuted, Shen Feng is handsome, has strong singing ability, is proficient in multiple languages, and is also strong in mathematics. Some internet trolls wanted to discredit him, but his fans responded with, "Are you half as good as him?" The Navy was silenced on the spot. Even though Shen Feng only has 200,000 fans now, he cannot compare with those big stars with hundreds of millions of fans. However, no one can tell how many fakes there are among those stars, how many robots and how many dead fans there are. But Shen Feng's 200,000 fans are all real living fans. No water added. The fighting power of this group of active fans is quite strong. Shen Feng was browsing Weibo and a smile slowly appeared on his face. He returned the phone to Zhang Wanwan. He took out his mobile phone again and forwarded a video using the Weibo account that the company had applied for him. As soon as Zhang Wanwan picked up the phone, she heard a ding-dong sound. Someone her on Weibo. She clicked on it and found that it was Shen Feng. Shen Feng forwarded a video and specifically at her. Zhang Wanwan clicked on the video in confusion. The little face immediately turned red. The clip in the video was the scene where Shen Feng held her hand and confessed his love to her in the kitchen in the afternoon. "We will definitely be very happy in the future." Shen Cheng in the video spoke clearly and firmly. Before Zhang Wanwan could come to her senses, Shen Feng in front of her had already moved close to her. He whispered in her ear, "We will definitely be very happy in the future. So, my late brother, let's make it official." Chapter 60. This is the power of your late brother. Tonight, the topic of Peng Hubei has exploded. First, Shen Feng forwarded the video in which he confessed his love to Zhang Wanwan. I reposted the video of my own confession, which in itself is no different from an official announcement. But before the CPS and the circle could get excited, A bigger piece of news came out. A few minutes after Shen Feng forwarded the video, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan posted another Weibo at the same time. Shen Feng from Lime YU Entertainment, Wan brother Wan. Do you want to walk the road together in the future? Picture. Zhang Wan, I don't want to go with you. I want you to carry me on your back. Picture. Just looking at the interaction between these two people, there are already problems. But the picture they posted is the real problem. Both of them followed their Weibo post with a picture. The pictures are exactly the same. They are all photos of the marriage certificate. This is obviously an official announcement, and it is a certified official announcement. The CP fans of the Quan Suo couple, as well as the passers-by fans who just started paying attention to Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan today, are all going crazy. I really did catch up with her. I really did catch up with her. I can't stand it. Ever since Shen Feng confessed his love to me this afternoon, I felt that there must be something wrong between them. I didn't expect that they were both confirmed to be people with a history of sexual misconduct. These two people have their certificates. Can the production team shoot some scenes that are not suitable for children for us adults to watch in the future? No, Shen Feng is obviously my husband. I just became a fan of him today. So how come he has already made it official? Aren't they good brothers? They've made the official announcement. What should we, the buddy fans, do? I don't agree. They are a perfect match made in heaven. How can you, a monster, object to this? Just a passerby. I just watched their clip today. They are really a good match. Blessings. This trending search quickly jumped to the top 10 on Weibo. TP fans are partying, brother fans are wailing, and passerby fans are blessed. Even veteran movie star Xu Yilin reposted their Weibo posts and sent his blessings, while the entire Weibo community was in an uproar. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were leaning against each other. He looked seriously at the cell phone in front of him, which was on speakerphone. Sister Lin's loud voice came from the phone. Shen Feng, Zhang Wanwan, do you two want to rebel? Last time Zhang Wanwan posted her marriage certificate, I almost died of worry, but this time you two announced it together. You didn't notify me when you got the marriage certificate before. And you didn't notify me when you made the official announcement this time. Every time I only found out after the fact, so I, as your agent, am responsible for cleaning up your mess. Zhang Wanwan whispered. Yes. Zhang Wanwan. Sister Lin yelled. Haven't you learned your lesson from the last breach of contract fee? How dare you do this again? Zhang Wanwan closed her mouth. Shen Feng said, Sister Lin, according to the contract, Wanwan only needs to pay the company liquidated damages if it make us negative public opinion impact. This time we made the official announcement. Not only did it not have any negative impact, but there were so many people supporting it, and it also had a positive impact on the company. The company won't ask us to pay for breach of contract, right? Besides, both Wanwan and I are very popular right now. Especially Wanwan, who was reviewed by the veteran actor. The company is eager to find ways to improve the relationship with Wanwan and renew the contract. How could they ask Wanwan for compensation? After Shen Feng finished speaking, Sister Lin was silent for a moment. Then she snorted coldly and said, You dare to make such a bold official announcement just because you know that the company won't cause you any trouble, right? Certainly. Sister Lin sighed. Indeed, the company doesn't dare to cause trouble for you, and has even been urging me to find a way to renew the contract with you. But I still want to say that if you have such important matters in the future, could you please discuss it with me first? I am an old man. Please don't bother my little heart anymore. Zhang Wanwan quickly smiled and said ingratiating lie. Sister Lin, you are still young. Besides, there won't be anything like this happening again in the future. We will only make an official announcement once anyway. That's true, never mind. I don't want to pursue this with you guys anymore. Sister Lin hung up the phone again. Then a message from Sister Lin popped up on Zhang Wanwan's WeChat. Zhang Wanwan opened it and found that it was a red envelope sent by Sister Lin. There was another sentence following it. Silly girl. Congratulations on finding your other half. I wish you happiness. Sister Lin is really something. She scolds her, but she still cares about her in her heart. Zhang Wanwan accepted the red envelope with a smile. Click to take a look. 6.66 yuan. Zhang Wanwan's smile suddenly froze. She was about to type a question to Sister Lin when she saw that Shen Feng had also received Sister Lin's WeChat message. But what Shen Feng gave here is not a red envelope. It's WeChat transfer. 6,666.66 yuan. Zhang Wanwan's smile disappeared completely. Biased. Just when Zhang Wanwan was feeling aggrieved by Sister Lin's discriminatory treatment, another caller ID popped up on her phone. When Zhang Wanwan saw this, her eyes became even darker. She was about to answer the call, but her phone was taken away by Shen Feng. Zhang Wanwan was stunned. Shen Cheng nodded at her and said with a smile, "Leave it to me." Having said that, Shen Feng took his cell phone and walked out of the bed. Answered the phone. 1-1, what's wrong with you? Did you really get married to Shen Feng? Why didn't you tell us such a big thing? Zhang Ziyuqi's angry voice was heard from the other end of the phone. Chen Sheng closed the bedroom door and walked to the balcony of the suite. Looking at the night view of Lanyu County outside the window, he slowly said, "Uncle, I am Shen Feng." On the other end of the phone, Zhang Ziyiqi was stunned. Just when Shen Sheng thought that Zhang Ziyiqi would become even angrier, Zhang Ziyiqi's voice suddenly became calmer. "Shen Feng, I haven't talked to you for a while. Do you remember what I said to you last time? I said you shouldn't be with Wan when you don't deserve her." Shen Feng nodded. Then he said sincerely, "Uncle, you are right, I was indeed not worthy of Wan at that time. But now I believe that I can give her happiness. I know that my uncle doesn't think highly of my family background and abilities. I hope he can give me some time. In a month, I will give uncle a gift. And he will understand that I am not talking big." Zhang Ziyiqi wanted to say something. After hesitating for a moment, he suddenly changed his mind. The tone changed from being calm before to becoming somewhat arrogant. "Okay then, I'll wait for your gift, but don't brag. If you can really prove that you can make Wan happy, then I am willing to hand Wan over to you." After saying that, Zhang Ziyiqi hung up the phone. Su Yan, who was beside him, was watching the edited video of Shen Feng and Zhang Wan with a smile on her face. While asking, "What's wrong?" Was it Feng Zi who answered the phone? Zhang Ziyiqi nodded. Su Yan pushed him and said, "And why don't you explain it clearly to Feng Zi?" Zhang Ziyiqi smiled bitterly and said, "Shen Feng himself said that he would give me a gift in a month to prove that he can bring happiness to Wan. Since he is so ambitious, I must give him some encouragement." "Hey, how come you read so much while I was on the phone? Go back a little, I haven't finished reading the last one." As Zhang Ziyiqi spoke, he rewound the video that Su Yan was watching a lot. In fact, at the beginning, Zhang Ziyiqi and Su Yan were extremely opposed to Shen Feng and Zhang Wan being together. In the first 2 days when Zhang Wan and Shen Feng appeared on the variety show, Zhang Ziyiqi even acted as Shen Feng's black fan and caused trouble in the late broadcast room. But slowly I watched the late broadcast day by day. Zhang Ziyiqi and Su Yan's moods changed. In front of them, Zhang Wan always appeared honest, gentle and obedient. But they rarely saw Zhang Wan smile in front of them. I always thought that Wan was just like that. Until I saw the late broadcast. Zhang Ziyiqi and Su Yan only then realized that their daughter had such a cheerful, cute and spoiled side. And Shen Cheng was nice enough to Zhang Wan during the live broadcast. Tolerant enough, even overly doting. Zhang Ziyiqi and Su Yan are experienced people. They certainly hope that their daughter can find a rich and powerful man and live a better life. But at the same time, they also hope that their daughter can find someone who is truly suitable. Obviously, Shen Feng is the right person. So after following the live broadcast for a few days, Zhang Ziyiqi and Su Yan had actually tacitly agreed to Shen Feng and Zhang Wan being together. In the past 2 days, they have even started following various video clips. He started to support his daughter and Shen Feng as a couple. There's no way, it's just too interesting. The reason why Zhang Ziyiqi called Zhang Wan angrily today was not because he opposed Zhang Wan and Shen Feng being together. He was just a little unhappy that his daughter didn't tell him such an important thing earlier. My mood is actually similar to Sister Lin's. When he found out that the person who answered the phone was not Zhang Wan, but Shen Feng, Zhang Ziyiqi originally wanted to admit his mistake and apologize to Shen Feng. Tell Shen Feng that what he said last time was wrong and that Shen Feng is worthy of Zhang Wan. Unexpectedly, before he even apologized, Shen Feng started talking a lot. He also said that he wanted to prove that he was worthy of Zhang Wan. Since Shen Feng said so himself, Zhang Ziyiqi didn't explain anymore. He also wanted to see what Shen Feng's abilities were. After answering the phone, Shen Feng returned to the room. Zhang Wan looked at him worriedly and asked, "Did my dad say anything unpleasant?" "No, don't worry." Shen Feng rubbed her head. "I'm here. I'll take care of it." Zhang Wan nodded and then yawned loudly. Seeing this, Shen Feng said, "Are you sleepy? You didn't get enough rest yesterday. If you are sleepy, go to sleep first. You have to get up early to complete the mission tomorrow." "Alright." Zhang Wan lay on the bed. Shen Feng wanted to lie next to Zhang Wan. But Zhang Wan rolled over and took Shen Feng's seat. He glared at Shen Feng and said, "Go sleep in the other bedroom tonight." Shen Feng was stunned. "We just made it official. Are you going to separate?" Zhang Wan blushed. Just today, I need you to calm down. Anyway, you can't sleep with me. Do you hear me?" Seeing Zhang Wan's face baring her teeth as if she was about to bite someone, Shen Feng could only leave the bedroom helplessly. Zhang Wan slammed the door shut and locked it. They also confiscated Shen Feng's wire. Shen Cheng looked at the closed door and always felt a little pitiful for himself. On the night of the official announcement, CP fans on Weibo were all partying. The person involved wants to separate from Wanwan. No, absolutely not. Shen Cheng thought about it. Finally he pulled out his cell phone. I found an audio ghost story and turned the volume up to the maximum. Standing at the door of Zhang Wanwan's room, he listened. 5 minutes later, Zhang Wanwan opened the door with red eyes and pulled Shen Feng in. Shen Feng smiled. This is the power of wisdom. But he didn't have time to feel proud. And I saw Zhang Wanwan found some ropes from somewhere. They just tied him up tightly and threw him on the bed. This is the power of your late brother. Afterwards, Zhang Wanwan also lay down on the bed, hugged Shen Feng as a pillow, and fell asleep. Shen Feng. Chapter 61 New Mission officially begins. Zhang Wanwan slept very comfortably and peacefully. The next morning, I woke up full of energy to greet the sunshine. Oh Shen Feng, he was tied up for the whole night. I feel numb. It's really numb. After Zhang Wanwan untied him, it took him a long time to return to normal. Zhang Wanwan felt guilty seeing this. Fengzi, I was wrong. I shouldn't have tied you up for so long. Shen Feng sighed. It's okay. I shouldn't have scared you. Well, so next time you scare me, I'll just knock you out. Zhang Wanwan said. Shen Feng. I stretched my muscles and freshened up a bit. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan went downstairs. In the hotel lobby, the production crew was already waiting. Director Chen was so happy when he saw Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan coming over. Xiao Shen, Wanwan, come on, have you had breakfast? I brought you some. Zhang Wanwan looked at the breakfast handed to her by Director Chen in astonishment. After a moment, he looked at Director Chen and asked, "Did aliens capture you and transform your body, or are you possessed by a ghost?" Director Chen waved his hand and said, "What are you talking about? Wanwan, come and have dinner with Xiao Shen." At this moment, Xiao Qianshu and Chen Lu's group also came down. Seeing the breakfast in Shen Feng Zhang Wanwan's hands, Chen Lu excitedly asked Director Chen, "Director Chen, are we serving breakfast today?" You know, when they were recording the show before, they had to take care of their own breakfast. They often can't afford breakfast because they have no money. Director Chen's face immediately fell. What are you thinking? This is a survival dating show, why would we give out breakfast? But Wanwan and brother Shen. Chen Lu pointed at the breakfast in their hands. That's what they just found in the hall. If you have the ability to pick it up, oh pick it up too. Chen Lu and Xiao Qianshu were both dumbfounded. Can you find the McDonald's breakfast set in the hotel lobby? Or is it packaged, 1 or 2 servings? Director Chen. You are fooling fools. Zhang Wanwan was chewing on a hamburger, looking at Chen Lu and Xiao Qianshu who were looking at them with envy, and she felt a little bit sorry for them. She thinks she is a kind person. How could she do such a thing as eating alone while others watched? So Zhang Wanwan made up her mind, ran to a corner and ate secretly. Shen Cheng squatted beside her and asked while eating, "What are you doing here? I am a kind person and I can't bear to let them just watch but not eat. So let's just not let them see it at all." Shen Feng. The two of them quickly finished the breakfast given by Director Chen. In fact, Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng both understood why Director Chen was so enthusiastic today. Yesterday, Xu Yilin reposted the live broadcast room for Zhang Wanwan, which in itself brought huge traffic to the program team. Last night, Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng's official announcement once again became a hot topic on Weibo. So even before the show officially started today, there were already many people waiting in front of the live broadcast room. Director Chen has been shooting variety shows for so long, but he has never seen so many audiences. Now he can't wait to worship Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. After breakfast, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan returned to the program crew. At this moment, Shang Wei and Meng Yan had also gone downstairs. Both of them greeted Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan and congratulated them. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan made their official announcement last night, and Shang Wei and Meng Yan both reposted the Weibo to express their blessings. To be honest, they had never thought that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were actually witnesses. They are a genuine couple. You two got married at such a young age. But we are still single. It makes me feel a little sad when I think about it. Meng Yan said to Zhang Wanwan with a smile. Ever since seeing Zhang Wanwan's acting skills yesterday, Meng Yan's attitude towards Zhang Wanwan has changed 180 degrees. The way he looks at Zhang Wanwan now is like looking at his own sister. Zhang Wanwan chatted with Meng Yan, while Shang Wei found Shen Shen. He patted Shen Feng on the shoulder and said, "Shen Feng, you're amazing. You dare to make an official announcement right after your debut." Shen Feng spread his hands. What's so great about this? Do you know that many popular celebrities dare not expose their love affairs for fear of losing their wife and girlfriend fans? Shen Feng laughed when he heard this and said, "My fans all became fans of me after watching this variety show. Most of them are fans of my couple Wanwan and I. When Wanwan and I made the official announcement, they were so happy. But it will be hard for you to attract more girlfriends after this. You are an all-round newcomer who is also handsome and has a bright future ahead of you, Zhang Wei said. Chen Feng shrugged. I don't want to attract girlfriend fans or anything like that. I just have one Wanwan and that's enough for me. Zhang Wei thought about it. Finally, he gave Shen Feng a thumbs up. A good boy, you are really different from those young handsome guys. I will definitely contact you and Wanwan when there is a movie to be filmed. Don't complain that my brother is not a high-profile celebrity. You must show some favor to me. Chen Cheng smiled and nodded. Be it Zhang Wei or Meng An, Chen Lu, Xiaotian Shu, Jia Tanan, and Li Ding Ting are also good. In fact, they are not bad people. Although they are not of high status, they are all pretty nice people. It's great to be able to make these friends when I first entered the entertainment industry. Soon, Jia Nanli heard that group also came downstairs. Li Ding Ting seemed to be in good spirits. But Jayatnam is a bit miserable. At this moment, he had dark circles under his eyes and looked like he had not yet woken up. And the expression on his face was particularly ugly. Seeing this, Zhang Wanwan couldn't help but complain. Xiao Jia, why do you look like someone who lost money in gambling and couldn't sleep all night? When Jia Nan heard this, he immediately looked at Zhang Wanwan. Are you a fortune teller? Zhang Wanwan. She just said it casually. And it turned out to be right? Xiao Jia, how can you gamble? Don't you have any idea about your luck? Jia Nan cried and said. This has nothing to do with my luck, it's all your and Shen Feng's fault. Zhang Wanwan was stunned. Blame her and Shen Feng? What did they do? Yesterday I went to see Shen Feng. Just when I was about to ask him if he and Zhang Wanwan were really a couple, Chen Cheng closed the door. Jia Nan pointed at Shen Feng and complained. He looked very angry. It was obvious that he didn't like me saying that they were a real couple. I thought at the time that their love was purely brotherly. And they deliberately expressed their love in front of the camera to cater to the audience. There are fans of yours in the game group I play. So I said in the group that you two must be brothers. But someone in the group argued with me, insisting that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan are real. And even said he wanted to bet with me. Jia Nan wiped his eyes and said. I thought I had first-hand information and I would definitely not lose to him. So I made a bet with him. Zhang Wanwan looked at Jia Nan. What did you bet with him? Was it really money? It's not the money. It's the equipment in my game. I spent more than 10 Zero to get this godly equipment. It's full of my hard work. And then, we just made the bet not long ago. You two actually made it official. And we even have a marriage certificate. Jia Nan grabbed Shen Feng's arm. My divine suit. It was given away with a snap. It was given away. Shen Feng. Why did you lie to me? Why you Shu? Shen Cheng helplessly shook his arm away. She looked at him seriously and asked, when did I lie to you? And I say in person that Zhang Wanwan and I have a pure brotherly relationship? You're imagining too much. Can you blame others? As he spoke, Shen Feng thought of yesterday again. When I thought about how I almost did this or that with Wanwan yesterday, but was interrupted by this guy Jayat Nan. Chen Feng added another sentence. You deserve it. Jayat Nam burst into tears again. After Jayat Nan calmed down, Director Chen officially started the LEAP broadcast. The audience who had been waiting in the live broadcast room were all excited. Today is the weekend, so there are a lot of people here. In addition, there was the traffic from Xu Yilan's Best Actor award yesterday, and the official announcement of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan last night. So early in the morning, nearly 150,000 people crowded into the live broadcast room. Don't underestimate the big anchors on the live streaming platforms, who can gain millions of fans every time they broadcast. But popularity does not represent the number of people. For those anchors with millions of popularity, the real-time online audience is often only tens of thousands of people. It's completely incomparable to the number of viewers of Let's Start Dating today. The Dating Live broadcast room has really become popular this time. Director Chen also knew that there would be a lot of people in the live broadcast room today. Therefore, he had carefully prepared for today's challenge. Everyone, the variety show date, has been going on for many episodes. Many viewers said that our survival and love variety show is good enough in terms of survival, but not enough in terms of love. Director Chen smiled slightly. So your tasks today will all be related to love. Please invite all the guests to come here to receive the task cards. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan received their mission cards. And their tasks were all played in the live broadcast room. Seeing the two people's common mission and secret mission, the audience in the live broadcast room cheered. Director Chen is awesome. This is what we want to see. As expected of a group that has obtained a marriage license. The standards are different from other groups. I'm new here. Is this secret mission so exciting right from the start? It has finally changed from a survival variety show to a love variety show. Is this the power of official announcement? On the screen, Chen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's joint task was normal. In the mall, choose a way to express your love to your partner. But a secret mission is not normal. Zhang Wanwan's secret mission is: have your partner carry you like a princess as you visit 5 stores in the mall. And Shen Sheng's secret mission is: take your partner to the designated fitting room and kiss your partner in the fitting room. Chapter 62, You Want to Teach My Feng Zi, Are You Qualified? La NYU County, Qiande Shopping Plaza. This is a project that La NYU County has invested heavily in recent years, and it has finally entered the trial operation stage. During the trial operation period, entry to Qiande Shopping Plaza is limited to 1,000 people per day. People from the dating program team or GRAM team are also among the 1,000 places. When the 4 groups of guests arrived at the shopping mall, except for the group of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, the first thing the other 3 groups did was, they all went straight to the dining area on the 6th floor of the shopping mall and had breakfast. What kind of survival did you say? You're eating breakfast right away. What kind of survival is this? Yes, shouldn't survival be more difficult? Look at Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, they didn't go to have breakfast. This is the survival spirit of the program team. There are many new audiences today. Therefore, when new viewers saw the 3 groups of guests going straight to the dining area to eat breakfast, they felt that it went against the meaning of the word survival in the survival of variety show. Shouldn't survival be a hard life? At this moment, and all the audience came out to explain carefully. These are the experiences they have summarized in the past few days. Eat a full breakfast, complete the secret mission in the morning to earn some extra bonus. Use the bonus to buy lunch to fill your stomach, and wait for the subsidy from the program team for dinner. Only in this way can they survive the day with the least amount of money possible. When the new audience heard this, some of them felt that it made some sense. But some people don't understand. Then why don't Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan eat breakfast? I don't know about that, because generally speaking, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan are the ones who eat the most in the richest breakfast. Maybe they have no appetite today. Director Chen couldn't help but be amazed when he saw this comment. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan indeed ate the most and the richest. The McDonald's meal for the people cost about 20 to 30 yuan each. Let's take a look at the other 3 groups of guests. Either he was munching on a sesame bun that cost RMB 1.50 each, or he was eating a tea egg that cost RMB 1.00 each. Even so, their faces were still filled with happy smiles. After all, this price is really cheap compared to tourist towns. There are also new viewers who are curious. Are these guests really that miserable? This is just a variety show, you can't really let the guests go hungry, right? When Director Chen saw this comment, he immediately asked someone to put the remaining funds of several groups of guests on the screen. The first things to appear were the assets of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Penghu Bei combo, 125 yuan, $100 a day. You still call that survival? You have to high a standard for the quality of life. That's right, I can survive for 5 days with this $100. Your program crew's survival gimmick is a bit fake, isn't it? When the new audience saw it, they found that the 2 of them had assets totaling more than 100 yuan. I immediately felt that the program crew's survival was too fake. Boring. Then, and they saw the assets of the remaining 3 groups of guests. Unpleasant combination 6.5 yuan. Mighty combination 5.5 yuan. Tianlu combination 2.5 yuan. A new audience was silent. After a while, a new viewer asked, is it because 1 digit is missing or the decimal point is in the wrong place? What's the situation with that $2.50? The old audience was shocked to see the new audience members. It feels like seeing country people coming to the city. DSK, it's not missing any. This is the real asset of the other 3 groups of guests. You can go watch Xiaochun Shu and Chen Lu's group yourself. They both had to break a sesame seed bun into 2 halves before eating it. Those who said before that they didn't want to survive, please come out and say something. New audience, I understand the reason. But I want to know why Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan have so much money. Old audience, silly boy, I recommend you to watch yesterday's recording and the video clip of the Penghu Bei Group fraud record. Then you will know why they have more money. Also, remember in this show, the Penghu Bei Group is responsible for the love part, and the remaining 3 groups are responsible for the survival part. While old viewers are gradually leading new viewers to understand the program, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan had already taken a quick walk around the shopping mall. During this period, I met their fans several times. Even though Qiande Shopping Plaza is only open for trial operation this time, it only allows 1,000 people in every day. But in fact, a considerable number of these people came for the show Let's Start Dating Today. Feng Zi's husband, Wanwan's husband, you are both my husbands. You must be happy just like now. A little girl wearing glasses was screaming excitedly at Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan the groundhog. This attracted the attention of several shop owners nearby. I've been following the show since the beginning. And I thought at that time that you two must be real. I'm so happy. Can you two kiss in front of me? No. You can even hug me. As long as you can hug me, I'm willing to do anything. The girl yelled. Zhang Wanwan and Shenfeng looked at each other. Then the two hugged each other. This caused the little girl to scream again. She looked at Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan with shining eyes. But saw Shenfeng go to the shop next door to get a piece of paper and a pen. The little girl thought Shenfeng was going to give her an autograph. She was even more excited. As a result, I saw Shenfeng writing on paper for a long time. It was a full 5 minutes later that Shenfeng handed her the paper. The little girl looked down. I found that there was an advanced math problem on the paper. Didn't you say you'd do anything? Shenfeng smiled and looked at the little girl. Looking at your age, you should be a college student, right? Then solve this problem. Little girl. Looking at the dazed expression on the little girl's face. Everyone in the comments was laughing wildly. The girls are all dumbfounded. Just now I was jealous. Why this sister could see Fengzi and Wanwan hugging each other in person. Now I am not jealous at all. When Fengzi kept writing on the paper, I realized something was wrong. I can only say that he is worthy of it. What is a positive energy star? Other stars will only make you spend money to get on the charts. And will only trick you into buying albums to support endorsements. But Shenfeng is different, he will only force you to do questions. If I answer a question and my favorite couple hugs me, I will definitely be admitted to Peking University or Tsinghua University. After watching the fan walk away with the advanced math problems, Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan took another walk around the shopping mall. They are looking for ways to accomplish a common task. Their common task is to choose a way to express their love to their partner in the mall. Since you are choosing your method in a shopping mall, verbal confession and the like will definitely not work. There is a confession wall on the first floor of the shopping mall, but Shenfeng felt that it was a bit glitch. Just as he was thinking about how to better express his love, Shenfeng heard the sound of piano coming from the hall on the first floor. There was a piano in the hall, and Shenfeng Zhang Wanwan saw it as soon as they arrived. It was obviously a demonstration piano for guests to play. At this time, before displaying the piano, a young man was striking the keys, playing a piano piece that sounded extremely fast. The audience in the Leap broadcast room also heard this song. Is this person playing blindly? Why does the music sound so strange? Someone couldn't help but ask. Someone who knows piano wants to explain. But before they could type, Shenfeng's voice was heard in the live broadcast room. It's Flight of the Bumblebee. Damn, my brother Feng also knows piano. It's really Flight of the Bumblebee. Fengzi is an expert. This is so fast. I heard that the faster you play Flight of the Bumblebee, the better it is. Is this person a professional? Although it's not quite accurate to say that the faster the better. This person is definitely showing off his skills. I think he looks like the internet celebrity on TikTok. The one who plays the piano, Lee something. Before Fengzi came, this guy didn't seem to play, but when Fengzi came, he started playing. Is he trying to take advantage of Fengzi and Wanwan's popularity? Shenfeng didn't think too much about it like the barrage. Now seeing this young man playing the piano, an idea came to Shenfeng's mind. That is, I can use the piano to express my love to Wanwan. So he waited by the piano, waiting for the young man to finish playing Flight of the Bumblebee. Shenfeng originally thought that this person would give up his seat after playing a song. Unexpectedly, the young man not only did not move away. Instead, he turned to look at Shenfeng and raised his eyebrows provocatively. I recognize you are that someone, Shenfeng, right? The one who has been a little popular recently. My name is Li Jiayu. I have more than 700,000 followers on Douyin. I should be more popular than you. The young man said, looking towards the camera again and saying hello. Dear viewers, please remember to follow me on TikTok. Remember, my name is Li Jiayu. I am the star you deserve to follow. Damn, is our Penghu Beilid broadcast room a place to advertise for you? This guy is so arrogant. Over 700,000 fans are so amazing. And you have as many fans as Fengzi. Damn, it seems that he actually has more fans than Fengzi. What do you mean you are the good star worth chasing? Does it mean Fengzi is not worthy, with your quality? Can you be considered a good star? Today's internet celebrities will do anything to gain popularity. Shenfeng didn't care about Li Jiayu's attitude, nor did he care whether he was trying to take advantage of the popularity to advertise. Shenfeng just asked, now that you've finished playing, can you make room for me? I want to use this piano. Li Jiayu chuckled. He stood up slowly and said in a neutral tone, okay. I'll make room for the great star Shen. But not everyone can play the piano. If Mr. Shen doesn't know how to play, I can't teach you. Fuck, why is this guy so weird? I just want to beat him up. I think Feng Zi didn't do anything to him, so who is he being so weird to? Is this how you take advantage of others' popularity? It's okay to advertise in other people's live broadcast room, but you have to speak in this tone. If you scold him, his goal will be achieved. Internet celebrities like him are here to be scolded. The more you scold him, the higher his popularity will be, and the happier he will be. Some smart people have realized that Li Jiayu is deliberately trying to stir up trouble and get scolded. This is what internet celebrities are like nowadays. In order to become famous, they would even do things like stealing disaster relief lifeboats for show. There are many people like Li Jiayu who deliberately stir up trouble to attract attention on the internet. For these internet celebrities, being black and red is also red. As long as there is traffic and popularity, there is money to be made. Shen Cheng was too lazy to pay attention to this guy. He originally wanted to ignore this guy, sit down quietly, and play a song for Zhang Wanwan. But Zhang Wanwan couldn't bear it anymore. She pushed Shen Feng aside and sat on the piano chair herself. He stared at Li Jiayu and said, "You want to teach my Feng Zi, right? Don't you think you are qualified?" As she spoke, Zhang Wanwan's hands were already on the piano. When she played the prelude, the audience in front of the live broadcast room were stunned. It's exactly the same song that Li Jiayu played just now. It's Flight of the Bumblebee again. But Zhang Wanwan's speed seemed to be a little slower. Li Jiayu smiled. "You're so slow, and you still ask me if I'm qualified? You're not even qualified to compete with me." He had just finished speaking. Zhang Wanwan, speed up. Chapter 63 to Zhang Wanwan. It took Li Jiayu 1 minute and 20 seconds to play Flight of the Bumblebee. But Zhang Wanwan only took 1 minute and 10 seconds. Even though the time difference is only 10 seconds. But just because of these 10 seconds, the style of the entire song seems to have changed. If Li Jiayu's Flight of the Bumblebee is a little bee happily collecting honey, Zhang Wanwan's Flight of the Wild Bee is about a disturbed poisonous bee that is ready to sting people. The difference in sound is extremely obvious. After playing a song, Zhang Wanwan rubbed her sore fingers and looked at Li Jiayu coldly. "I haven't played it for a long time, my hands are not used to it. Otherwise, I could play it faster. Come on, can you give me some pointers?" To be honest, Zhang Wanwan also knew that Li Jiayu was here just to stir up trouble and gain popularity, but she just couldn't stand Li Jiayu's attitude towards Shen Feng. She just didn't want her Feng Zi to suffer in front of so many viewers in the live broadcast room. Want to be popular and want to stir up trouble? Okay, I'll accompany you. Zhang Wanwan learned to play the piano after Shen Feng passed away in her previous life. During that time, she almost became a machine that lived for filming. At that time, there was a play that required the heroine to be able to play the piano. For this play, Zhang Wanwan learned piano. Playing the piano keys in the quiet piano room has become another activity for Zhang Wanwan besides filming. And once it is launched, it lasts for 10 years. This was the way Zhang Wanwan vented her emotions in her previous life. Zhang Wanwan can play the song Flight of the Bumblebee with her eyes closed. In his previous life, he could even play the entire song in about 1 minute and 5 seconds. However, this was her first time touching the piano after her rebirth, so she didn't play it quickly at first. Li Jiayu swallowed his saliva. Advice? How does he give advice? He was 10 seconds behind Zhang Wanwan in speed, especially when Zhang Wanwan started off slowly. Not to mention Li Jiayu. An expert, even an outsider can see that Zhang Wanwan is better than him. Li Jiayu himself can only be considered as someone who has studied piano, and is far from reaching a particularly professional level. Otherwise, he wouldn't need to attract fans on Douyin. Nor would he need to do such weird things to gain popularity. His ability is limited to deceiving laymen. Li Jiayu is from Lianhuayu County. When he heard that the show Dating was going to be held in Lianhuayu, he wanted to take advantage of the popularity. He first played some show-off music when Shen Feng Zhang Wanwan's group arrived on the first floor. After playing the piano, he deliberately caused trouble, because he knows that only in this way can he generate more heat. If he is exposed on Weibo, he will get more attention. But he didn't expect that this time he would run into an expert and hit a wall. Seeing Li Jiayu's somewhat embarrassed expression, the audience in the live broadcast room laughed. "Awesome. Why aren't you awesome anymore? Aren't you going to give Feng Zi some advice? You can't even beat my elder brother, and you still want to teach my Feng Zi? It's so funny you want to make trouble without even considering the target. Between Wanwan and Feng Zi, who can compare to you? But don't tell me. Wanwan is definitely a professional at playing the piano. I didn't know Wanwan could play the piano before. I didn't know Wanwan's acting skills were so great before. There are so many things I don't know." When discussing Zhang Wanwan's piano level in the barrage, even Shen Shen looked at Zhang Wanwan with some surprise. He thought he was the person who knew Zhang Wanwan best in the world. No doubt about it. But he really didn't know that Zhang Wanwan could play the piano. Even the level is quite high. Just when Shen Feng was surprised. Li Jia, you spoke again. He couldn't keep feeling awkward like that. He had to find a way out. So, Li Jia, you found Shen Feng as a stepping stone. He coughed lightly and said, I just said I would guide the great star Shen. But I didn't say would guide you. You came here to play the piano and show off your skills. Don't you just want to show off yourself? Zhang Wanwan was so angry that she almost laughed. Before Zhang Wanwan could say anything, Li Jiayu continued. Didn't the big star Shen want to use the piano just now? If you have the guts, let him play it again. Li Jiayu felt that since Zhang Wanwan was willing to take the initiative to help Shen Feng, that means Shen Feng's piano level should not be very high. Otherwise, why would Zhang Wanwan stand up for him? Li Jiayu thought, wait a while, Shen Feng will play a piece of music, and then he can comment on it casually. When the time comes, the audience will see that Shen Feng's level is not as good as his. He managed to save some face. Anyway, he came here just to get some attention. When the time comes, he will find a few marketing accounts and write a few articles. Thus write something like popular star Shen Feng was defeated by internet celebrity Li Jiayu. Even if it doesn't become a hot topic, it will definitely attract a lot of attention. His goal was achieved. Zhang Wanwan wanted to say something else, but Shen Feng stopped her. He rubbed her head and said with a smile, okay brother Wan, thank you for helping me just now. However, since MRLI wants to hear me play a piece, I should at least give him some face. As he spoke, Shen Feng sat down in front of the piano, nodded at Li Jiayu. MRLI, I am sorry for making a fool of myself. Li Jiayu felt inexplicably panicked. Damn, could it be that Shen Feng is also a piano expert who can play Flight of the Bumblebee in less than a minute? However, when Shen Feng pressed the first piano key, Li Jiayu felt a little more relaxed. Because Shen didn't play Flight of the Bumblebee. It seems that he doesn't know how to do it. Li Jiayu estimated that Shen Feng was just a half-baked person. The kind who only knows a few songs. If you don't know Flight of the Bumblebee, you can only play something else to get by. So what does he have to be afraid of? The audience also noticed that the way Shen Feng played now was different from the way Li Jiayu and Zhang Wanwan played just now. Hey, doesn't Feng Zi know Flight of the Bumblebee? Anyway, it sounds different to me than the previous song. I didn't expect there were things Feng Zi couldn't do have. But I was already surprised that he could play the piano. Just when the audience was still discussing that Shen Feng could not sing Flight of the Bumblebee, someone with sharp eyes suddenly noticed that Li Jiayu's expression changed. From the relaxation just now, I suddenly became shocked. What happened to Li Jiayu? I don't know it, as like I was frightened. Shen Feng's hands are so fast, didn't you notice? Someone mentioned this again in the barrage. Everyone's attention shifted from Li Jiayu to Shen Feng's hand. When they looked up, they discovered that Shen Feng's hands were moving between the piano keys so fast that only two shadows were left. The photographer also took a close-up of Shen Feng's hand. At this time, another barrage floated out. How could he not be scared? Shen Feng was playing Liszt's Willow's Light. Super Skill Etude. One of the most difficult etudes. Someone who doesn't understand asked. Which one is harder, this or Flight of the Bumblebee? Shen Feng can play Wildfire so smoothly his level is definitely professional. Flight of the Bumblebee is nothing to him. Fuck. Is my Feng Zi so awesome that she can even play the piano at a professional level? The audience was stunned. And the even dumber one is Li Jiayu. Yes, Shen Feng did not play the faster Flight of the Bumblebee. But he played the more difficult Willow's Fire. Li Jiayu was really dumbfounded. What kind of monsters are this couple? Aren't they both actors and stars? Why learn the piano instead of acting in a good play? Li Jiayu feels that he is like a clown now. If he had known that these two were professionals, it would have been great for him to take advantage of the popularity of Jias Nan and Li Dingting. Anyway, both of them are tone deaf. Unfortunately, it's too late to regret now. 3 minutes passed. The song Willow Fire ends. Shen Feng stood up and looked at Li Jiayu. I have finished playing it at Mr. Li's request. MRLI, can you give me some advice? Li Jiayu was about to cry. How can he, an internet celebrity pianist who relies on making TikTok clips to fool laymen, add a real master who can play Liszt's Willow so smoothly? Thus when Li Jiayu didn't know what to say to get himself out of trouble. But he saw that Shen Feng was no longer looking at him. It seemed as if she didn't take him seriously at all. Shen Cheng really didn't take him seriously. If this guy hadn't insisted on finding trouble, Shen Cheng wouldn't have bothered to pay attention to him. Wasting his time playing the piano for Wan Wan. Shen Feng sat in front of the piano again. He looked at Zhang Wanwan with a smile on his face. Brother Wan, the following song is for you. Speaking of, His fingertips pressed the piano keys. A familiar melody flowed into the ears of every audience member in the live broadcast room. Beethoven, Fr. Elise. Chen Feng, to Zhang Wanwan. Chapter 64. Dream Wedding, Their Love. The song To Alice is very popular. So much so that almost everyone has heard of it to some extent. So much so that almost everyone will have memories brought back by this piece of music. Some people think of the school bell. Some people think of the first encounter in a romantic ballroom. Some people think of the moment they meet the destined one. Some people think of the love that has passed away and cannot be recovered. The more classic the music is, the more it can become a carrier of people's memories. This is the power of music. This is not a difficult song to play, but it can affect the audience's emotions far more than Wilson's Fire and Flight of the Bumblebee. However, just as the audience was immersed in Chen Feng's almost perfect performance of To Alice, a somewhat abrupt scale suddenly jumped out. The audience thought that it was Li Jiayu causing trouble again, but I found out only after a closer look. The person who pressed the piano keys was actually Zhang Wanwan. Zhang Wanwan sat on the other side of the piano stool and reached out to tap the keys on the other half of the piano. She cooperated with Chen Feng and played harmony for him. It's like this classic song has been given a completely different coat. Chen Feng turned his head and looked at Zhang Wanwan. Both of them had smiles on their faces. Before today, neither of them knew that the other could play the piano. Naturally, there was no practice of cooperation in advance. But the way they played was so natural, and their coordination was so tacit. On this not-so-wide piano bench, the two of them were standing shoulder to shoulder, legs touching. To people, for hands playing this love that once belonged to Beethoven. Both hands are big, with distinct joints and long fingers. Both hands are very white, with delicate skin, as white as jade. 20 fingers were flying and dancing on the piano keys. Sometimes they are very close, and sometimes they are very far apart. But they are always so harmonious, never affecting each other. And never blocking each other. No pauses, no stumbles. Just incredibly smooth. Thus looking at these two pairs of hands can make people fascinated. Fuck, for hands playing together. I don't know how to play the piano, but I think the scene of them playing the piano is so beautiful and they play so beautiful and they play so beautifully. Me too. So cool. After adding the harmony, the feeling of the whole song changed immediately. Before, I just felt like the school bell, but now it makes me want to cry. Elegant, classy, great beer. The four-hand piano performance is so proficient. And the harmony is just right. I guess they must have practiced it hundreds of times. I don't know about the barrage. They had never practiced this before. The reason why I can play it so skillfully is just because they know each other well enough. When the piano sound slows down, the melody of To Alice also gradually stopped. Chen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's fingers tapped on the last piano key at the same time. The lingering echo of the tail note announced the end of the song. The audience was left wanting more. I have never listened to this song so completely. You guys have finished playing, but my tears are still here. I remembered my first love. Play another song. Watching you play the piano is such a pleasure. Chen Feng and Zhang Wanwan cannot see the barrage. But after the two looked at each other, neither of them left the piano stool. Instead, it was Zhang Wanwan who pressed the bass again. It continues the ending of To Alice, which has not yet faded away. The song is over. But their performance has not yet ended. Zhang Wanwan's slender fingers tapped lightly on the white piano keys. And she played another melody that the audience felt extremely familiar with. Richard Clayderman, Dream Wedding. The solemn bass is like a groom in a well-dressed suit at a wedding, promising his bride a lifetime of love. The brisk high notes are like a bride in a white wedding dress, showing the sweetest smile. Respond to the groom and say that, I do. This piece of music does not require complicated four-hand piano playing to embellish it. So Chen Feng used his left hand to gently grab Zhang Wanwan's right hand. The fingers of two hands are interlocked. Each of them used solely their remaining hand to play the song Wedding in the Dream. Play their love. This hand holding, I'm going to die. It's so romantic that Feng Zi took the initiative to hold hands. The couple held hands and played Wedding in a Dream. Is this the love of artists? To Alice is about a boy and a girl expressing their love. And Wedding in a Dream is about two people in love promising to spend their lives together and entering the marriage hall. Putting these two songs together is so romantic. Mom, I believe in love again. This is the most beautiful form of love. The audience waiting in front of the live broadcast room, especially those CP fans, when I just listened to the song To Alice, it might have brought back memories and touched me. But now, watching Chen Feng and Zhang Wanwan playing Wedding in the Dream, they just felt like they were being fed a big mouthful of dog food. There are only two feelings, full and sour. Take director Chen for example. Director Chen just cried when he listened to the song To Alice. He also sent a message to his wife, saying, I love you. Now looking at Shen Feng and Wan Wan playing the piano hand in hand, Director Chen has only one thought in his mind. Screenshots. Screenshots to death. He must save the scene and post it online. He must get more people to eat dog food with him. Dream wedding is not very long. Soon, the song ended. The lingering sound lingers in the air. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan then stood up holding hands. Zhang Wanwan blushed and whispered to Shen Feng, "I didn't expect you to play the piano so well." "I didn't expect it either," Shen Feng said softly. "And I'm not surprised at how outstanding my little brother is." Zhang Wanwan felt even more embarrassed. She hit Shen Feng lightly and was about to speak again. Suddenly, I heard bursts of applause coming from all around. When Zhang Wanwan looked up, she discovered that there were quite a few people surrounding the piano. After the two songs were played, fans of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, as well as passers-by, were all attracted. Now that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan have finished playing, these people will naturally applaud. Zhang Wanwan's expression became even more unnatural. "It's over." She was playing the piano so attentively that she didn't notice there were so many people around. Although Zhang Wanwan is a star, she has been watched a lot in the past. But now the feeling of holding hands with Shen Feng and being watched by everyone made her feel too shy. She tugged at Shen Feng and whispered, "I'm a little embarrassed. How about we run away?" "Okay, I'll do as you say." Shen Feng smiled. Zhang Wanwan changed her mind and remembered her secret mission. Suddenly he said, "But my legs are numb from sitting just now." So, she put her arms around Shen Feng's neck. Shen Feng immediately understood. He picked up Zhang Wanwan and held her in his arms. Before the audience, photographers and onlookers in the lead broadcast room could react to what was happening, Shen Feng hugged Zhang Wanwan and ran away. Director Chen was stunned for a moment. After Shen Feng squeezed through the crowd and disappeared from the camera, Director Chen quickly reminded the photographer, "What are you standing there for? Chase him." A photographer then came to his senses and hurriedly picked up the camera to chase after him. But as he chased after her, the photographer felt very sad. Why can Shen Feng hug Zhang Wanwan? He can only hold the camera. Chapter 65: The Old Fox and the Little Kitten. Zhang Wanwan's secret mission was to have Shen Feng hold her in his arms and go shopping in 5 stores. Although she felt embarrassed for the sake of the mission, she still let Shen Feng take her to several shops. The kind with her face buried in Shen Feng's arms. 1G, you let me walk around the store again without even looking at the items in the store. Do you still want to buy me? Seeing that Zhang Wanwan didn't dare to show her face, Shen Feng lowered his head and asked in Zhang Wanwan's ear. Zhang Wanwan reached out and punched Shen Feng. "You are originally mine. Do I still need to buy you?" Yes, you are right." Shen Feng smiled. He is currently holding Zhang Wanwan and shopping in a store that sells various small toys and accessories. Near the store's cash register, there is a row of animal headbands. Some have cat ears, and some have rabbit ears. Shen Feng held Zhang Wanwan in his arms and gestured to the salesperson. The saleswoman was a girl in her 20s, also a fan of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. From the moment the two of them entered the room, the little girl had been staring at them. There was still an ant-like smile on her face. Seeing Shen Feng gesture towards her, the salesperson immediately understood. She followed Shen Feng's gaze and picked up a cat ear headband. Then, with a red face, she carefully put it on the head of Zhang Wanwan, who was curled up in Shen Feng's arms. Zhang Wanwan felt something on her head and immediately turned her head to look over. Then she saw the Salister looking at her with stars in her eyes. "Wanwan, I'm your fan." "Thank you, but what did you put on my head?" The Salister took out a small mirror and pointed it at Zhang Wanwan. In the mirror, Zhang Wanwan had a pair of furry cat ears on her head. With her slightly flushed face, she is so cute. The photographer quickly found a good angle and took a close-up. "Oh give the photographer a chicken leg, a chicken leg. A WSL, how can Wanwan be so cute? I envied Wanwan before. Now I envy Feng Zi. I took a screenshot, she will be my wife from now on." "Your wife, my wife. Your wife, Feng Zi's wife." Chen Cheng looked at Zhang Wanwan with cat ears and thought she was very cute. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Hearing Shen Feng's laughter, Zhang Wanwan glared. "What are you laughing at? I'll give you one too." As she spoke, she pointed to a pair of long, pointy, red fox ears in front of the cash register. He said to the Salister, "Please put this on him." The little girl blushed and quickly took the fox ears. He said to Shen Feng, I am actually your fan too." "What?" She hesitated for a moment, then said sheepishly, "You're a little tall, I can't reach you, could you please bend down?" Shen Feng was about to bend down. Suddenly, Zhang Wanwan in her arms broke free from his embrace. We also took the fox ears from the Salister and said to her, "This Feng Zi is useless, I recommend that you just follow me. Let me put these ears on him." As she spoke, Zhang Wanwan raised her fox ears. Originally, there was a height difference between her and Shen Feng. Shen Feng originally wanted to bend down to cooperate with Zhang Wanwan. Unexpectedly, Zhang Wanwan jumped up and dunked the ball. Put the headband on his head. Shen Feng. My Feng Zi is so miserable. I seem to smell the jealousy on Zhang Wanwan again. Is this the legendary dunk on your head? The little girl was stunned half. After putting the fox-ear headband on Shen Feng's head, Zhang Wanwan jumped up again and touched the furry ears. And he looked at her with satisfaction and said, I think she is quite suitable for you. Old fox. You made the right choice, kitten. Chen Cheng replied with a smile. The conversation between the two made the Salisters' smile on her face even more intense. I kept taking pictures with my phone, just like seeing my own children in love. He even covered his mouth with one hand. I guess he would have screamed out loud if he hadn't seen the camera nearby. The CP fans in the live broadcast room were also very excited. Old Fox Fengzi x little cat Wanwan, so cute, I'm already writing a fan fiction. Fengzi looks so handsome and cute wearing these ears. And matches Wanwan perfectly. When I saw this group, I couldn't stop smiling. I was either amused or smiled sweetly. Zhang Wanwan was quite satisfied with this animal ear headband. For the first time in history, he was willing to spend money to buy it. She asked the Salister about the price, but the girl waved her hands and said, no need to pay, really, I'll just give it to you. Zhang Wanwan was quite generous. And looked like she didn't want to take advantage of others. How can that be? Even though you are our fan, you still have to give the money you deserve. Don't worry, we are very rich now, we will give you the original price of the headband. Don't think we have no money, we are not short of money. The Salisters said a little embarrassed lie. 30. So a headband costs $15? It's quite expensive. Zhang Wanwan felt a little pain in her flesh. But after all, they still have more than 100 yuan in their pockets. So Zhang Wanwan hesitated for a while. I finally gritted my teeth and paid $30 for it. And the Salister said a little embarrassed lie, actually, it's 30 yuan each, and 60 yuan for two. Zhang Wanwan. She took the 30 yuan back immediately. Then you have to take off the animal ears on your head. He was still urging Shen Feng, what are you standing there for? Take it off quickly, before it gets damaged by others. Shen Feng had no choice but to pick off the fox ears on his head. The audience wailed as they watched. No, my old fox and little cat. Don't pick it, I'll pay for it, isn't it? It's too cute. Don't pick it. Can the program crew please be a human being and buy it for them? I can give money to the program team. When Director Chen saw these comments, he knew that the people's will must be followed and that it must not be violated. So I asked the photographer to advance 60 yuan. The girl felt quite embarrassed. Actually, you really don't have to pay, I can give it to you. Seeing that the program crew was willing to pay, Zhang Wanwan put on the cat ears again. And she shook her head and taught earnestly. Sister, you are also working for someone else, this is someone else's store. It is not good to spend money on others when it is time for us to pay. We must pay. Director Chen, what you said is quite righteous. But it seems that the money for buying the ears was not paid by you, but by the program crew, right? Aren't you also being generous to the program crew? The little girl scratched her head and said, actually, this store is mine. My dad is the owner of this shopping mall. I graduated from college and had nothing to do, so my dad gave me a store to play with. I have been following you guys since your show first aired. I am your die-hard fan, so let alone giving you a headband. Even if you want more, I can give them to you. Zhang Wanwan. So this girl is not a working girl, but a rich second generation. Miscalculated. Zhang Wanwan covered her face and sighed deeply. Finally, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan chatted with the little girl for a few more words. After leaving her to autographs, the two left the store. Zhang Wanwan's secret mission only left to do was to visit one last store. Zhang Wanwan originally wanted to go to the nearby shops and have Shen Feng hold her in his arms. But Shen Feng said, I think that store over there is pretty good. How about we go there and have a look? Zhang Wanwan certainly had no objection. Anyway, she was mainly here to complete the mission. So it didn't matter which store she went shopping in. What she didn't know was, the reason why Shen Feng wanted to change his store was also to complete the mission. Chen Sheng held Zhang Wanwan in his arms and walked into the women's clothing store. The first thing he saw after entering the store was the fitting room in the corner of the store. He leaned close to Zhang Wanwan's ear and whispered, Brother Wan, the clothes here are pretty good, pick one to try. How about it? Zhang Wanwan actually took a fancy to a top with a nice style. She got down from Shen Feng's arms, holding the clothes, and walked towards the fitting room next to her. However, Chen Sheng pulled her and walked to another fitting room in the corner. Come to this fitting room. Zhang Wanwan didn't think anything of it. So she pushed open the door of the fitting room and walked in. But just when she was about to close the door, Chen Sheng's hand pressed on the door of the fitting room. Before Zhang Wanwan could react, Shen Feng had already squeezed into the small fitting room. He turned around and locked the door of the fitting room. Chapter 66 Feng Zi, I and you are enmity. Feng Zi, what do you want to do? In the small fitting room, Zhang Wanwan looked at Shen Feng, who was very close to her in the dim light. Fitting rooms can usually only accommodate one person. The two of them were squeezed into the fitting room. Their bodies almost pressed against each other. Shen Feng stretched out his hand and stroked from the cat ears on Zhang Wanwan's head to the ends of her hair. And at this time, the audience in the Leaf broadcast room are cheering. Here it comes, it's finally here. Kiss her, kiss her. I have been waiting for this day for a long time. Someone, come and kill me to cheer them up. It is naturally impossible for a photographer to follow into the fitting room. But this fitting room was specially designated by Director Chen, who had already hidden a small camera here. At this moment, the audience was watching Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan through the images transmitted back by the small camera. They watched Shen Feng stroke Zhang Wanwan's hair. Watching Shen Feng holding up Zhang Wanwan's little face, Zhang Wanwan was so embarrassed that she closed her eyes at a loss. Seeing Shen Feng raised his hand and pulled the small camera down from the wall. Then, the audience sees nothing. Director Chen. Damn it, Feng Zi, you eat all the food by yourself without even giving your brothers a sip of soup. My dear. Camera, move, stand up quickly. Wow, I'm an adult now, I want to watch. Feng Zi, you actually treat us as outsiders. From fan to hater, Feng Zi, I will never forgive you. Director, please find a way to save him. Director Chen was helpless. Save? How can he save him? Let the photographer rush into the fitting room. Not to mention that the fitting room was locked, let alone whether it could accommodate 3 people. If the photographer rushed into the fitting room at this moment, it would definitely be beaten by Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. A week later, it will be the photographer's 7th day. Director Chen could only stare at the dark-lit broadcast room in silence. He thought he had hidden the camera well. Unexpectedly, Shen Feng discovered it. In the fitting room, Shen Feng turned off the camera and also turned off the microphones of both of them. In the dimly lit fitting room, in the small space, they only had eyes for each other. Shen Feng smiled, leaned over and kissed Zhang Wanwan. Zhang Wanwan felt a little uncomfortable at first. But when Shen Feng's kiss fell, she also gently hugged Shen Feng. Outside the fitting room, the voice of the customer was heard. Is anyone in this dressing room? A photographer's voice came again. Hello, yes, we are recording the show, sorry. The customer asked the photographer curiously. They were only separated from Shen Feng Wanwan by a door. Zhang Wanwan felt even more embarrassed. But I don't know if the courage I had when I was a child to climb up the high-explosion toilet has returned. I knew there were people outside and I felt embarrassed. Zhang Wanwan hugged Shen Feng even tighter. He also held Shen Feng's head. Inside the door and outside the door are 2 different worlds. The photographer outside the door was still chatting with the customers. Inside the door, a pair of Mandarin ducks were affectionate. After a long while, the two separated. Zhang Wanwan's eyes were filled with mist. She punched Shen Feng and whispered, Feng Zi, you are so mean. Am I bad or are you bad? Shen Feng touched her lips and asked in a low voice. You have led me astray. Zhang Wanwan finished speaking, as if she was afraid that it was not convincing enough. He added, that's what my dad said. Shen Feng smiled and leaned close to her ear. And I want to make you even worse in the future. Well, we'll talk about the future later, let's get out now. It's so crowded in here. Zhang Wanwan said. Shen Feng rubbed the cat ears on her head. That customer is still chatting with the photographer. If the 2 of us walk out of the fitting room now, what do you think the customer will think? Zhang Wanwan blushed and felt that it made sense. And stay inside for a while. Shen Feng nodded and gently lifted Zhang Wanwan's chin. Well, I'm just sitting around doing nothing, what do you think? Zhang Wanwan glared at him. But he took the initiative to reach out and hug Shen Feng's neck. The customer outside the door may have never seen a recorded program. He is really a chatterbox. I chatted with the photographer for several minutes before leaving. Only after she left did Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan come out of the fitting room. The photographer quickly took a close-up. It turned out that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's expression seemed quite normal. A photographer was a little disappointed. The audience was even more disappointed. Feng Zi, can you please do this? In this small fitting room? We are alone together. Doesn't Feng Zi want to kiss, hug and lift me up? No fun, refund. Have you bought the ticket? You can get a refund. I don't care, I'm not full from this dog food today. I want to eat something more exciting. Little did they know that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan not only kissed and hugged each other, but also kissed twice. It's just that this customer is really talkative. So when Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan came out, they had already adjusted their expressions and emotions. Zhang Wanwan is a Golden Globe Award-winning actress, so her facial expressions must be well managed. Although Shen Feng doesn't have a little golden man, he has lived a long life, so it is easy for him to control his expression. So the audience only saw Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan with calm faces. The audience felt a little disappointed. Then the audience saw Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan open their mouths and say something, but they couldn't hear anything. Am I deaf? Why are the two of them silent? It's over. I'm sick because I didn't see them kissing. After a few seconds, the audience saw Shen Feng turned on his microphone again. He also turned on the microphone on Zhang Wanwan. Wait a minute. Why did they turn off the microphone in the fitting room just now? I have a guess. I also have a guess. Stop guessing. Even if it's fake, I'll treat it as if it's real. They must have kissed in there. Not only kissing, but also saying sweet words. The one who wrote the Old Fox 6 Little Cat fanfic before. Can you please write the fitting room part first? The audience's imagination is very strong. When I saw that the two people's microphones were not turned on, I immediately imagined a big drama in my mind. The drama that some people have imagined cannot be broadcast. At this time, Shen Feng looked at the camera and said, Director Chen, Wanwan and I have completed our mission. Is it time to give us a bonus? Director Chen picked up the intercom. No. I didn't see you to kissing, so why should I consider you to have completed the mission? Director Chen was very unhappy. He specially designed such a task and prepared a camera. The plan was perfect. As a result, Shen Feng just didn't play by the rules. Director Chen really doesn't want to give this bonus. Shen Sheng spread his hands. It's your fault that you didn't see it. Anyway, our mission has been completed. Do you want to shirk your responsibility? Director Chen's eyes rolled. Seeing in the barrage, many people didn't want Director Chen to give Shen Feng a reward because they didn't see the kiss. He simply said, well, let's vote. Let the audience vote. If the audience agrees to pay you, then I'll pay you. If they don't agree, then I won't pay you. Is that okay? After saying that, he initiated the vote without waiting for Shen Feng's consent. Sure enough, a large number of viewers did not want to give money to Shen Feng. They thought that if they didn't get the candy, Shen Feng wouldn't have any chance of making money. Director Chen chuckled when he saw this. Student Shen Feng, 85% of the audience disagrees with giving you money. So, he felt that he had finally defeated Shen Feng once, although it relies on the power of the masses. But it's okay as long as we can win. But he hadn't finished speaking yet. Then Shen Sheng returned to the fitting room, picked up the camera that fell on the ground. While fiddling with it, he said, this thing should be able to sell for a lot of money. Director Chen, I'll give you money. Isn't it enough to just give you money? Chapter 67. Just go and steal Shen Feng's money. The audience in the live broadcast room came and went. By the evening, everyone was completely free. The number of people in the live broadcast room finally reached its peak. 190,000 people. With 190,000 people watching a variety show in a live broadcast room at the same time. This is no longer a low-budget, small-scale production. And it does not have the popularity that a live broadcast variety show without any top-tier stars participating in it should have. Many people in the live broadcast room come here to eat dog food. But as soon as they entered the live broadcast room, they felt hungry. Because Shen Feng was cooking. In the evening, everyone finished their tasks for the day and the program crew naturally returned to the hotel. Shen Feng spent more than 80 yuan in the hotel kitchen to buy a lot of ingredients. Prepared a delicious meal for Zhang Wanwan. The unscrupulous photographer even took a close-up of Zhang Wanwan while she was eating. When Zhang Wanwan eats, one word stands out. Fragrant. Even when eating a rujiamo, you can feel like you're watching a food show promoting the products. Not to mention the delicious meal prepared by Shen Feng was tempting enough in itself. As a result, those viewers who came for the dog food felt hungry after watching it for just a few bites. Can you please move the camera away? My takeaway hasn't arrived yet. I'm really starving. The instant noodles in my hand suddenly lost their fragrance. I came here to watch a survival love show. Why did it change to a food show? Just arrived. Is this dog food on the tip of the tongue? A photographer nearby was adjusting the camera while sneering at the comments in the live broadcast room on his mobile phone. How can you only be greedy for me? Let's all be greedy together. Some viewers were so jealous that they quickly switched to the live broadcast room. Cut to the next few groups of guests. As a result, I almost shed tears. The remaining groups of guests and the director of the program. They were squatting together, eating their boxed lunches pitifully. There is white rice and green vegetables in the lunchbox. There's just not much red meat. Oh, Director Chen's lunchbox was quite red. Half a bottle of Laogan Ma was poured on it. This is a truly down-to-earth live broadcast room. As the audience watched, the instant noodles in their hands suddenly smelled delicious again. Director Chen, several other groups of guests, and everyone from the program crew were eating boxed lunches together. While eating, he was also watching the group of Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan on the screen. The more they watched, the sadder they felt. They are all from the same program group. Why can they have a big meal? They can only eat boxed lunches. Xiao Qianshu ate the last 2 mouthfuls of white rice. Suddenly he said, "Brothers, I have an idea. We are living a miserable life every day. Why don't we unite?" Chang Wei looked at him. "What do you mean?" "Now each of our teams can get a bonus of more than 20 yuan for completing common tasks and secret tasks. With the subsidies, each team can earn about 30 yuan on average." Xiao Qianshu said, "Our 3 groups together have about 90 yuan. After deducting the expenses for breakfast and lunch during the day, there are still 60 or 70 yuan left. Let's use this money to buy ingredients from the hotel kitchen. We can at least have a decent meal," Xiao Qianshu said, pointing at Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan on the screen. "They don't ask to eat as well as them, but at least we don't have to be so miserable." Chang Wei sighed when he heard it. "Brother, our 3 groups of 6 only cost 60 or 70 yuan. But this meal for 2 people cost 80 yuan. Besides, we can't even scrape together 60 or 70 yuan. For example, our group spent 5 yuan on breakfast and 20 yuan on lunch. Now we only have 4 or 5 yuan left." Xiao Qianshu scratched his head. He really thought too well. How come Shen Sheng and his friends only have so much money? After this big meal, they can still have 60 or 70 yuan left. After hearing what Xiao Qianshu said, everyone looked at Director Chen. Why does Shen Sheng's group have so much money? Aren't those all given by Director Chen? Director Chen, who was eating log and mar ice, noticed the gazes of several people. His expression suddenly became alert. Carefully protecting the log and ma beside him, he said, "If you want to eat hot sauce, go buy it yourself. Don't look at me." Meng Yan said with a smile, "Director Chen, we don't want to steal your sauce. I just think you're a little biased. You always give Shen Feng and the others so many extra benefits. The feast they had today was all thanks to you." Director Chen felt that Meng Yan's tone was not right. He asked with evasive eyes, "You? What do you mean?" Li Dingting on the side sneered. "What we mean is, would you consider giving us a little more benefit? Feng Zi and Wan Wan's group always get dozens of extra rewards. But we get nothing. Isn't this inappropriate?" Director Chen swallowed. Silently handed the Lao Gan Ma to everyone. "Can I share this with you?" Humble Director Chen. Director Chen is so miserable. He was exploited by Feng Zi and Wan Wan before, and now he is being exploited by other groups again. Wow, I'm Director Chen's only fan. Please stop bullying my Director Chen. He only has this bottle of Lao Gan Ma, let him go. The audience laughed out loud when they saw this scene. Chang Wei looked at Director Chen and pushed away his hot sauce. "Director Chen, we want more than just hot sauce. Director Chen, you know the truth that what is worrying is not the lack of money, but the inequality of the people. Can you give us a little more bonus tomorrow?" Director Chen, what would happen if I said no? Chang Wei patted the camera beside him and said, "This camera of yours should be worth a lot of money. Right? Director Chen. Director Chen, damn, you guys are trying the same trick too. Why don't you learn something good from Shenfeng?" Jay Adnam, who had been busy eating, suddenly raised his head, looked at Director Chen. He asked seriously, "Director Chen. Director Chen. It seems so." He rubbed his forehead. He said helplessly, "I know you all want to have a good meal, but this is a survival and love show." Chen Lu pointed at the screen and saw Zhang Wanwan happily gnawing on a piece of meat bone. "Is this called survival?" Director Chen. All right, let me think about it. Director Chen squatted on the ground and began to think. The audience, who were eager to watch the fun, also started to come up with bad ideas. Why not just take back Feng Zi and Wan Wan's money by force? Will it be useful to take it back? If we take back their money, the only one who will suffer is Jay Atnam. That's true. The program team should communicate with the hotel and decide which group of guests will complete the task the fastest and have the hotel prepare a feast for them. Then I feel that Shen Feng and his team finished the fastest. Just open the money-grabbing mode and let the other 3 groups grab Shen Feng and his friends' money. Director Chen saw this comment. The inspiration came immediately. He stood up suddenly and said, "There is a way. I will create a special mission mode tomorrow. I will let the 3 of you play hide and seek with the group of Shenfeng Zhang Wanwan. You catch, and they hide. If Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan are caught by you, they will have to pay you to redeem themselves $5 for each time they are caught. You 3 groups compete fairly. Whoever catches them the most times will get more money from Shensheng Zhang Wanwan. Is that okay now?" Director Chen thinks he is a genius. This way, the program team does not have to spend extra money, and the other 3 groups of guests can get money. The most important thing is that the show is effective. Other hide-and-seek games involve one person catching several people. Now it's 3 groups catching 1 group. There is also competition among them to see who can catch more fish. How exciting and thrilling. If Shen Feng and his friends lose everything in the end, the show will be maximized. Perfect. After several guests discussed it, they all thought that this plan was feasible. The only one left was Jay Atnam, who was squatting on the ground eating. Suddenly he said something in a faint voice. Are you sure you can beat Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan? Zhang Wei raised his eyebrows. What's there to be defeated? We are born with an advantage in the rules they can only hide. But can't resist. What are we afraid of? To be honest, Jay Atnam didn't know what to be afraid of. But he just had a bad feeling. Because his personal experience tells him so. Don't get close to Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Really, it will become unfortunate. Chapter 68 High Quality Idol Peng Hubei. The live broadcast room was full of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's traders. After Director Chen and the other 3 groups of guests came up with this hide-and-seek plan, someone immediately tagged Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan on Weibo. Director Chen's conspiracy was exposed. After finishing the recording in the evening and returning to the room, Zhang Wanwan saw Director Chen and the others' plan. Feng Zi, what should we do? Zhang Wanwan took out the phone and showed it to Shen Feng. Shen Cheng scanned the information collected by those insiders. Then he smiled and said, since they want to play, then play with them. But I don't want to lose money, Zhang Wanwan said. She was counting on the money to have a big meal. Don't worry. Maybe we won't lose and we can even make some money. Zhang Wanwan's eyes lit up and she asked hurriedly. How do you make money? You'll find out tomorrow. Chen Feng pretended to be mysterious and kept the secret. And Zhang Wanwan put her hands on Shen Feng's waist. Shen Feng sighed helplessly. I'll tell you now. He told Zhang Wanwan roughly the plan he had in mind. When Zhang Wanwan heard this, her expression immediately became interesting. And we still play like this? As long as you don't break the rules. You can play whatever you want. Both of them had sinister smiles on their faces. No longer having to worry about losing money, Zhang Wanwan no longer felt burdened. I continued to happily browse Weibo. The topic of Peng Hubei on Weibo has become more and more lively recently. Some fans also made edits for today's live broadcast. For example, the clips of Shen Feng holding her as they went shopping in several shops, and the clips of them teasing each other while wearing animal ears, are all cut out and posted on various platforms. However, these video clips are mostly watched by CP fans. Some people who just learned about Peng Hubei in the past 2 days are not very interested in watching these CP-oriented clips. But they want to see more is the abilities of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. So there are pieces like Zhang Wanwan's Flight of the Bumblebee, Shen Feng's Willow's Fire, and Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng's For Hand Duet to Alice. And at the end, the two held hands and played Wedding in the Dream with their hands. The number of views of these clips is much higher than that of CP clips, especially the songs Willow and Alice. It has also received comments from professionals. Piano Mr. Weir. It is no exaggeration to say that the performance of Wisp is at a professional level. Mr. Shen has profound attainments in piano. The four-hand duet to Alice showed the top-notch rapport between the two. I never thought that there would be such outstanding young players in the domestic piano world. It is such a blessing. Weir is one of the most famous pianists in the country and has performed in the Vienna Golden Hall more than once. His comments surprised many fans and passers-by. To be honest, even the fans of Peng Hubei did not expect that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's piano level would be so high. But such abilities as these two people playing the piano at a professional level, why would they want to be actors and stars? And they remembered the comments made by actor Xu Yilin on Zhang Wanwan's acting skills. Well, it seems like it would be a waste of talent if I didn't become an actor. How come they are so excellent? For a time, the hot search was pushed to the top again. In recent days, Shen Feng and Zhang Wan have been on the hot searches quite frequently at night. There are so many of them that even the top traffic streams are not as popular as them. So much so that many fans of popular stars began to suspect whether Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan bought hot searches. Is there someone behind the scenes fanning the flames? For example, the fans of Fu Yan, the most popular top male star in China. Fu Yan has only been in the industry for a few years, but because she has starred in several dramas adapted from popular IPs and has top-notch looks, she has attracted countless fans. In just a few years, he became a top star in the country. Most of his fans are young people, even junior and high school students. These people are energetic and have more time to engage in fan clubs than adults. Many of them are fanatical about chasing stars. As a result, they attracted a lot of natural black fans who disliked them. In recent days, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan have been frequently on the hot searches, which has made Fu Yan's fans feel a little uneasy. Especially today when the tag came out. Many people used this tag to mock Fu Yan. Look at Shen Feng. His appearance is no worse than that of a certain top star. He sings well, is proficient in foreign languages, and his piano skills are also professional. DSK, while the top star can only whine, relies on a stunt double for fighting scenes, relies on sound editing for singing, and still gets paid tens of millions or even hundreds of millions for his and hundreds of millions for his movies. Don't they feel ashamed? I am not a fan of Shen Feng, but Shen Sheng and Wan Wan are indeed much better than most idols. I suggest that some top stars learn from them. You are such cowards. I will tell you straight, Fu Yan is just a worthless sissy and a pretty boy. If you are not convinced, come and fight me. When Fu Yan's fans saw this, they couldn't bear it anymore. I picked up the keyboard and started arguing with these people on the spot. Gradually, this trending search was filled with verbal battles. Zhang Wanwan was eating the grapes handed to her by Shenfeng while browsing Weibo, watching the excitement with a smile. The fruit plate this hotel gave me is pretty sweet. I'd like another one, Zhang Wanwan said. Then she saw Shenfeng picked up another grape, put it in Shenfeng's own mouth. Zhang Wanwan was stunned. Then he saw Shenfeng approaching. Lips and teeth connected. Zhang Wanwan blushed when she felt the grapes that Shenfeng passed through her mouth. This maple. Shenfeng looked at the shy Zhang Wanwan and was about to deepen the kiss. As a result, he felt the grape being pushed back into his mouth. And it's very powerful. Zhang Wanwan pushed Shenfeng away, turned her head and said with a red face, I don't want to eat what you've omitted. Give me a fresh one. Shensheng chewed the grapes in his mouth helplessly. He took another one and handed it to Zhang Wanwan. Zhang Wanwan swallowed the grape in one gulp. He also bit Shenfeng's finger. Warning, don't make sneak attacks in the future, otherwise, I'll make you pay. Shenfeng always felt that he was a person who listened to Brother Wan very much. He nodded honestly. And no sneak attack. Zhang Wanwan was very satisfied with Shenfeng's honesty. I'm telling you in advance that I'm going to kiss you. Is that okay? After Shenfeng finished speaking, he moved closer to Zhang Wanwan again. This guy is a piece of shit. Zhang Wanwan picked up the pillow and covered Shenfeng's face with it. Finally, under the oppression of Zhang Wanwan, Shensheng could only be obedient and feed grapes to Zhang Wanwan like an ancient concubine. Zhang Wanwan, feeling angry, continued to browse Weibo while chewing grapes. Then I saw a comment from a fan of Fu Yan in anger. This Shenfeng has been on so many hot searches these days. He must have spent money to hype it up. This hot search was deliberately bought to touch our brother Fu Yan. I've heard that Shenfeng had an improper relationship with La and Yu's boss. Do you really think he's a good person? No matter what. Our brother Fu Yan is much cleaner than Shenfeng. Shenfeng is trash. A scumbag with a messy private life, and a hype dog who relies on backstage. Zhang Wanwan was originally quite happy to see Fu Yan's fans scolding those passersby who were causing trouble. But when Zhang Wanwan saw Fu Yan's fans turned their fire and scolded Shenfeng, she couldn't stand it anymore. Especially at this moment when Shenfeng made her feel embarrassed and angry. Just need a punching bag. She immediately logged into her secondary Weibo account and found the Weibo account of that Fu Yan fan. Start typing. A certain fan of Fu Yan who was bashing Shenfeng under the trending search idol has not yet realized it. What will she experience next? Lin Qian is a junior high school student. Fans of Fu Yan. She had just finished her homework tonight and was browsing Weibo. As a result, under the trending search idol, many people were criticizing her idol Fu Yan. Lin Qian became anxious and started to scold those people along with other Fu Yan fans. As she was spouting, Lin Qian remembered the melon she had eaten before. I heard that Shenfeng was having an affair with the CEO of La and Yu Entertainment. He brought this matter up again and used it to slander Shenfeng. It turned out that she had just slandered Shenfeng not long ago. A Weibo user with the ID Shenfeng's only designated official wife chatted with her privately. Lin Qian sneered. Shenfeng's fans can't sit still anymore? Do you want to help Shenfeng clear his name? Or do you want to send her some negative information about Fu Yan to fight back? Lin Qian thought she was very familiar with the fan circle's tactics. Lin Qian thought about it and opened the private message interface. Then I saw that Shenfeng's only designated official wife sent a message. Your mother is dead? Lin Qian. Lin Qian. Chapter 16 Scene. What bad intentions could Wan Ji have? Lin Qian was dumbfounded. You start cursing people right away using an ID with your idol's name? Isn't this person afraid of bringing bad luck to his idol? She was about to type back. And as soon as his hand touched the phone screen, he saw another message from Shenfeng's only designated official wife on the screen. There is nothing wrong with being a fan, but if you chase fans to the point of throwing your brain away, you must be suffering from some serious illness. My Shenfeng is indeed hyping up the ashes of your brother and your mother. I'm sorry to offend your mother, but I'd like to ask how she is feeling. If she is in good health, let her have another child. After all, she can't expect you, a person with cerebral palsy, to take care of her in her old age. Why don't you look in the mirror and see your face before you say my Shenfeng is trash? The non-recyclable trash can downstairs is your real home. Baby. You can learn if you are uneducated, and you can get plastic surgery if you are ugly. But the holes in your brain cannot be filled. I was wrong. I shouldn't have said so much to you after all. You are a fan of Fu Yan. So it's normal for you to say nonsense and do stupid things. At this point I only have one suggestion for your life. Start over, baby. Lin Qian's hands were shaking. This is this person's mouth, the reincarnation of a cobra. How can it be so poisonous? Lin Qian typed out a line of words, trembling lie. You are using your idol's ID to scold me like this. Aren't you afraid of bringing bad things to your idol? I'm going to expose you. Zhang Wanwan sneered. Baby. You dare to use the name of Fu Yan's fan to spread rumors about my husband. Aren't you think that it will bring bad luck to Fu Yan? Also, you can expose me at will. I am not afraid to tell you that I am Zhang Wanwan. If you dare to slander Shenfeng again, I will even destroy your ancestral grave. Lin Qian was so angry. She has been on Weibo for so long. But she has never seen such an arrogant guy. Damn it. You think Wei Yan fans don't have the fighting power? I'm going to expose you right now. Lin Qian took screenshots of the chat history and sent them to Fu Yan's fan group in Super Topic. Immediately, a group of Fu Yan's fans came to blast Zhang Wanwan. Zhang Wanwan was not panicked at all and confronted whoever came. She is not afraid of being scolded. After criticizing each person, leave a comment below. I am Zhang Wanwan herself. Shenfeng, who was standing by, raised his eyebrows. You're so cruel. Brother Wan Yu, raise so tough. That's a must. Zhang Wanwan smiled proudly. This is what we call a person who does things by his own name and surname. Everyone is responsible for his own actions. Your elder brother always behaves in an upright manner. There are many children among Fu Yan's fans. After someone saw Zhang Wanwan's last sentence, I am Zhang Wanwan herself. He actually took screenshots and went to Zhang Wanwan's Super Topic and Zhang Wanwan's Weibo to tag Zhang Wanwan. When Zhang Wanwan saw this, she calmly changed back to the large size. Responded to those questions very gently. Zhang Wanwan. Everyone, how could this be me? Even if I really wanted to curse someone, I wouldn't reveal my identity, right? This person is using the Feng Zifan ID to curse people everywhere. Maybe he is Shen Feng's hater who is trying to stir up trouble. I hope everyone can keep their eyes open, smile heart. Shen Feng looked at Zhang Wanwan, who was smiling and sending a Weibo message. I couldn't help but complain. Is this what you call one person taking responsibility for his own actions? Is this what you call being above board? Zhang Wanwan snorted. Now this is called deception and war. When those fans of Fu Yan who were scolded saw Zhang Wanwan's reply, they all felt that there was some truth in it. I also feel that this couldn't possibly be Zhang Wanwan herself. And it's even possible that it was Shenfeng's black fans who were provoking a fight. For a moment, I felt a little sorry for Zhang Wanwan and Shenfeng. At this time, Zhang Wanwan quietly switched to her second account. First, he found a few fans of other popular stars under the topic idol. The idols of these fans are the kind that have only traffic but no talent. They are a little broken by the tag idol and are cursing people everywhere under the topic. Zhang Wanwan not only didn't scold them this time. Instead, he joined them and expressed support for their idol. It's like we're a family. Those fans of Fu Yan who had been scolded by Zhang Wanwan before were shocked to see that this Shen's only designated official wife was actually supporting other popular stars. At that time, I thought that this person was indeed Shenfeng's black fan. And he really supported other stars and came here to play the opposite role and provoke a fight. As the original victim, Lin Qian now felt that she had discovered the truth of the matter. Whenever they catch fans of other popular stars, they start to criticize them. Fans of these other popular stars are all confused. They were supporting their idol and scolding Shenfeng for hype and fraud. What does it have to do with Fu Yan? Why did Fu Yan's fans come and scold them? But people scolded me to my face. Of course, fans of these other popular stars can't tolerate this either. So he started to curse at Fu Yan's fans. Some Fu Yan fans who were unaware of the truth had no idea what was going on. I only saw my brothers and sisters being scolded. They all joined the battle. The battle became more and more intense and the temperature was rising. So much so that when Idol topped the hot search list, there were almost no fans of Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan on it. They are all Fu Yan's fans, and they are swearing at fans of other popular stars. It's so lively. Zhang Wanwan watched the battle while eating fruit. Cheerful. Is this called driving a tiger to swallow a wolf? Shenfeng asked. Zhang Wanwan shook her head. No, it's called dog bite dog, a mouthful of fur. Shenfeng. Sometimes Shen had to admit it. The late brother is indeed the late brother. He is not good at doing good things, but he is quite good at doing bad things. Look at the two groups of people who are about to quarrel on Weibo. And then look at Zhang Wanwan, who is smiling and watching the show. Shen Sheng couldn't help but sigh. Foolish children. You are just tools for Zhang Wanwan's entertainment. What bad intentions could your elder brother have? It's nothing more than trying to start a war. The quarrel was finally settled a little after Weibo removed the trending search. But Fu Yan's fans and the fans of that other popular star have a grudge against each other. When Zhang Wanwan saw that there was no more show to watch, she stretched and decided to take a rest. Shen Sheng whispered beside her. Wan Ji, how about taking a shower before going to bed? This suite has a small bathtub. Do you want to go take a dip together? Okay. Chen Feng didn't expect that Zhang Wanwan agreed so readily. He laughed, picked up Zhang Wanwan and carried her to the small bathing pool. However, Zhang Wanwan said she wanted to change clothes and ran away again. Chen Feng had no choice but to fill the bathtub with water first. After a while, Zhang Wanwan came over wrapped in a bathrobe. She took off her bathrobe in front of Shen Feng. Shen Feng stared at Zhang Wanwan as she took off her bathrobe. Then, and the swimsuit underneath was revealed. Then he watched Zhang Wanwan excitedly jump into the bathtub. He scooped up a handful of water, sprinkled it on Shen Feng's head, and said with a smile, Feng Zi, come down and play. Shen Feng silently wiped the water off his face. There may still be his tears in it. Tell the truth. This was not what he had imagined a bath to be like. More or less, there is a little difference. Chapter 70 Hide and Seek begins. Early the next morning. The other 3 groups of guests today are all very active. I got up early, went downstairs, and gathered in the hall. Everyone was very excited at the thought that they could finally make money from the thief couple Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Except for Jayatnam. Ever since that day, when I lost a piece of magical equipment, in a bet with my friends in the group, Jayatnam reflected on his recording experience over the past few days. It seems that he is not being cheated or bullied by the Peng Hubei group. It's on the road of being ripped off and bullied. Neither of this couple is a good person. Therefore, Jiatnan still has psychological trauma and does not think that taking action against Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan is a good choice at all. Leading heard that he looked depressed and patted him. Xiao Jia, don't be like that. Think about it, this is a good opportunity for you to get revenge. All the suffering and pain I've endured before were for the sake of revenge today. Shan Wei also came over and laughed. Yes, Xiao Jia. This time Shen Sheng and the others are going to fight 2 against 6. We are all on the same front. What are you afraid of against the 2 of them? Jayatnam smacked his lips. That's what I said. But he always felt unsure. A few people were chatting when they saw Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan coming downstairs. Everyone is here and it's almost time. Director Chen turned on the live broadcast and announced the start of today's recording. Because it is rumored online that today, the program production team is going to target Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan and come up with a new form of hide and seek. So there were quite a few people watching the live broadcast early this morning. Director Chen looked at the number of people in the live broadcast room with satisfaction. And he smiled kindly and looked at several groups of guests. Especially Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Everyone, our show today will be a little different. We have prepared a special game, hide and seek. As he said that, he took out a box. Let's draw lots later to decide who will hide and who will catch. Among the 4 groups of guests, only 1 group will hide. And the remaining 3 groups will catch. If the person hiding is caught, he or she will have to pay a ransom. Of course, if the hiding person is caught less than 10 times today, he can get a $50 reward in the end. Director Chen was also afraid that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan would not want to play later. So he added a bonus mechanism to attract them. Sure enough, Zhang Wanwan's eyes lit up when she heard there was a bonus. Director Chen chuckled. He believed that he already knew the couple very well. If you want to take down Shen Feng, you just need to take down Zhang Wanwan. If you want to win Zhang Wanwan, you have to pay. After announcing the rules, Director Chen held up a cardboard box and asked everyone to draw lots. He was the first to walk up to Shen Feng, and said to him with a smile, Student Shen, you go first. 3 for catching and 1 for hiding. If you draw first, as long as your luck is not too bad, you should be able to draw the spot for catching. As Director Chen said this, he also had an expression that said, Look how good I am to you. The audience in the live broadcast room were a little surprised when they saw it. That's not right, didn't these people intend to plot against Feng Zi and Wanwan yesterday? Why are they taking care of them now? Let Shen Feng draw first. And he has a 3/4 chance of drawing the lottery to arrest someone. Is Director Chen trying to help Feng Zi? I feel something is wrong. I always feel that Director Chen's eyes are a bit sinister. While the audience was discussing, Shen Feng drew a lot. When I opened it, I saw a big word written on it. Hide. Director Chen had a look of regret on his face. Oh, Xiaoshen, you have such bad luck. You got the lucky number to avoid. Then your group can only hide. No way, Feng Zi also has such bad luck. Although Feng Zi has always been very powerful, she still doesn't have such a thing as X-ray vision. Chao Ji and the others have been unlucky so many times. Is it finally Shen Feng's turn? While the audience was discussing, Shen Cheng reached into the box again. Director Chen's expression changed and he hurriedly tried to take the box away. But with just a look from Shen Feng, Zhang Wanwan beside him reacted and hugged the box. Shen Feng took the opportunity to take out the remaining free tickets. All opened in front of the camera. It says hide all over it. Audience? Director Chen. Damn, this time there is really something shady going on. This is too shady. I was wondering why the production team was so kind to let Feng Zi draw first. It turns out that all four lots were dodged. Fortunately, my Feng Zi is smart and saw through Director Chen's trick. Shen Cheng held for identical signature tickets and looked at Director Chen. You just said that as long as my luck isn't too bad, I can draw the lottery to catch someone? And I'd like to know how to draw catch from the 4 hide cards. Director Chen coughed awkwardly, pretending to look at the scenery. And he saw Zhang Wanwan picked up the box and was about to throw it at him. Director Chen quickly raised his hands in surrender and said, This was just a little joke. Don't be angry. Don't be angry, how about trying again? Can you try again? Unexpectedly, Shen Feng actually shook his head. It's okay. We can hide. Director Chen was stunned. The audience was also stunned. Today's rules clearly state that whoever tries to hide will suffer. Chen Cheng had clearly discovered Director Chen's conspiracy and could have drawn again. So why was he willing to hide? But then Shen Feng continued. But I have a condition. You tell me. If our group is caught less than 10 times, I hope the production team can give us a bonus of 100 yuan. Director Chen thought about it. Finally he gritted his teeth and said, okay, I agree. He just didn't believe it. The shopping mall only had a few floors. And he had restricted many hidden corners to prevent hiding. There are almost no perfect places to hide. 3 groups of people have been trying to catch Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan for the whole day today. How can they not catch them 10 times? Seeing that Director Chen agreed, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan nodded in satisfaction. Everyone got in the car and headed to the shopping mall from the hotel. The assistant director and Director Chen were sitting in a car. He whispered, Shen Feng clearly had the opportunity to redraw the lot. But he still chose to hide, and even asked you to increase the prize money. Aren't you afraid that they will find a way to avoid being caught by others? Director Chen sneered. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I have a killer move. Don't forget that even if Shen Feng and the others want to hide, they will be followed by cameras the whole time. We can see where they are at any time. If it doesn't work, I will reveal the location of Shen Feng and the others to the other 3 groups. With me as your off-field coach, are you still worried that you won't be able to catch Shen Feng and the others? Director Chen also had a camera in his car to follow the filming. At this time, the audience heard what Director Chen said. Suddenly a large amount of black curtain flooded the screen again. Many people are still worried about Shen Feng, Zhang Wanwan and others. Director Chen reports to the other 3 groups. Doesn't it mean Feng Zi and Wanwan can't hide anywhere? What's the point of playing then? That's right, this is obviously an attempt to defraud the SUO couple of their money. I knew Director Chen was always bad, but I didn't expect he could be this bad. It's over. Feng Zi and Wanwan won't lose all their money today. Right? Then will I still be able to see them have a big dinner tonight? I wait for their eating broadcasts every day to have dinner. Amid the audience's discussion, the program crew returned to Q&A shopping plaza. Director Chen first gave Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan 5 minutes to hide. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan ran to the outside of the shopping mall, took a taxi and went back to the hotel to sleep. Director Chen quickly stopped them. You can't leave the shopping mall. Shen Feng shrugged, and obediently took Zhang Wanwan back to the shopping mall and went upstairs. As soon as 5 minutes were up, the other 3 groups immediately took action. At this moment, in their eyes, Shen Feng and Zhang Wan were no longer to people, but it's a walking $5. Whether they can catch these 2 guys, and whether they can catch them a few more times, is related to whether they can have a good meal in the evening. I have to say that this format of program is indeed very effective. When the other 3 groups of guests started catching people, the audience became nervous. First, let's see which floor Shen Feng and the others are on. Then I went to another live broadcast room to see which level others had reached. Some people simply opened several browsers or even took several mobile phones and opened every live broadcast room. At this time, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were on the 4th floor of the shopping mall. The other 3 groups of guests, who had already discussed the plan, were split into 3 groups. Chang Wei and Meng Yan's team searched the 1st floor, which has the largest area, and the 2nd floor. Li listened to Jay Atnam and searched the 3rd, 4th and 5th floors. Xiao Tianshu and Shan Lu searched the cinema areas on the 6th, 7th and 8th floors. Li Tingting and Jia Tenen's group searched the 3rd floor and found no trace of Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan. So I ran to the 4th floor. That is the floor where Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan are now. The audience became even more nervous. What frightened them the most was that Shenfeng and Wanwan were not hiding now. They were at the same jewelry store where they bought the animal-ear headbands yesterday. I asked the rich second-generation store manager for paper and pen and was writing something. They seemed completely unaware that someone had arrived on their floor. It's approaching them. Chapter 71. Brother Shen, do you have a crush on me? Li Tingting and Xiao Jia are coming. Feng Zi 11. What are you doing? Run quickly. It will be too late if you don't run now. You can hide, but don't stand at the door so openly. What are they writing? I really want to read it. Some of the audience were very anxious. Some people who like to watch the fun are curious about what Shenfeng is writing. Director Chen was also very curious. He asked the photographer to come over and take a picture. As a result, Zhang Wanwan suddenly blocked the camera. He grinned and said, "No taking pictures, this is a secret." This made the audience and Director Chen even more curious. But soon, they were no longer so curious. There was no time for them to be curious. The audience became nervous, and Director Chen showed a sinister smile on his face. Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan, who had finished writing, left the jewelry store. And not far behind them, Li Tingting and Jia Nan were walking over. Li Tingting and Jia Tenen saw Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan at a glance. The expressions of both of them became interesting. Are they going to be the first ones to catch Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan? Even Jay Atnam, who had been worried till then, began to feel excited. The two looked at each other, and then ran towards Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan together. Hearing the footsteps, Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan looked back. That's when everyone thought that the two of them should turn around and run. Unexpectedly, the couple walked towards Jia Nan and Li Tingting. This abnormal behavior immediately frightened Jia Nan, who had suffered many losses before, and made him alert. He hurriedly pulled Li Tingting to stop, then stared at Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan with a vigilant look. What do you want to do? Don't come over here, keep your distance. Xiao Jia's reaction must have left him with psychological trauma due to Feng Zi and Wanwan's tricks. I'm a passerby. Just arrived, should Feng Zi and Wanwan catch, and Jia Nan and Li Tingting hide? This is the first time I've seen the person who catches is more cowardly than the person who hides. The audience complained. Even Shenfeng looked helpless. He spread his hands and said, "You are the ones who came to arrest us. Not us arresting you. Why are you reacting like this?" Jia Nan looked at Shenfeng seriously. "This is my normal reaction to you too. Brother Shen, I know exactly who you are. You dare to approach us so openly. There must be something fishy going on." Shenfeng smiled. He pulled Zhang Wanwan and continued walking towards Jia Nan and Li Tingting. Jia Nan pulled Li Tingting and retreated step by step. When he retreated to the wall, with nowhere to retreat, Jia Nan looked at Shenfeng with a heroic expression on his face. "Brother Shen's, what on earth do you want to do?" Shensheng licked his tongue. Walked to Jay Atnam's side. With Jay Atnam's face filled with horror, he grabbed Jay Atnam's wrist. Then he placed Jay Atnam's hand on his body. "I'm here for you to catch, understand?" Jay Atnam was stunned. Li Tingting was stunned. The audience and Director Chen were all stunned. This Shenfeng actually came to the door on his own initiative. Is this reasonable? This is unreasonable. Of course, Jia Nan and Li Tingting also felt that it was unreasonable, especially Jay Atnam. She quickly withdrew her hand and huddled beside Li Tingting like a bullied little wife. He looked at Shenfeng fearfully and asked, "I don't believe it. You must have a conspiracy. What on earth do you want to do?" Shensheng said sincerely, "I really have no conspiracy. I really want you to catch me. I don't believe it." Jay Atnan roared. Shenfeng had a headache. This guy is a bit too cautious. Could it be that he had committed so many frauds before that he had trained himself into an entire fraud expert? There was no other way in order to express his sincerity. Shenfeng could only take out $5 and hand it to Jay Atnan. "I've given you the money this time, so you should trust me. Right?" Jay Atnan looked at Shenfeng warily. He looked at the $5 warily again. Finally, he carefully extended two fingers. He pinched one corner of the $5 bill with the tip of his fingernail. As if he was afraid that the money was poisonous, he took the money back tremblingly. And I held it up to the light several more times. After confirming that it was real, he gave the money to Li Tingting to keep. Shenfeng said, "You should trust me this time, right?" "I still don't believe it, Brother Shen. Is your head caught in the door?" "Shenfeng, your head was caught by the door." Jay Atnan. "And why did you take the initiative to let me catch you? Why did you come to give me money?" As he spoke, Jay Atnan's expression suddenly changed. He bit his lip. He hesitated for a long time. Finally, he whispered, "Brother Shen, do you have a crush on me?" As he spoke, Jiat Nan suddenly covered his buttocks and said, "Let me make it clear first, I am not worth $5. No, $5 is too much. In short, don't think you can buy my heart with $5. As a result, he had just finished speaking when he saw John Won looking at him kindly. Jiat Nan shuddered with fear. Shen Sheng was also speechless. He said to Jiat Nan seriously, "Even if my brain is stuck in the door, I will never have a crush on you." Jiat Nan heaved a sigh of relief. But soon I felt a little sad again. Am I so unworthy of your love? John Won clenched her fists. Jiat Nan immediately changed his words and said, "I don't deserve it, I definitely don't deserve it. Xiao Jia, something is wrong with you." Luckily Won is quite strong. Otherwise Xiao Jia might have really intervened. But it's very strange. Why was Shen Feng arrested for no reason? Was he giving money to Xiao Ji and the others? Does he feel he can't escape? To be honest, I think Feng Zi must have a conspiracy. Some people in the audience were laughing. Some people are wondering. At this time, Shen Feng patted Jiat Nan's shoulder. "Xiao Jia, here are the $5. They are my apology to you. I did screw you over a few times before, I'm sorry. But I hope you understand that you are my best friend in this show." John Won also said to Li Ting, "Ting Ting, you are also my best friend." Both Jiat Nan and Li Ting were very touched. And they saw Shen Feng take out a note. The photographer wanted to take a picture of what was on the note, but was intercepted by John Won again. Shen Sheng said to Jiat Nan and Li Ting earnestly, "I regard you as my best friends, so the contents of this note are all beneficial to you. You should consider it carefully." Jiat Nan and Li Ting read the note. The note said that it was hoped that the two groups could cooperate with each other. As long as Jiat Nan and Li Ting can cover them until the end of the game, they will give Jiat Nan and Li Ting $15 after the end. Even if Jiat Nan and Li Ting bought ingredients in the evening, Shen Sheng could help cook them. Both Jiat Nan and Li Ting were moved. $15, plus the $5 Shen Feng just gave me, makes $20. Normally, you have to catch Shen Feng and John Won for times to get 20 yuan, but it's not easy to catch them for times. This time, the two of them came to me on their own initiative. But what about next time? No one can say for sure. It was the second half of the sentence that moved Jiat Nan and Li Ting the most. Shen Feng can help with cooking. To be honest, neither Jiat Nan nor Li Ting is good at cooking. And even if they are good at it, they dare not say that they can be compared with Shen Feng. After all, Shen Feng's cooking skills are recognized even by state banquet chefs like Uncle Li. Shen Feng can help them cook. This condition is too tempting. Jiat Nan read the note over and over again for a long time. But he didn't think there was anything deceptive about it. Finally, after discussing with Li Ting, he nodded at Shen Feng. "Brother Shen, we agree to your terms and we are willing to cooperate." What kind of collaboration? What happened? I just went to the bathroom. What did I miss? What exactly is written on Shen Feng's note? I want to see it too. Program crew, please give me a shot. Please give me a shot. I don't know what's written on the note. I won't be able to eat for the whole day. The audience was extremely curious. How come Shen Sheng could scare Jiat Nan and Li Ting into cooperating with him just by showing them a piece of paper? Curiosity kills the cat. And the audience. And Director Chen. Director Chen now really wants to know what is written on the note. He quickly told the photographer to make sure to capture what was written on Shen Feng's note. But John Won blocked the camera tightly. No matter how the photographer moved, he couldn't avoid John Won. This defense, John Won must have played basketball before. Let Won defend James next season. The photographer was carrying the camera. The photographer made a fake move. The photographer wanted to dribble past the opponent. John Won blocked it. Beautiful defense. Seeing that one photographer couldn't get rid of John Won, Director Chen immediately directed another photographer on the scene. In addition to the photographer who was taking pictures of Shen Feng, John Won, there were also people taking pictures of Jiat Nan and Li Ting. Another photographer took advantage of John Won's imprependences and tried to take a sneak shot of the note in Jiat Nan's hand. "Xiao Jia!" John Won saw this and shouted loudly. Jiat Nan also reacted quickly enough and crumpled the note and threw it into his mouth. Shen Shen said helplessly, "Why don't you just put the note in your pocket? Why do you have to eat it?" Jiat Nan swallowed the note with difficulty. After taking a long breath, he said, "I saw in TV dramas that this is how spies swallowed the information after being caught. So you want to try what it feels like to be a spy?" Li Ting asked. Jiat Nan shook his head. "That's not the case. I just didn't react for a moment and forgot I could put the note in my pocket." Shen Feng. John Won. Li Ting. Li Ting. "Director? Can we change our partners now? Can we change to someone with brains?" Chapter 72. We refuse to cooperate. Director Chen agreed to Li Tingting's request to change his partner. The price was that Li Tingting had to tell him what was on the note. As a result, Li Tingting did not change his partner, and Director Chen was unable to learn the contents of the note. This made Director Chen and many audiences feel itchy, especially Director Chen. It seemed that Jia Nan and Li Tingting actually didn't arrest Shen Sheng and Zhang Wanwan because of a note. Zhang Wanwan even asked the rich second-generation owner of the jewelry store for a deck of playing cards. Li Tingting, Zhang Wanwan and Jia Tanan ran to the side to play landlord. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't find Mahjong, he would probably have brought Shen Feng along to play Mahjong. Director Chen was anxious. This won't work. This is his hide-and-seek live broadcast room. And it is also the Love Survival variety show live broadcast room. At the very least, it should be Zhang Wanwan's food live broadcast room. What a disgrace to playing landlord. Although since Xu Yilin commented on Zhang Wanwan, Director Chen has become much more tolerant of the Penghu Bei group. But he couldn't just watch these people play cards in front of hundreds of thousands of spectators. Director Chen looked at the other live broadcast rooms. Seeing that Shang Wei and Meng Yan's group was closer to the fourth floor, where Xin Feng Zhang Wanwan was, he immediately picked up the walkie-talkie and started reporting the location. Shang Wei, Meng Yan, Shen Feng is on the east side of the fourth floor. Go catch him. It's starting, he's getting anxious. The Chendao brand plugin is now online, with a new perspective reporting function. Director Chen, there are so many people watching, this is really inappropriate. Chao Jia, are you stupid? You are a peasant. In the live broadcast room, some people are condemning Director Chen. Some people are condemning Jiatnam's card skills. And the second floor of the shopping mall. Chang Wei and Meng Yan were startled when they heard Director Chen's voice. Fourth floor, isn't that where Xiao Ji and the others are going to search? Director Chen said angrily, stop talking. Jia Tan and Li Tingting have already betrayed the organization. They have been bribed by Shen Feng. Comrade Shang Wei. Comrade Meng Yan, whether we can take down Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan depends entirely on you. This is for yourselves, but also for the organization. Meng Yan and Shang Wei's expressions turned serious. The two said in unison, make sure to complete the task. Then the two of them went upstairs. And the two of them saw Zhang Wanwan who was playing landlord. And the two of them wanted to catch Zhang Wanwan. Then, Shen Feng appeared from nowhere and stopped them. Shen Feng happily took out $5 and said, it's the redemption fee. Just a token of my appreciation. Meng Yan and Shang Wei looked at each other. Did you deliver it to your door yourself? Is there such a good thing? They took the money doubtfully. Then Shen Sheng took out a note. At the same time, he spoke to them mysteriously. Brother Shang. Sister Meng, you are my best friends in this program group. And you are also my most respected seniors. I consider you my best friends. So please think carefully about the contents of this note. Audience. Director Chen. Let's do it again. Right? Same old trick, eh? Everyone is your best friend, right? Director Chen saw Shang Wei took the note and hurriedly said through the intercom. Comrade Shang Wei, Comrade Meng Yan, you can't betray the organization. Don't trust Shen Feng, he is not trustworthy. Director Chen was shouting at the top of his lungs. Then I saw Meng Yan and Shang Wei both turned off the intercom. They both looked at Shen Feng excitedly and asked, are you really willing to give us? Ush. Shen Cheng made a gesture to keep quiet. As long as you are willing to cooperate, I will definitely do it for you. You know? Don't forget, we are all guests, we are in the same group. What we should do is not to cheat money from each other, but to make money from the program team. Meng Yan nodded, thinking that what Shen Feng said made sense. Shang Wei glanced at Jie Tinan who was playing landlord. Suddenly he whispered to Shen Feng, although you made a lot of money from the program crew, it seems that you also made a lot of money from Xiao Jia, right? It's a bit inappropriate for you to say that. Shen Feng waved his hand. That's not a trick, it's a white lie. I'm helping him. Shang Wei, did your lies help him in any way? Of course. Shen Feng said, if he is not allowed to experience the hardships of life, how can he understand what true happiness is? Shang Wei. Shen Feng added, I also helped him improve his Earthbound awareness. Now he is not as easy to deceive as before. Shang Wei. Okay, you are right. In the end, Shang Wei and Meng Yan both agreed to cooperate with Shen Feng. The conditions Shen Feng offered them were the same as those he offered to Jian and Li Tingting. It's all $15, plus help with cooking. Shang Wei and Meng Yan have long wanted to try Shen Feng's cooking skills. With the addition of Shang Wei and Meng Yan, there are now 3 groups of 6 people on the 4th floor of the shopping mall. So Shen Feng asked for another deck of cards. 3 men in a group and 3 women in a group. The fight became more joyful. The comments in the live broadcast room have gradually turned into various comments on the country's affairs. Straight, oh my god, it's a straight. Damn, my brother Feng is really good at playing cards. He wins again. Photographer, please turn around and give Sister Meng's perspective. Hey, Sister Meng has a good hand. I think it will bring spring. Director Chen was so numb that everyone he saw was numb. Ever since he came up with the idea of hide and seek yesterday, Director Chen felt that this was a plan that would have a very positive effect on the show. There is a game between hiding and catching, and there is also competition between the three groups of catching people. The most important thing is to be able to recover funds from Shenzhen Shangwanwan. It's perfect. Even last night, Director Chen dreamed about them chasing each other in the shopping mall. Result: hide and seek has turned into landlord. Although there is gambling and competition in landlords, but this is completely different from what he thought. Director Chen grabbed the walkie-talkie and looked towards the live broadcast room of the Tianlu group. You are my last hope. He pressed the communication button on the intercom. Xiao Qianshu, Chen Lu, I have some unfortunate news to tell you. Xiao Qianshu and Chen Lu were searching for the cinema on the top floor of the shopping mall. Hearing the voice on the intercom, Xiao Qianshu asked, "What's the news? What happened?" The ugly combination and the mighty combination were both instigated by Xin Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Director Chen said with great sorrow. They are playing landlord on the 4th floor right now. The task of taking them down will be left to you. Xiao Qianshu and Chen Lu never expected that Xin Feng could actually incite the remaining two teams to rebel. How did they do it? Can you tell me what Xin Feng did? Otherwise, what if we are also turned against him? Xiao Qianshu asked. Director Chen said, Xin Feng showed them a note. Then what? Then they rebelled. Xiao Qianshu, excuse me, what's written on the note? Director Chen, I don't know either. Xiao Qianshu and Chen Lu were both silent. There must be some incredible conditions written on that note. Only Jiat Nan, Shang Wei and others would choose to cooperate with Xin Feng. Then if we go, won't Xin Feng still be able to instigate us to rebel? Xiao Qianshu finally said helplessly. He doesn't think that he has better willpower than others. Director Chen certainly wouldn't let Xiao Qianshu just go there. Director Chen, who witnessed the rebellion of the ugly and mighty bands, decided to make full preparations this time. As long as you don't let them turn against you, I can give you a bonus of 100 yuan. And every time you catch Xin Feng, I will give you an extra $5 in bonus. Director Chen has invested a lot of money this time. Today, he must see hide and seek. Must. When they heard about such a generous reward, Xiao Qianshu and Chen Lu's eyes lit up. A bonus of $100. They have never seen so much money since they started participating in the show. Okay, we accept this mission, Xiao Qianshu said. Then, he went downstairs according to Director Chen's instructions. Director Chen looked at the screen and smiled coldly. Xin Feng, I've invested a lot of money this time. I don't believe you can offer such generous conditions. You are too young to fight me. Soon, Xiao Qianshu and Chen Lu's team found Xin Feng and Zhang Wanwan who were playing cards. Seeing this, Xin Feng handed over $5 with ease. Then, another note was handed over. Here we come. Xiao Qianshu swallowed. He wanted to see what conditions could impress the other two groups of people. When he saw the $15, Xiao Qianshu was not very tempted. But when he and Chen Lu saw the last sentence, Xin Feng helped with cooking, the expressions of the two people were a little unnatural. These days, they would watch Xin Feng cook for Zhang Wanwan in front of the screen almost every night, and they can only eat their boxed lunches miserably. Xin Feng's craftsmanship is undoubtedly superb. So Xiao Qianshu and Chen Lu have long wanted to eat the food cooked by Xin Feng. I have to admit that this condition is indeed very tempting. Only, when he thought of the 100 yuan, Xiao Qianshu began to hesitate again. Finally Xiao Qianshu took a deep breath. He shook his head at Xin Feng. Sorry, we cannot accept your conditions. We refuse to cooperate. Chapter 73. I don't have much money, but we have a lot of people. Seeing that Xiao Qianshu righteously refused to cooperate, a smile appeared on Director Chen's face. He couldn't help but pick up the intercom and boasted to Xin Feng and Zhang Wanwan. You are not the only ones who can make conditions. I can make conditions for them too. I gave them a reward of $100. And promised that I would give them $5 more for every time they caught you. The conditions I offer are so generous, I wonder how you can win people's hearts. Classmate Chen, you are still too naive. Director Chen's tail is about to reach the sky. I have played games with Xin Feng so many times. He finally won once. Xin Feng heard this. Suddenly he said to Director Chen, if the ugly listening band and the mighty band choose to betray me now and not continue to cooperate with me, Director Chen, can you give them such generous treatment? Director Chen immediately said, of course not, otherwise, each team would get a bonus of 100 yuan, so why would we need to record this show? Xin Feng nodded. Then he looked at Xiao Qianshu and Chen Lu, and said with a smile, you two, are you really not going to cooperate with me? Xiao Tianshu sighed. Your conditions are indeed very tempting, and we also want to taste your cooking skills. At a price of $100. We haven't seen so much money since the show started. And we really want to have a good life, so, sorry. Alright. Shen Feng sat on the chair and nodded at Xiao Tianshu. I am a very reasonable person, so I respect your choice. But, Shen Feng suddenly changed the subject. But respect aside, I still want to have a good talk with you. I have made up my mind. There is nothing more to discuss, Xiao Tianshu said with a firm look. Shen Chang shook his head. Just a gentle wave of your hand. Jay Atnam and others looked at each other. No one knows what Shen Feng is going to do. They all stood there in a daze. The scene became awkward for a while. Only Zhang Wanwan understood what Shen Feng meant. She hurriedly whispered a few words to Shang Wei, Jay Adnan and others. Then he made an okay gesture to Shen Feng. Shen Chang off lightly. Again. As he spoke, he waved his hand, gently again. This time, Jay Atnam and the others finally cooperated. Tiat Nan and Shang Wei stood beside Xiao Tianshu. Leaving Ting and Meng and walked to Chen Lu's side. Xiao Tianshu looked around and found that Jie Nan and Shang Wei both had gloomy expressions. Xiao Tianshu shuddered when he saw it. What do you want to do? Nothing, I just want you to sit down and have a good chat with me. As Shen Feng was speaking, Shang Wei and Jie Ten and carried Xiao Tianshu to the chair opposite Shen Feng. Xiao Tianshu subconsciously wanted to stand up, but was immediately held down by the shoulders by Shang Wei and Jie Nan and pushed back into the chair. Xiao Tianshu was about to cry. Why does he feel like he's been kidnapped? Zhang Wanwan took out a pair of sunglasses from the jewelry store and put them on Shen Feng. Shen Feng was wearing sunglasses and crossing his legs, looking at Xiao Tianshu, who was being held by two people opposite. With the demeanor of a gangster boss, he slowly said, Xiao Tianshu, you just said that you don't want to cooperate with me? Now, do you want to reconsider it? Indeed, I really can't offer you better conditions than Director Chen. But I just said that I am a very reasonable person. There is a reason I must explain to you clearly. We may not have much money, but we have a lot of people, you know? Damn. This is too cruel. You call this being reasonable? My gangster boss Feng Zi is so stylish, all he needs is a black suit. Although we don't have much money, we have a lot of people. Filming a dating variety show ended up looking like a gangster movie. Xiao Tianshu and Chen Lu are so miserable. Finally, it is not my little Jia who is unlucky anymore. Ooh! The barrage of comments in the live broadcast room suddenly surged. However, Director Chen was not in the mood to read the comments at the moment. Seeing that Shen Feng looked like a gangster boss, he was trying to intimidate Xiao Tianshu. Director Chen quickly said, Shen Feng, what are you trying to do? This is a serious show, and you are not allowed to use violence against the guests. Shen Cheng spread his hands innocently. How could I use violence? Am I not being reasonable? Then, even intimidation will work. Oh, I can't force you, but you can bribe you, is that what you mean? Shen Cheng raised his eyebrows. Director Chen was furious. Didn't you bribe him first? But there's no rule that says you can't cooperate with your enemies. I didn't break any rules. Shen Cheng behaved very innocently. I created this game, so of course I have the final say on the rules. Director Chen said angrily. Shen Cheng said a grieved lie. Then I'll leave? Director Chen. Director Chen was speechless. The assistant director at the side patted him on the shoulder. Why bother? Just give up, you can't beat him. Director Chen silently took out a bottle of quick-acting heart pills from his pocket and swallowed two. After eating, he let out a long breath. Then he picked up the walkie-talkie again, trembling. Lie. Just continue, just pretend I didn't say anything. I heard no more sound from Director Chen. Shen Feng looked at Xiao Tianshu and Shen Lu with a kind face again. He smiled and said, You too, the sponsor who gave you the financial subsidies is no longer talking. Do you have any ideas now? As I said before, I am a very reasonable person and I respect your choice. Xiao Tianshu looked at Shang Wei and Jie Nan beside him. Then he looked at Li Ting and Meng and beside Chen Lu. And Zhang Wanwan, who was standing aside, carrying an inflatable hammer that she had found from somewhere. She gave a smile that was uglier than crying. We cooperate. We are willing to cooperate. Shen Cheng took off his sunglasses, stood up, walked forward, and shook hands with Xiao Tianshu with a smile. Indeed, you are also very wise people. Xiao Tianshu clenched his hands numbly. After a moment, he looked up pitifully at Shen Feng. Will you give us $15 after that, and cook for us tonight? Shen Feng thought about it. Finally, he said, I can cook. But it's $15. I'm sorry I can't give it to your group. Why? Because there are more of us, I have the final say. Do you have any objections? Xiao Tianshu was silent for a long time. Finally he suddenly grabbed the hand of Jay Atnam beside him. Jay Atnam gets shocked. You're not secretly in love with me, are you? Xiao Chenshu didn't know what Jie Nan meant by this. He just said with a sad face, Xiao Jia, I finally understand the pain you once felt. No wonder it would become unfortunate if you were told not to get close to Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Turns out it's true. In the end, Xiao Tianshu was forced to choose to cooperate with Shen Feng Zhang Wanwan. The other three groups of guests were originally enemies of the Peng Hubei group. Now they have all become Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's younger brothers. The world is united and harmonious. Looking at so many people, Zhang Wanwan suddenly felt emotional. I found a problem. Shen Chang looked sideways and asked, what's the problem? Although we can now get together to Machhorn tables, it's a pity that we don't have Machhorn. If we're playing landlord, we're still one person short of 3 tables. When everyone heard this, they began to worry. Just when everyone was thinking about what to do next, and they saw a figure slowly walking towards them. Director Chen stood in front of them with a haggard look on his face. He smoothed the few strands of hair on his head. He said sadly, I heard that you are short of people? It's time for me, the champion of the 4th Dudaishu contest held at Wenting Community, Sanxian Road, Huahu District, Suzhou and Hanghouse, to join the battle. Woohoo, has Director Chen surrendered? This is called a real man who can bend and stretch, although I have never seen him stretch. What's the saying? If you can't resist, you might as well enjoy it. Director Chen's name is quite impressive. He seems to be a mess. Hey, Director Chen chose Fengzi and Wanwan as opponents. It's going to be fun. Seeing that Director Chen actually sat at the table with Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, the audience was excited. 10 minutes later, when Director Chen confidently tried to seize the landlord position for the 5th time, he was brutally defeated by Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Director Chen took out the quick-acting hard pills from his pocket and took several of them. Then he quietly ran to Jie Nan's table and pushed Xiao Tianshu away. Of course, it is impossible for Shen Feng and his friends to fight against the landlord for a whole day. After all, this is still a live broadcast of the program. So after playing cards for a while, Director Chen assigned new tasks. Since we can't continue playing hide and seek today, let's come up with a new task. There is an escape room on the 7th floor of this shopping mall. You should have seen it. Our program team has reached a cooperation with that escape room. Later we will send each group of you to a different secret room. You need to solve the puzzles in the room and find a way to escape. We have prepared different prizes. Whoever escapes first will be eligible to choose the prize. This was originally the project that Director Chen left for tomorrow. But today's hide and seek game is out of the question. And we can't let the guests play landlord all the time. Director Chen could only move tomorrow's project to today. The group went up to the 7th floor in a mighty procession and arrived at the escape room store. In the escape room store, the boss greeted everyone with a big smile. Then he said, this time, I have carefully designed many magical escape room projects for our program team. I added a lot of new elements to it. I guarantee that this escape room is something you have never experienced before. Remember, in the secret room, don't trust anyone else except your partner. And don't trust any intelligence completely. The boss finished speaking. The staff took out blindfolds and put them on several groups of guests. Then he mysteriously led the guests into different secret rooms. Zhang Wanwan held Shen Feng's arm and took every step carefully, until the staff said that it was time to take off the blindfold. Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng took off their blindfolds and looked at the secret room in front of them. As a result, Zhang Wanwan was numb when she took a look at it. Because on the wall opposite her, there were 3 big blood-red words written on it. J. Atnam. Zhang Wanwan was dumbfounded. Why is J. Atnam's name written in their secret room? Before she could come to her senses, the staff rushed over. I'm sorry, I took you to the wrong room. Please follow me over here. Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng looked at each other and were about to follow the staff. But after walking the steps, Shen Feng pulled Zhang Wanwan and stopped. The staff member turned to look at them in confusion. Why don't you leave? Is there any problem? Shen Cheng narrowed his eyes and looked at him. Not that there's anything wrong with us. You have a problem. Chapter 74, Escape Room Part 1. The staff member pressed down the baseball cap on his head. He showed a puzzled expression and asked, what are you talking about? What do you mean there is something wrong with me? Shen Cheng raised his chin and pointed to the door the staff was going to take them to. Although we were blindfolded when we came in just now, I know that we did not come through that door. Oh, that's because this door also leads to the secret room you want to go to. The staff said. Really? If that's the case, why don't you open the door and let us see? Shen Cheng made a gesture of invitation. The staff didn't move for a long time. Shen Feng continued, before we entered the secret room, the boss said that this was a secret room he specially designed. He also said that we can't trust anyone else in the secret room except our partner. Generally speaking, the escape room game begins the moment we take off our blindfolds. So you are also in the category that we cannot trust. Am I right? Shen Feng smiled and pointed to another door in the room. That should be the entrance we came from. I won't see you off. A staff member quietly left the room through that door. There is no doubt that this shows that Shen Feng's speculation is correct. Seeing this scene, the audience in front of the live broadcast room breathed a sigh of relief. In fact, these audiences knew that there was something wrong with this staff member, because similar situations occurred in the secret rooms of several other groups of guests. People who claimed to be staff came in and said that the guests had gone to the wrong room and wanted to take them to another room. But the other groups were not as vigilant as Shen Feng, just like the group of Li Ting and Jiet Nan. When Jiet Nan followed the staff into the next room, Li Ting was about to go in with them. The door of the room was closed. Li Ting and Jiet Nan were directly separated into two rooms. A pop sounded from the secret room, saying that only by working together to decipher the secret, one inside and one outside, could they rescue their companions. When the audience saw that the staff also found Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, they were still worried that they would be infected as well. Unexpectedly, Shen Feng saw through the other party at a glance. I can only say that it is Feng Zi who is awesome. After all, he is brother Feng who is proficient in many foreign languages, and easily solve advanced math competition problems, and can guess the room number based on the light. So, does this count as skipping a level? They skipped the part of rescuing their teammates and can now proceed to the next step? I'm a little curious about how long it will take them to clear this secret room. And how much faster will they be than other groups? The boss seemed to have said before that the estimated time to clear this secret room was about an hour and a half. Feng Zi skipped a level, and since he has a quick mind, he can probably clear it in 40 minutes. Someone said. Some people even opened the bet. I bet for 1 hour. I bet for 30 minutes. I believe in Feng Zi. About 70 minutes. Who knows if there will be any more surprises in this secret room? The comments kept discussing the issue of how long it would take to complete the game. At this time, in the secret room, Zhang Wanwan was looking around the room curiously. Then he pointed to a small door in the corner and said, "There seems to be a combination lock there. I need to find the combination and unlock it before I can enter the next room. Right? This type of escape room game is usually composed of 3 or 4 secret rooms. Players need to find the key or password to the next secret room through clues in the secret room." Shen Feng thought about it. Suddenly he asked Zhang Wanwan, "Do you want to pass quickly, or do you want to play for a while longer?" "Of course we have to pass it quickly. Didn't you hear Director Chen say there would be a reward?" Zhang Wanwan said seriously. Shen Feng nodded. Then he took Zhang Wanwan's hand, walked towards the door that the staff had just left. He turned the door handle and walked out. Outside the door, there were the shop owner, Director Chen, and a group of staff. They all stared in amazement at Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan who came out. Fuck, can escape room be played like this? A road never imagined. But it seems that he did escape. You guessed for an hour just now? This only took a minute. Feng Zi's train of thought is truly something that not everyone can catch up with. The owner of the escape room shop's lips were trembling at this moment. You, why did you come out like this? Shen Feng was very confused. If I don't come out this way, how else can I come out? No, I mean, how can you get out of this door? Said the shop owner. Shen Feng became even more confused. When escaping a secret room, isn't it enough to just escape? Why does it matter which door you exit from? Shop owner. Although what you said makes sense, but actually it doesn't make any sense at all. When playing escape room, turns around and goes back the same way? What the hell are you doing here? As a result, Zhang Wanwan came over and started to educate the store owner. Boss, you're not professional at all. How can you not lock the door in this kind of escape room? The shop owner was speechless. He is unprofessional. He has opened more than a dozen escape rooms of various sizes in Changhan City. Is he not professional? The reason why the door was not locked this time was because the staff finally came out from this door. Besides, who in their right mind would think of escaping a room like this? Is it that I am unprofessional, or that your ideas are too weird? Seeing that the shop owner was speechless, Zhang Wanwan ran to find Director Chen. Director Chen, where is the reward we promised you? Director Chen glanced at the time to press lie. There are still at least 3 hours before the live broadcast ends. If Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng were allowed to complete the task now, there was no telling what they would do in the remaining 3 hours. Finally, Director Chen had an idea. Suddenly he said, "Actually, the reward is at the real exit of the secret room. You have to clear the secret room and go out through another exit to get your reward. And I advise you to hurry up if other groups pass first. The good rewards will be taken away by them." Director Chen chuckled and said, "I'll let you in on this in advance. This time the reward is not ordinary. It has a lot to do with our last recording in a few days. If you can choose a good reward, the last recording may leave a deep impression on you." After Director Chen said this, Zhang Wanwan really became interested. He pulled Shen Feng back into the secret room. Director Chen saw this and rushed forward. As soon as they entered the room, they locked the door. Then he walked back to the shop owner. Upon seeing this, the shop owner gave Director Chen a thumbs up. Amazing! They were tricked into going back just like that. Director Chen sighed sadly. How can it be called a lie? I was just telling the truth. But is your secret room difficult enough? How long do you think you can keep these two people trapped based on their brain circuits? The shop owner thought about it. Finally, he said confidently, if they don't use this weird trick of returning the same way, then it should be no problem to trap them in this secret room for an hour. In fact, in an escape room, only 30 of the game requires your brain, and the remaining 70 is focused on finding clues. If you can't find the clues, no matter how smart you are, you won't be able to open the door. Director Chen heard this and nodded. Then he continued to look at the live broadcast room of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's group. Then, Director Chen's expression froze, because on the screen, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan had actually found the password to the first room. Pressed the password lock and opened the door. Entered the next room. Director Chen pulled the shop owner over and asked, what did you just say? The shop owner didn't expect that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan would pass the first room so quickly. But after thinking about it, he found an excuse. No, I should say I found a reason. In fact, the main difficulty in designing my first room was the part where the people work together to rescue their companion after being separated. They just skipped that part, so the rest must be much easier. But the second level is different. The shop owner assured him. I designed this second level carefully. The clues are hidden very deep. Even if I were to find them myself, it would take me a while. They will definitely be stuck in the second level for a long time. Director Chen was skeptical. But soon, he believed what the shop owner said. Because after reaching the second level, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan did show signs of getting stuck. Zhang Wanwan ran around and jumped up and down looking for clues. Shen Feng was squatting in a corner, fiddling with something. Because there was no photographer in the secret room, the program team relied on several cameras placed in advance to shoot. So it was not clear what Shen Feng was doing. Although Director Chen was very surprised. He felt that as long as they didn't pass the level too quickly, everything would be fine. The audience was also curious. What is Feng Zi doing? Why isn't he looking for clues? The clues in this level seem to be hidden very deeply. Wanwan has been looking for it for a long time. Could it be that Feng Zi has given up? No way, Feng Zi is not that kind of person. This secret room is really difficult. In the secret rooms I played before, the clues were all on paper. But this one is all hidden. It really takes skill. Some people in the barrage praised the design of the secret room. A shop owner smiled proudly when he saw this. Laughing and laughing. He stopped laughing. Because he saw Shen Feng squatting in the corner, fiddling with something. Suddenly he stood up. And he walked to the closed door. Took a piece of wire and poked it into the keyhole. Start moving it up and down. Damn, is Feng Zi trying to pick the lock? No. Isn't this how you play escape room? I was wondering why Feng Zi was squatting in the corner just now. There was a small Christmas tree there, propped up with wire. He was probably taking apart the wire just now. Although I don't agree with Feng Zi's method of passing the level. To be honest, I am very curious whether he can pry the door open. Me too, Feng Zi is very capable, but she shouldn't be able to even pick a lock, right? As a result, this barrage just came out. Shen Feng had already pried open the door lock and pushed open the door to the next room. Audience. Director Chen. Shop owner. Chapter 75. Escape Room Part 2. Director Chen looked at the pried open door lock. He looked at the shop owner again. Didn't you say that we would be stuck for a long time at the second level? The shop owner's face turned blue. No, he didn't play by the rules. You can't blame me for that. Then can't you just change to a door that can't be pried open? Who would install a security door in an escape room? Besides, who would pick the lock when playing an escape room? How is that reasonable? Director Chen and the store owner looked at each other for a long time. Finally, Director Chen could only pick up the intercom and said helplessly, Shen Feng, Zhang Wanwan, for the next 2 levels, do not pry the door open again. Zhang Wanwan protested. Why? The shop owner said from the side. The rule of escape room is to use the materials in our secret room according to the puzzle we designed to open the door of the next secret room. Chen Feng raised the wire in his hand. This is indeed the material for your secret room. Is it okay? The shop owner choked. After a moment, he said stubbornly, anyway, you can't pry the door open anymore. Please respect the secret room I worked so hard to design. Director Chen suddenly whispered something into the shop owner's ear. The shop owner gave Director Chen a strange look. And he repeated Director Chen's words doubtfully. As long as you pass the level honestly, without sneaking through the door or picking the lock, I can give you a $5 bonus after you pass the level. Director Chen told the store owner the amount of $5. The shop owner thought that $5 was too little. Can you impress these two people? As a result, Zhang Wanwan in the camera snatched the wire from Shen Feng's hand. Broken into. And he waved his hand at the shop owner and said, "Remember to keep your word." Then he excitedly pulled Shen Feng into the next room. The shop owner watched the scene speechlessly. He thought these two people were very difficult to deal with. I didn't expect that I could take them down for just $5. They are so easy to deal with, why don't you give them money earlier? The shop owner looked at Director Chen. Director Chen covered his pocket and said painfully, "My expenses today are already very high, there is no way I can pay them anymore. You have to pay for the $5 yourself, understand?" The shop owner was even more speechless. At this time, Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng had already entered the third room. After entering the third room, Zhang Wanwan obviously became much more obedient. It's not like in the second room, where I was looking for clues everywhere. He just followed Shen Feng, not daring to look around. Because the layout of this third room is very eerie and scary. In addition to several skeletons, there were also many human heads and limbs hanging around. Under the dim red light, the bloody and weird horror photos hanging on the wall seemed to be moving. Although Zhang Wanwan knew that these were all props. But just like she is still scared even though she knows the ghost story is fake. Looking at these props in the gloomy atmosphere, Zhang Wanwan still felt a little nervous. The theme of the secret room they entered was called Revenge of the White Ghost. It is a secret room that leans towards horror. In the first room, the scary parts were hidden in the separated rooms, and Shen Sheng skipped them directly. In the second room, before Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan found the truly terrifying clue, Shen Sheng pried open the door lock. When we arrived at the third room, the horrifying scene was finally revealed. Zhang Wanwan was scared. This is the first time I have seen such an honest Wan Ji. I didn't expect that my brother is actually afraid of ghosts. I thought he was fearless. No wonder in the first episode, Feng Zi was beaten up by Wan Ji when she said she wanted to tell Wan Ji a ghost story. The scared Wan Ji looks like a little baby. So cute. It is rare for the audience to see Zhang Wanwan so quiet and obedient. Shen Feng naturally also noticed Zhang Wanwan's fear. He took Zhang Wanwan's hand and whispered, "Why, are you scared?" Zhang Wanwan responded softly, "Why don't you go wait in the second room? And I'll call you over once I unlock this room." Zhang Wanwan quickly shook her head. No. Who knows what weird things will happen in this secret room? What if they do something bad and specially send someone to dress up as a ghost to scare me in the second room? What should I do? She hugged Shen Feng's arm, not intending to let go. "I'd better go with you." Shen Feng smiled and touched her head. Then he held her in his arms, and while holding her, he searched the room for clues. Before, the shop owner felt complacent when he saw the frightened Zhang Wanwan, and thought that his level of secret room design was still very high. But now, looking at the two people hugging each other, the shop owner gradually couldn't laugh anymore. He sighed, hugged his arms lonely, and said, "I'm already in my 30s. Why can't I find a girlfriend?" Director Chen patted the shop owner's shoulder comfortingly. "Actually, I don't have a girlfriend either." The shop owner suddenly felt like he was a fellow wanderer in this world. Then Director Chen continued, "But I have a wife." Shop owner. The assistant director at the side glanced at Director Chen. This guy's ability to irritate people has obviously improved recently. Most likely he was assimilated by Shen Feng. If you pass the game normally, this secret room is indeed designed to be quite difficult. It took Shen Feng 15 minutes to search the third room before he finally found the crucial clue. After opening the door of the third room, a dark corridor appeared in front of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. There was only a little light at the end of the corridor, illuminating the entrance to the fourth room. The middle of the corridor was completely dark. Shen Feng picked up the small flashlight he had just found. A modified flashlight has weak light and can only illumine a very small area. So even with flashlights, they were basically walking in the dark. Shen Feng frowned. This corridor certainly could not have been designed for nothing. Such a dark environment, such a corridor, and it is also a horror-themed secret room. It would be strange if there was nothing wrong with this corridor. Obviously Zhang Wanwan also thought of this. She shrank into Shen Feng's arms even more fearfully. "Feng Zi, I always feel like there's something hidden in here. And it must be scary." Shen Feng looked at Zhang Wanwan, who looked pitiful in his arms, and gently covered her eyes with his hands. He whispered in her ear, "It's okay if you are scared. Just close your eyes and don't look, I will take you there. But if I close my eyes, I'm a little afraid to walk. For fear of bumping into something." Upon hearing this, Shen Sheng put the flashlight in his mouth. Then he picked up Zhang Wanwan. "My boyfriend is so strong, Feng Zi. Feng Zi is so handsome holding one with a flashlight in his mouth. I want to give a thumbs up to the person who designed the secret room. Thanks to the secret room he designed, it is scary enough. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to see this scene. In fact, the first and second rooms are also very scary. I saw them in the live broadcast room next door. It's a pity that Feng Zi and Wan Wan jumped out of the game hub. Feng Zi, go ahead and clear the level with your princess in your arms. Seeing Shen Feng picking up Zhang Wan Wan, the barrage of comments became lively again. Shen Feng, holding Zhang Wan Wan, walked into the corridor. The flashlight has low light quality and a very small lighting range. There is always an area in darkness in front of you. In the corridor, the program team also set up several small cameras with night vision capabilities. At this time, the director cut the lens to the camera in the corridor. In the greenish night vision footage, the audience can see Shen Feng holding Zhang Wan Wan and moving forward carefully. Similarly, they could also see a female ghost hiding in the corridor. Of course, this female ghost was disguised as a staff member. She was hiding in the darkness of the corridor, waiting for Shen Feng and Zhang Wan Wan to approach. Feng Zi, don't go, there's a ghost ahead. It's over. Feng Zi and Wan Wan are definitely going to be scared. Is this a room escape or a haunted house? Is it so exciting? Where is this secret room? I want to go there too. Wan Wan is so afraid of ghosts. Will she be scared to tears? I suddenly want to see Wan Wan being scared to tears. You are not right. And I also want to see. I'm different. I want to see Feng Zi get scared. It's exciting to think about the dog-like handsome guy who has always been calm and frightened to the point of turning pale and shaking all over. The audience who could see the female ghost through the night vision camera were talking about it. Many people were waiting for Shen Feng and Zhang Wan Wan to be scared. When the shop owner saw the scene in the live broadcast room, a smile appeared on his face. This corridor is his masterpiece. A dark corridor, limited light sources, and a female ghost hiding in the dark. This will definitely bring the greatest sense of immersion and fear to the experience. In the lens, Shen Feng, holding Zhang Wan Wan, was already very close to the location of the female ghost. When the female ghost saw the time was right, she pounced on him. She was just about to scream to scare Shen Feng and Zhang Wan Wan, but she had just jumped out and had no time to scream. Then she saw Shen Feng pointing a finger at her. He made a gesture to keep quiet. Don't scare her, thank you. Then Shen Shen was heard speaking vaguely with a flashlight in his mouth. Shen Feng's voice was not loud, but through the microphone on the body, it was transmitted to the ears of every audience in the late broadcast room. The audience who were originally waiting to see Shen Feng and Zhang Wan Wan get scared fell silent. A moment later, someone posted a comment. I am jealous. Chapter 76. This advertisement placement is really not awkward at all. The sentence, I'm jealous. I don't know how many viewers' thoughts were expressed in this statement. Of course, it's not just the audience's voice. It is also the voice of the female ghost. Looking at Shen Feng holding Zhang Wan Wan, the female ghost felt like she was about to cry. Why? Why does she have a boyfriend? Why does her boyfriend dote on her so much? And she can only be alone. Hide in the dark corridor and pretend to be a ghost to scare people. The problem is that before I was scared, I was fed a mouthful of dog food. The female ghost became angrier the more she thought about it. Finally, he squatted on the ground and hugged his legs in grievance. The ghost girl suffered real damage. Although I am also jealous, I am sure that she is even more jealous than me. Deep sympathy. Zhang Wan Wan, nestling in Shen Feng's arms, carefully opened one eye. Seeing the female ghost in white squatting on the ground pitifully, Zhang Wan Wan jumped out of Shen Feng's arms. He squatted beside the female ghost and patted her on the back. The female ghost was very touched. I didn't expect that someone would comfort her. She subconsciously wanted to turn her head, but Zhang Wan Wan covered her face with a slap. At the same time, Zhang Wan Wan closed her eyes and shouted, Don't let me see your face, I'm scared, turn your head back quickly. The female ghost was slapped in the face and turned her head back in grievance. Zhang Wan Wan finally breathed a sigh of relief. She patted the ghost girl on the back and comforted her. Don't be too sad, there are no obstacles in life that you can't overcome. Are you anxious because you don't have a boyfriend? Don't worry, three-legged frauds are hard to find, but there are plenty of two-legged men. The ghost girl whispered, but not all men are so good. Zhang Wan Wan raised her eyebrows. Then do you want to find a man as good as my Feng Zi? The ghost girl nodded as soon as she heard it, and hurriedly asked, Can you help me find it? Zhang Wan Wan immediately said seriously, No, I can only advise you not to have such unrealistic fantasies in the future. My Feng Zi is the best in the world. A ghost girl. Wan Ji, are you here to comfort me, or to finish me off? Why do I feel even more sour? This woman is showing off. This woman is showing off. Does she think she is so great just because she has Feng Zi? Ooh, it is indeed great, I want it too. One is pampering his wife. The other is showing off his husband, but I am different. I am eating dog food. Zhang Wan Wan seemed completely unaware that she had caused secondary harm to the female ghost. She was still comforting the ghost girl, saying, Don't be sad. Although you can't find a man as good as Feng Zi, you can still find other men. But I'm not good looking. The female ghost has some inferiority complex. Zhang Wanwan recalled the face of the female ghost girl that she had just seen. It really doesn't look good. However, Zhang Wanwan expressed her understanding. It's okay, you put on makeup just to play a ghost. It will be fine once you take it off. The female ghost felt even more aggrieved. But I didn't put on any makeup today. Zhang Wanwan. After a moment, Zhang Wanwan sighed. Sister, you have to believe that there are no ugly women in the world. Only lazy women. As long as you learn how to dress yourself up, your appearance won't be a problem at all. I just happen to have a makeup secret book here that I can teach you. When the female ghost heard this, she hurriedly asked, what secret book is that? Can I learn it? Zhang Wanwan chuckled. Follow the Weibo account one, which contains makeup tutorials I've posted before. They are simple and easy to learn, and I promise you'll learn it all, so you can witness your own beauty. As she spoke, Zhang Wanwan also looked for nearby cameras. And he smiled at the camera and made a yeah gesture. Welcome everyone to follow us. Wan Ji is really talented. This ad placement is not awkward at all. I've already followed you. If I click again, won't that mean I've unfollowed you? Okay, I've already unfollowed you. Wan Ji is really making me laugh to death. Is this the time for you to promote your Weibo? Comfort the little sister? The female ghost didn't care about Zhang Wanwan's advertising. Instead, he asked curiously, then, are you so beautiful because of your makeup skills? Zhang Wanwan touched her face. Seriously said, no, it's because I'm naturally beautiful. The female ghost was speechless. After comforting the female ghost sister for a few more words, Zhang Wanwan continued to move forward with Shenfeng. Because the corridor itself was not very long, Zhang Wanwan knew that there couldn't be another ghost hiding in the road behind. She became bolder and stopped letting Shenfeng hold her. He held his head high and chest out, seeming very brave. When they reached the door of the fourth room, Zhang Wanwan said in a very imposing manner, open the door, let me see what's in the next room. Of course, if Zhang Wanwan had not hidden behind Shenfeng when she said this, but had held Shenfeng's arms tightly with both hands, she would have appeared more imposing. Shenfeng pushed open the door of the fourth room. Surprisingly, the fourth room was bright. There didn't seem to be anything particularly scary inside. Zhang Wanwan became bolder again. He let go of Shenfeng and stepped into the room. As a result, as soon as they entered the room, the lights in the room were turned off again with a click. There was also sinister laughter coming from the speakers all around. Zhang Wanwan was so scared that she screamed, jumped up suddenly, and hugged Shenfeng like an octopus. Shenfeng smiled bitterly and hugged her, comforting her. It's okay, don't worry, I'm here. As he spoke, he looked around. The wall must have been painted with special paint. When the lights were on, the walls looked as white as new. But as soon as the lights went out, blood-red words immediately appeared on the wall. There are 4 horror stories written on the 4 walls. And the clues must obviously be found from these 4 stories. Shenfeng hugged Zhang Wanwan and began to decipher the code. Zhang Wanwan stayed in Shenfeng's arms for a while. And then she mustered up the courage to open her eyes. Looking around, there didn't seem to be any particularly scary murals or props like the one in the third room. Zhang Wanwan breathed a sigh of relief. She glanced at Shenfeng, who was deciphering the code beside her seriously. And suddenly she felt playful. He whispered in Shenfeng's ear with a strange smile. Shenfeng, give me back my life. Wan Ji, you are not afraid anymore, right? Really? Be careful or Fengzi won't hug you anymore. Unexpectedly, after hearing Zhang Wanwan's sinister words, Shenfeng was not scared or angry. He smiled and said, you are my life, how can I pay you back? Damn it. You're forcing me to eat dog food, right? This is too sudden. Aren't you afraid of choking me to death? Although it's very earthy. Shenfeng said it so sweetly. Zhang Wanwan was also shy. She hit Shenfeng lightly and changed the subject. Can you unlock this secret room? Is it difficult? A shop owner outside smiled coldly after hearing this. Difficult? Of course it's difficult, not to mention the mechanism behind this secret room. I specially asked someone to design these for puzzles. If your brain isn't flexible enough, it's normal to be stuck on these questions for half an hour. Then Shenfeng said, it's not difficult, it's very simple. How about this, you kiss me and I'll solve all these puzzles right now. Zhang Wanwan hesitated for a while. Finally she gave Shenfeng a light kiss on the face. This caused the fans in the live broadcast room to scream excitedly. This should be the first time they saw Zhang Wanwan kiss Shenfeng. After the kiss, Zhang Wanwan blushed and said, and I it quickly. And I it quickly. Outside the secret room, the shop owner was very disdainful. He's just trying to find a reason to trick the girl into kissing him. I don't believe he has the ability to untie it now. How long has he been in there? 3 minutes? 5 minutes? You want to solve my 4 questions in 5 minutes? You must be kidding me. Director Chen glanced at the store owner. To be honest, he always felt that the current state of the store owner was a little familiar. 1 minute later, when Shen Feng easily solved the 4 puzzles on the wall and found new clues, the shop owner's expression became stiff. Director Chen finally understood why he felt familiar with it. Isn't this his original state? At that time, he was also full of confidence and gave Shen Feng a high-level mathematics competition question. I still feel that Shen Feng can solve it no matter what. The result is the same as the current store owner. Shen Feng slapped him on the face and it hurt so much. When Director Chen looked at the shop owner again, he immediately felt like a senior looking at an ignorant junior. A young shop owner. You know nothing about how powerful Shen Feng is. After solving the 4 most difficult puzzles, the other puzzles in the 4th room became relatively easier. Compared to the previous rooms, this room is more about decryption rather than searching for clues. For Shen Feng, this was almost an easy question. 10 minutes later, Shen Feng opened the 4th door and successfully left the secret room. The shop owner was dumbfounded. The audience also had a discussion. This group's speed is really fast. Xiao Jia next door has just reached the 3rd level. It is estimated that he will be stuck at the 3rd level for 20 to 30 minutes. That's already pretty good. Chen Lu and Xiao Chanshu are still in the 2nd level. Zhang Wei and his team are still in the 2nd round. Xiao Jia's team is mainly because Li Tingting is a top student from Peking University and Tsinghua University with a high Q. Ooh, didn't the director say there would be a reward? What is it? Some viewers remembered the reward. And Zhang Wanwan was obviously always thinking about the reward. As soon as he came out of the secret room, he looked around. Soon, I saw a booth not far away. On the stand, there was a sword, a pot, a white veil, and a wheelchair. What does this mean? Director Chen said before that these rewards are related to the last recording. Right? I guess Zhang Wanwan will choose the pot. She is a foodie. Veil, girls should like this kind of thing. Who knows which sword Feng Zi would choose if she were to choose? What man doesn't want to be a hero with a sword? While the audience was talking about it, Zhang Wanwan sat down on the wheelchair. Director Chen saw this scene and asked helplessly while holding the intercom. Student Zhang Wanwan, can you tell me why you chose this wheelchair as a reward? Is that even a question? Zhang Wanwan said as if it was a matter of course. Of course it's because this is the most valuable. Feng Zi, if we sell it, can we have another steak tonight? Director Chen. Director Chen took a deep breath. And he said solemnly, Student Zhang Wanwan, I am telling you seriously that these rewards are related to our last recording in a few days. I hope you can choose carefully. Zhang Wanwan thought about it carefully. Finally I chose a wheelchair. Can you tell me why again? Director Chen asked again. Because it's valuable. Didn't I say that before? Director Chen, this is a prop. You can't sell it. Chapter 77 Rue Damage. Night. Hotel restaurant. After experiencing the torture in the secret room, several groups of guests looked a little tired. Even the unpleasant group that included Li Tingting, a top student from Peking University and Tsinghua University, was stuck in the secret room for a long time. I was also frightened by the female ghost in the corridor. It can be said that I am exhausted both physically and mentally. The only thing that comforted them was that after returning to the hotel, Shen Feng gave them 15 yuan as promised and even went to help them cook. Several groups of guests sat at the dining table, waiting for today's dinner. Looking at the tired crowd, Zhang Wanwan couldn't help but say, I don't think that escape room is that difficult. Are you guys really that exhausted? Several groups of guests looked at her. That look was full of contempt. The audience in front of the live broadcast room couldn't help but complain. Of course you don't find it difficult, because Shen Feng has been in the secret room before. When it comes to scary places, Shen Feng either takes you to skip them or helps you to get through them. When it comes to difficult questions, Shen Feng either skips levels and picks locks or solves them in seconds. You've been slacking off the whole time. Not only is she slacking off, she's also posting dog food while slacking off. This woman is truly guilty of a heinous crime. Zhang Wanwan didn't care about the gazes of the other groups of guests. Instead, he asked with interest, what did you choose as the final reward? Li Tingting said, I chose the veil because it feels beautiful and romantic. Chen Lu said, the long sword I chose is very handsome. Meng Yan said, I chose the pot. Zhang Wanwan looked at her. Is it because you like this simple and unpretentious atmosphere of fireworks? Meng Yan smiled bitterly, because when we came out, only the pot was left. Zhang Wei was also helpless. The two of them are considered older among this group of young people. When it comes to new things like escape rooms, they still can't compete with young people. A few people chatted while waiting for Shen Feng to cook. Because the last few groups of guests had cooperated with Shen Feng, Shen Feng simply decided not to cook for each group of guests individually. but to pool everyone's money and make a few big dishes. When handing over all the money to Shen Feng, Sheng Wei realized a problem. On the surface, he gave us $15, but in reality, he took all our money to buy food, so doesn't it make any difference whether he gives us money or not? But Jie Yitnan patted Sheng Wei's arm. It's good that he didn't cheat us out of extra money. Just be content. After pooling together the money from several groups of guests, plus the 100 yuan bonus that Director Chen gave to Shen Feng for the hide-and-seek project, Shen Cheng finally had nearly 300 yuan in hand. If you use this money to buy ingredients, it will be enough to make a big meal. Another half an hour later, Shen Feng and Uncle Li brought out plate after plate of dishes. When they saw Uncle Li, several guests who were originally sitting stood up and greeted Uncle Li. And now all know that Uncle Li is the state banquet chef and the real boss of this hotel. Zhang Wanwan looked at Uncle Li curiously and asked, "Uncle Li, were you cooking just now?" "Well, since Xiaoshan couldn't handle it alone, I helped cook a few dishes," Uncle Li said. Everyone's expressions became interesting. State banquet chef helps. And they eat dishes prepared by the state banquet chef? And I'm not helping you for free, I'm going to eat for free later, Uncle Li said again. Welcome, welcome, of course you're welcome. As everyone was talking, they made room for Uncle Li. Looking at the table with 9 dishes, several people were drooling. Zhang Wanwan was greedy and started eating as soon as she sat down. As a result, at this moment, Director Chen's voice came from the intercom. And I heard Director Chen swallow his saliva. Then he coughed lightly and said, "Everyone, don't rush to eat. I have another task for you." It was rare that the 4 groups of guests present all looked at the camera with hostility. Uni President expressed its dissatisfaction with Director Chen. Director Chen has angered the public this time. You leave so much delicious food for people to eat and still give them tasks. I would be angry too. Wang Ji's expression looked like he was about to eat someone. Fortunately, Director Chen was not here. Otherwise there would probably be an extra meat dish on the table later. Director Chen also felt a little uncomfortable because of these people's stares. But he still said, some of the 9 dishes on this table were made by Shen Feng, and some were made with the help of Uncle Li. You can taste who made it when you eat it later. If you guess correctly, you can continue eating. What if you guessed wrong? Li Dingting asked. Director Chen chuckled and said, if you guess wrong, you have to bring this dish to me. Don't even think about it, these are all mine. Zhang Wanwan slammed the table and said with her eyes wide open, I'm the director, I have the final say. Director Chen had just finished speaking. Several other groups of guests stood up at the same time. The photographer was so scared that he took several steps back and said, please stop looking at me like that. It was Director Chen who said that. Not me. Director Chen is a man of integrity. Seeing that several people had objections, he immediately gave in. Okay, just pretend I didn't say anything. But can you bring me the remaining soup so I can mix it with my lunch? Only then did they sit down and start eating. However, although they did not accept Director Chen's task, several people still guessed who cooked the dish while eating. This lamb chop smells so good, it must have been made by Uncle Li. I think this simple braised beef must be Brother Shen's craft. Hey, try this fish, it's so fresh. Who made it, Uncle Li? Is this the skill of the state banquet chef? Amazing. Several people were eating and guessing at the same time. While Uncle Li and Shen Cheng looked at each other and just smiled without saying anything. I shouldn't have watched this show while eating. The more I watched it, the less delicious the food in my hand tasted. Chao Jia guessed 3 dishes. All 3 were wrong. It's rare that Sheng Wei guessed it right. Was it a fluke? Does this mean that Shen Feng's cooking skills are similar to Uncle Li's? Is he that good? In fact, the audience just saw the scene of Shen Feng and Uncle Li cooking in the kitchen. So you know who made each dish. Why don't you guess it? 1-1. Are you afraid of being embarrassed if you can't guess it? One audience member noticed that Zhang Wanwan seemed to be concentrating on eating and did not even guess who made which dish. Yes, show me your skills, bro. I want to watch Wanwan guess. Director, please make arrangements quickly, or I won't even give you soup later. After the first audience member mentioned it, other audience members also became interested. After all, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan have the most fans in this lit broadcast room. Director Chen saw this and picked up the intercom and said to Zhang Wanwan, Student Zhang Wanwan, why don't you guess who made these dishes? Zhang Wanwan said vaguely while eating, it's too simple. I'm not interested. Come on, guess what? Don't guess. It's affecting my eating. Director Chen said pitifully. Please, guess. Zhang Wanwan couldn't help but shudder when she thought of Director Chen, the middle-aged man, speaking in such a pretentious tone. In order to prevent Director Chen from continuing to affect her appetite, Zhang Wanwan could only nod. She stretched out her chopsticks and pointed at the food on the table. This one, and the other 2 were all made by Feng Zi. The remaining ones are all made by Uncle Lee. The audience was stunned. Zhang Wanwan was right. And not a single one is bad. Damn, is this the tacit understanding between the Quan Suo couple? I thought it was great to guess 3 or 4 correctly. And I didn't expect to get all of them right. Quan Ji is awesome. The Quan Suo couple is awesome. Director Chen didn't expect that Zhang Wanwan could actually guess all of them correctly. He couldn't help but say, I didn't expect you to know Shen Feng so well. As a result, Zhang Wanwan asked with a puzzled look on her face, what does this have to do with understanding? These dishes were served by Feng Zi. And the rest were served by Uncle Lee. Didn't you see that just now? Director Chen, so you can't tell who made it by the smell? Zhang Wanwan said as if it was a matter of course. How is that possible? I'm not a god. These dishes are all equally delicious. How can I tell them apart? How do I withdraw the barrage? I want to withdraw all the YYDS of the Circle Lot couple that I just posted. Ah, the candy I just got was picked out by Zhang Wanwan before I could swallow it. Zhang Wanwan, you have to compensate me. Director Chen was silent for a moment. Just when Zhang Wanwan was about to continue eating, he asked a soul-piercing question. Student Zhang Wanwan, I have one last question. If you have to choose one, which one do you think is better, Shen Feng's or Uncle Lee's? If I answer Shen Feng, I will offend Uncle Lee. If I answer Uncle Lee, I will offend my husband. It's up to you to choose. Director Chen sneered secretly. As a result, Zhang Wanwan glanced at the lens. Said, which one is delicious? Does it matter to you? You can't eat it. Director Chen. He probably knew what true damage was. Chapter 78, Robbery is not as fast as this. In the end, Shen Shang was not particularly cruel. I still called Director Chen over to have dinner together. Director Chen was so moved that he felt that there are still good people in this world. After a satisfying meal, Director Chen's face was full of happy smiles. Along with the other guests at the table, they all praised Shen Feng's cooking skills. Shen Feng just smiled, and then asked Director Chen, are you satisfied with the meal, Director Chen? Satisfied. Are you full? I'm full. Do you think my cooking skills are good? Of course that's good. Then Shen Sheng extended his hand towards Director Chen. Director Chen smiled and shook hands with Shen Feng. But Shen Feng shook Director Chen's hand away and said, I don't want to shake hands with you. Tia time for you to pay for the meal. Meal expenses? Director Chen was stunned. What meal expenses? Why are there meal expenses? Shen Sheng said as if it was a matter of course. Director Chen, what are you talking about? Don't you usually have to pay for your lunch boxes? Is there anything wrong with me charging you for such a big meal? Director Chen said in astonishment, but you didn't tell me before that you would charge money. If you had told me, I wouldn't have come to eat. Shen Feng patted Director Chen on the shoulder. Director Chen, is it useful for you to say this now? Isn't it all hindsight? You've already eaten it, it's too late to say anything. Just give me the money. Then why don't they have to pay? Director Chen pointed to several other groups of guests. Zhang Wanwan walked up to Director Chen and said, who said they didn't pay? Without them, how could we have bought so many ingredients? Although they didn't pay for the meal, they paid for the raw materials. And I also gave you the more than 100 yuan. Doesn't this also count as paying you for the raw materials? Director Chen expressed his dissatisfaction. We won the $100. Not voluntarily given by you. How can it be the same? Why? Director Chen choked there. It's over. He didn't expect that due to a bit of carelessness, he would get on the pirate ship again. Finally, Director Chen sighed. Whatever. The meal was indeed delicious, and the cooking skills of both Shen Feng and Uncle Lee were perfect. It can be said that this was the most delicious meal Director Chen had had in all these years. Just give some money. Director Chen said this and took out 30 yuan. He remembered that several other groups of guests gave about the same amount of money. Chen Sheng took the 30. But just when Director Chen stood up to leave, Shen Feng stopped him again. He smiled and said, 3. 0 yuan for Cheng Hui, and there is still a shortfall of 970 yuan. Director Chen, 3,000 yuan for a meal. Why don't you just go grab some? Chen Sheng spread his hands. Robbery is not as fast as this. The audience in the live broadcast room were envious of Director Chen for being able to eat the dishes cooked by Shen Feng and Uncle Lee. Now seeing this scene, everyone began to gloat over its misfortune. I knew Feng Zi wouldn't be so kind as to treat Director Chen to free food and drinks. Sure enough, there was a conspiracy. I can only say that Director Chen is still too naive. Look at Xiao Jia, he was educated by Feng Zi early on. And now he is very vigilant. Indeed, if Director Chen was half as smart as Xiao Jia, he would know that he shouldn't have eaten this meal. Next time, please add the director's name to the guest list of this program. Otherwise it would be unfair to him for such a miserable experience. When the barrage is gloating, Chen Feng was still reaching out to Director Chen. Give me the money, Director Chen. Don't even think about it. Director Chen angrily said. They all gave 30. Why should I give 3,000? They give 30 because they only have 30. And you have to give 3,000 because you have more than 3,000. Chen Cheng said seriously. Director Chen stamped his feet and said. Bullshit, I only have 1,500 yuan on me right now. My money is all with my wife. This is all the private money I have left. And 1,500 will be fine. Chen Cheng readily accepted the advice. I don't really like to embarrass others. I am very reasonable and considerate. Director Chen. Your mother. Zhang Wanwan picked up a chair from the side. Director Chen, how could your mother give birth to such a smart son like you? Chen Feng smiled and said, thank you for the compliment. Give me the money. Director Chen sighed. First, he asked Zhang Wanwan to put the chair down. And then he said to Shen Feng, Student Shen Feng, we have to be reasonable when doing things. You spent less than $300 on these ingredients. Why did you charge me $1,500? Chen Cheng picked up the hotel restaurant's menu from the table nearby. Director Chen, why don't you check it yourself? In the hotel, just ordering a lamb chop will cost at least 120 yuan. And even if we don't talk about the hotel's price. You see, I have a total of 9 dishes, 4 of which were made by Uncle Li. Uncle Li is a state banquet chef. Do you think his cooking skills are not worth 15,000? Before Director Chen could say anything, Shen Feng looked at Uncle Li, who was sitting next to him, and said, Uncle Li, has your cooking skill declined? Some people don't like it. Director Chen quickly apologized to Uncle Li with a smile. No, that's not what I meant. Uncle Li's cooking skills are of course superb. He is definitely worth 1,500, definitely worth it. I would rather offend Uncle Li than anyone else. This is the boss of the hotel. If Uncle Li gets angry, the entire production crew will be kicked out of the hotel. Finally, Director Chen looked at Shen Feng helplessly and whispered, Xiao Chen, Shen Feng, brother Shen. Let's discuss this. To be honest, your meal is indeed good, but 1,500 is too expensive. Can you make it cheaper? We are so familiar with each other. And I have given you a lot of bonuses these days. There is no need to hurt our relationship over money. Shen Feng nodded. That's true, we are so familiar with each other. So I'll give you a discount. 1,499. Director Chen. He took out another quick-acting hard pill and stuffed 2 into his mouth. Shen Feng, I also have a backbone. If you push me again, I will really turn hostile. Then, Director Chen said in a deep voice. Shen Feng waved his hand. The other 3 groups of guests stood up and surrounded Director Chen. Shen Feng smiled and said to Director Chen, let's turn against each other. Director Chen. Director Chen also laughed. It's just an ugly smile. He smiled bitterly, tilted his head, and acted like a falling face. Huff, what a falling out. Director Chen is so miserable. Is it such a high-risk job for all directors? Just arrived. Is this the filming site of Sweeping Darkstorm 2? Director Chen, let's admit defeat. They have more money. There was a lot of sympathy in the comments. Director Chen cried and grabbed Shen Feng's hand and said, I was wrong, but this 1,500 is really too much. Seeing Director Chen like this, Shen Feng didn't continue to make trouble with him. From the very beginning, he had never intended for Director Chen to pay 1 or 2,000 yuan. He patted Director Chen on the shoulder and said, how about this? You don't have to pay 1 or 2,000, you just need to provide dinner for our 4 groups of guests tomorrow. It only costs 200 or 300 yuan, and you can come and eat when the time comes. I promise I won't charge you extra for the meal, is that okay? Director Chen finally accepted this condition. 200 or 300 yuan for dinner for 4 groups of guests is not a particularly large expense. The most important thing is that he can eat along with us when the time comes. No extra money will be charged. Although Director Chen knew that Shen Feng's words could not be fully believed. But compared to 1,500, this condition is really good. Director Chen thought about it and finally agreed. All 4 groups of guests had smiles on their faces. Tomorrow's dinner is settled. Director Chen agreed to the conditions. So Shen Feng naturally released Director Chen. The first thing Director Chen did after being released was to ask the hotel waiter for a lunchbox. Pack up the leftover soup. He said he would mix it with his lunchbox tomorrow. When Jiadnan and the others saw this, they also wanted to follow Director Chen's example and packed the dishes. As a result, he was stopped by Director Chen with a stern look on his face. Director Chen even said confidently, I paid for all of this. It's all mine. If you want to take it away, you have to pay. Shen Feng didn't care about Director Chen's packing. After finishing the recording, he pushed Zhang Wanwan back to the presidential suite. That's right, pushing. Ever since Zhang Wanwan chose the wheelchair as a reward, she has become lazy. She had to sit in a wheelchair wherever she went and let Shen Feng push her. After returning to the suite, Zhang Wanwan moved from the wheelchair to the bed and lay down comfortably. Ah, what a happy day. Seeing her lazy look, Shen Feng couldn't help but said, if Sister Lin knew that you live this kind of life of lying down after eating every day, I'm afraid you won't feel happy. Zhang Wanwan smiled smugly. It's a pity that Sister Lin doesn't know if you don't tell me and I don't tell me. Who else will tell me? As the two were talking, Zhang Wanwan saw Sister Lin send her a WeChat message. Sister Lin, I saw you ate a lot at night. What are you doing now? Are you not lying in bed? Zhang Wanwan, of course not. I'm exercising. Zhang Wanwan replied while rolling over on the bed. Then he replied again. Zhang Wanwan, I am very self-disciplined and exercise every day. Sister Lin, you have to believe me. Sister Lin, I don't believe you. Does the hotel have a scale? Weigh your current weight and send it to me. Zhang Wanwan was stunned. Replied quickly. Zhang Wanwan. No, there is no scale here. Sister Lin didn't reply. Zhang Wanwan breathed a sigh of relief, thinking that Sister Lin had let her go. Not long after, Sister Lin sent another message. Sister Lin, I called your director Chen and asked him to buy a weighing scale for you. Remember to weigh yourself and take a photo later. Zhang Wanwan. No. Me, Feng Zi and I are out jogging now. We can't receive the scale Director Chen gave us. Zhang Wanwan had just sent the message when she heard a knock on the door and the sound of Shen Feng opening the door. Of course, there is also Director Chen's voice. This is the scale your agent asked me to buy. And it just so happens to be available in the hotel supermarket. Keep it and I'll message your agent right away. Zhang Wanwan quickly wanted to withdraw the message about jogging. Unfortunately, it's too late. Sister Lin running? But Director Chen just sent me a message saying that you have already collected the scale. Zhang Wanwan, well, when I saw your message, I ran back right away. Sister Lin, haha, then you run pretty fast. Sister Lin, stop talking nonsense, go weigh yourself. Zhang Wanwan could only agree helplessly. At the same time, I was still thinking whether I should Photoshop the picture to make my weight lighter. As a result, Sister Lin called me via video. I guess you'll probably use Photoshop to fool me. So I want to watch you weigh yourself in person. Go! Zhang Wanwan is about to cry. Sister Lin, could you please not know me so well? Chapter 79 Final Day. Zhang Wanwan walked to the weighing scale reluctantly. He looked at Shen Feng with mixed feelings. And he stood on the scale with mixed feelings. Sister Lin, turn the camera away quickly. I don't want to see your face. Zhang Wanwan said, oh, and silently transferred the video call to the rear camera. Mentally, I was prepared to be scolded to death by Sister Lin. Her previous weight was probably around 47 or 48 kilograms. But ever since Shen Feng started cooking for her, her weight began to gradually increase. If Sister Lin knew that she now weighs 53 kilograms, she would definitely not forgive her. Zhang Wanwan was thinking when she suddenly felt Shen Feng hugging her waist. Shen Feng hugged her gently, giving her strength to push herself forward. He lifted her up a little. The numbers on the scale changed with Shen Feng's movements. In the end, I went back to 48 kilograms from 53 kilograms. Zhang Wanwan was stunned. Why didn't she think of this method? At this time Sister Lin's voice was heard in the video call. Well, it's true that it hasn't grown much, but you should eat less of these big fish and meat in the future. I know Xiaoshen's cooking skills are good, but you also have to pay attention to managing your body shape. Understand? Sister Lin took a look and found that Zhang Wanwan didn't seem to have gained much weight. The tone gradually softened. Zhang Wanwan quickly said, don't worry, Sister Lin, I will definitely pay attention next time. It's getting late, you should get some rest. I'm going to hang up first. Muha. After saying that, Zhang Wanwan hung up the video call. Then she suddenly turned around, hugged Shen Feng, who was still hugging her waist, and cheered excitedly. My savior, Feng Zi. Shen Cheng held Zhang Wanwan in his arms and turned around. Looking at Zhang Wanwan's smiling face, he said softly, and how are you going to repay me for saving your life? Zhang Wanwan thought about it. Finally, Baj gave Shen Feng a big kiss on the face. Shen Cheng raised his eyebrows and pointed at his lips. You can't be so perfunctory when it comes to saving my life. Right? Zhang Wanwan said this and kissed Shen Feng on the lips. I just wanted to come and take a quick look. But the moment she kissed him, Shen Feng's hands went around the back of her neck, leaving a deep kiss on her. Zhang Wanwan's face flushed. But she didn't struggle. Under the slightly extravagant lighting of the presidential suite, the two people hugged and kissed for a long time. Finally, Shen Cheng held Zhang Wanwan and came to the floor-to-ceiling bay window of the suite. Shen Feng sat on the chair and Zhang Wanwan sat on Shen Feng's lap. Zhang Wanwan looked at the starry night scene outside the window, and Shen Cheng was looking at Zhang Wanwan, looking at her tipsy little face. Shen Feng brushed aside the hair beside her ear and said in a low voice, Bonji, when do you think we can go home? You miss home? That's not the case for me, home is where you are. Chen Chang said this as he moved closer to Zhang Wanwan's ear. She lowered her voice and whispered, but you said before that we can only do that after we get home. Zhang Wanwan immediately understood what Shen Feng was talking about. She blushed and punched Shen Feng, whispering, you can't think about serious matters all day long. Shen Feng rubbed her head. What is business? Being with you is my only business. Oh, my, this is so corny, stop saying it. Zhang Wanwan embarrassedly covered Shen Feng's mouth with her hand. But after a moment, she withdrew her hand. He used his own mouth to block Shen Feng's mouth. There are thousands of lights outside the window and the night sky is dotted with stars. Their kiss was reflected in the transparent window, gradually blending with the lights and stars outside. You are my fireworks. I am your shining galaxy. In a blink of an eye. Another 3 days passed. The recording of Let's Start Dating Today is finally coming to an end. Today is the final day of this program. In the morning, Director Chen assigned tasks to each group of guests as usual. Everyone, today is the last episode of our program. So today's task format is quite special. Director Chen pointed to the task cards in the hands of each group of guests. Your mission is to find a location that matches the description on your mission card. Once you find that place, we will assign a new mission there. Director Chen clapped his hands and said, today's task is very important. I hope everyone can take it seriously and complete it well. Okay, without further ado, if everyone is ready, we can set off. Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng looked at the task cards in their hands. There are only 8 simple words on it. The sun sets. And life is pampered. Zhang Wanwan frowned and looked at Shen Feng. And asked, what does this mean? Chen Chang pondered for a moment. Then he said, check how many nursing homes there are in Lanyu County. Zhang Wanwan immediately took out her cell phone to check. Because today is the last episode and the format is rather special, several groups of guests are allowed to bring mobile phones. Zhang Wanwan checked and then said, if it's in the county town, it seems that there is only one nursing home, which is the Lanyu nursing home. That's probably it. Shen Feng said. To live in luxury. Respect can refer to respecting the elderly. The setting sun is also often used to refer to the elderly. This nursing home is probably the place with the most elderly people in the county. After the two of them determined the location, they went out, hailed a taxi, and headed straight to the nursing home. After a while, the taxi came back, because Shen Cheng and Zhang Wanwan left in too much of a hurry. The photographer was unable to get in the car, so Director Chen urgently called them back. Photographer, I haven't gotten on the bus yet. A photographer is so miserable. When Feng Zi and Wanwan show their affection, he wants to eat dog food. When Feng Zi and Wanwan eat, he can only drool. Now these two people don't even bring a photographer when they get in the car. However, Wanwan's group was still very good. The other 3 groups were still guessing place names in the hotel. But they had already set off. Of course, Feng Zi is here after all. Alas, I feel so depressed when I think this is the last episode. I can't let my source of happiness disappear just like that. Me too, Director Chen, can you please shoot a few more episodes? I beg you. There are a lot of viewers in the live broadcast room today. In addition to the fact that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan have attracted a lot of fans in the past few days, the main reason is that today is the last episode of the show Dating. Some viewers even took time off to watch this episode. They all miss this show so much. There are really too few variety shows that are so creative and have such good effects. The most important thing is that it is rare to find such outstanding idols as Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. And such a good CP. In fact, just 2 days after Date became popular, people immediately started to copy Date. From the format to the content of the show, it is almost a copy of Date. However, its popularity is not even 1% of that of Date. Because without Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, the show effect is so much worse. After driving for more than 10 minutes, the taxi arrived at the Lanyu nursing home. After getting off the car, Zhang Wanwan looked at the gate of the nursing home and couldn't help but say, this nursing home is well built. Well, it was just renovated in recent years. It cost a lot of money. On the way here, Shen Feng checked the situation of the nursing home. At this time he explained to Zhang Wanwan. As he said that, he took Zhang Wanwan to the nursing home. At the gate of the nursing home, the guard had obviously been notified by the program crew in advance and let Shen Feng and the others in directly. This also means that Shen Feng's guess was indeed correct. The location on the task card is Lanyu Nursing Home. The nursing home has indeed just been renovated, and the environment inside is really nice. There are not only various flowers, plants and trees, but also rockery corridors, pavilions and lotus ponds. At first glance, it doesn't look like a nursing home, but rather like a small park. It is morning exercise time now, and many old men and women are doing exercises and strolling in the yard. There were a few old men sitting in the pavilion playing the erhu, accompanying the old lady and singing. It's very lively. On the side, a staff member from the nursing home came over to greet them. She was a woman in her 30s, wearing the work clothes of a nursing home. When she saw Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, a smile appeared on the woman's face. You two are here really quickly. Let me introduce myself. My name is Yang Li, and I am the person in charge of this nursing home. I'm also your fan, and I've been watching your shows. When Director Chen contacted me, I was excited for a while. You have to sign an autograph for me later. Feng Zi and Wanwan's fans are indeed from all age groups. Uncle Li from the hotel was their fan before, and now the person in charge of the nursing home is also their fan. To be honest, my grandfather has been watching this show these days. He said it is much more interesting than watching those annoying TV dramas. Shen Sheng shook hands with Yang Li and said with a polite smile, "Thank you for your support. It seems that we have found the right mission location?" "That's right, this is the location of your mission. Next, I will give you a new mission," Yang Li said as she handed a new task card to Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. When Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan saw the tasks on the task card, they were both a little surprised. The audiences in the live broadcast room were also stunned. Final task: play as an elderly couple in a nursing home and spend the day. Chapter 80. What did you say? I can't hear you. Play as an elderly couple and live in a nursing home for a day. Neither Shen Feng nor Zhang Wanwan had expected that their final mission would be this. What they didn't expect was that the acting in the mission was actually serious. The program team specially invited a makeup artist. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were both put on old age makeup and dressed up as old people. He also brought over the wheelchair that Zhang Wanwan had chosen earlier. Let Shen Feng sit on it. Zhang Wanwan finally understood why Director Chen said at the time that the selected reward would affect the final recording. Zhang Wanwan expressed her protest. Director Chen picked up the intercom and said, "What are you protesting about? Don't you want a wheelchair? I told you at the time to make a careful choice. But you insisted on choosing this. There's no point protesting now." But Zhang Wanwan said, "I'm not protesting this, I'm protesting why Feng Zi can sit in a wheelchair. I want to sit in a wheelchair too. I don't want to walk. I want him to push me." Director Chen, whatever you want." When Zhang Wanwan heard this, she pulled Shen Feng up from the wheelchair and sat on it herself. Zhang Wanwan is now made up to look like an old woman. His face is full of wrinkles and his hair is gray. Although you can still see her original beauty, now she can probably only be described as an old lady who has taken good care of herself. Shen Feng is almost the same. After putting on makeup, Shen Feng looked older, and even his expression seemed to have become more vicissitudes of life. If his back had not been straight, many viewers would have thought that he had really aged in an instant. Seeing that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan had finished putting on their makeup, Yang Li, the director of the nursing home, came over again. He smiled at the two and said, "You two will simulate life in our nursing home today. According to the program team's requirements, you need to play a golden wedding couple. Your children are away all year round, and it's just the two of you who depend on each other." And the program team also said that you need to immerse yourself in the show as much as possible. In the end, the audience will rate the performance of each group of guests, and the group with the highest score will receive the final reward prepared by the program team. When Zhang Wanwan heard that there was a reward, she became excited again. What reward? Yang Li shook her head. The program team said it's confidential. Then, as the person in charge of the nursing home, I will give you a detailed introduction to the daily schedule of the nursing home. Yang Li told Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan the approximate schedule in the nursing home. Next, it is time for them to play freely. As soon as Zhang Wanwan heard that there was a reward, her enthusiasm for acting immediately came up. After Yang Li and the makeup artists left, Zhang Wanwan immediately immersed herself in the role and got into the state. His body became slightly hunched and his face looked a little tired. With her current makeup, she really seems like an old woman in her 70s or 80s. Shen Cheng was not as into the role as Zhang Wanwan. He walked over to Zhang Wanwan, pushed the wheelchair and asked, "Wan, where do you want to go?" Zhang Wanwan rolled her eyes at him and whispered, "Don't call me Brother Wan, and don't talk so excitedly. Can you act more like a real person?" Shen Feng was helpless. I had no choice but to bend over like an old man and ask in a low voice, "My dear, where do you want to go?" Zhang Wanwan was finally satisfied. He coughed and said, "There's really another place I want to go." "I know, the cafeteria, right?" Shen Feng asked. Zhang Wanwan rolled her eyes at him again. "Can you stop thinking about food? We are acting now. Be professional." Shen Feng, "Okay, where do you want to go?" Zhang Wanwan thought about it. Finally, he said, "Let's go to the cafeteria and eat something. There should be breakfast." Shen Feng silently pushed Zhang Wanwan to the cafeteria. "It's so funny, but we still go to the cafeteria in the end." I can only say that Feng Zi understands 1GE better than 1GE does. I was a foodie when I was young, and I am still a foodie when I am old. Don't mention it. Onwon really looks like an old lady when she plays her role seriously. I just thought she was my grandma. You are talking nonsense. Even actor Xu Enlai praised Onwon's acting skills. So it must be extraordinary. Compared to this, Feng Zi is not as good. I don't know why I feel that he seems to be quite vicissitudes of life. But he is not as professional as Onwon. The audience in the live broadcast room still recognized Zhang Onwon's acting skills. Chen Feng pushed Zhang Onwon all the way to the cafeteria of the nursing home. Our breakfast was indeed available. There are also many old men and women and eating inside. As soon as Shen Feng and Zhang Onwon came in, they immediately attracted the attention of a group of old men and women. The old men all looked at Zhang Onwon. The old ladies all looked at Shen Feng. Of course, some people looked at the photographer behind them. Hey, Lao Li, who are these two people? I haven't seen them before. I don't know, I haven't seen her either, but that old girl looks pretty nice. Sister Wang, look at that old man. I don't know how old he is, but he looks quite energetic even if I were 20 years younger. I might not be half as energetic as him. The guy in the back holding a camera. Is that their son? He doesn't look like them, he's much uglier. A photographer carried the camera and followed the scene while listening to the discussions of the old men and women around him. I couldn't help but feel aggrieved again. How did he become the son of Shen Feng and Zhang Onwon? It would be fine if he was your son, but why do you say he is ugly? No matter how you look, you still have to compare yourself with others. Compared with Shen Feng and Zhang Onwon, who wouldn't look ugly? If you compare him with Director Chen, he is also a handsome young man. Right? Director Chen sneezed. The audience in the live broadcast room also laughed out loud when they heard the discussions of the elderly people around them. H the photographer is really miserable. Feng Zi and Onwon are indeed killers for all ages. It was fine if they were able to charm everyone when they were young. But now that they are older, they can also be recognized by grandpas and grandmas. I just heard an old man say that he wanted to talk to Onwon. But the old lady next to him picked up the chopsticks and poked the old man's thigh. That auntie's style is a bit like my brother's. While the audience was chatting, Shen Feng and Zhang Onwon had already passed through the sight of the elderly people and reached the cafeteria window. The cafeteria staff didn't seem to know Shen Feng and Zhang Onwon. With Onwon's superb acting skills, she didn't even recognize that Zhang Onwon was wearing makeup. He politely asked Zhang Onwon, "Auntie, what would you like to eat?" What did you say? Zhang Onwon looked like she was hard of hearing. The staff seemed to be used to seeing hard of hearing people. Seeing that no one was queuing behind him, he slowly repeated to Zhang Onwon. I asked, "Auntie, what would you like to eat? We have freshly fried dough sticks this morning. Is there a construction team repairing a bridge in your playground today? What bridge are they repairing? I didn't see it." Zhang Onwon still looked like they couldn't hear clearly. The staff waved his hands. "No, I mean fried dough sticks." What, headlines? Seeing that they couldn't convince him, the staff could only change the food. We also have steamed buns, would you like some? The melons here have wormholes? Then don't eat them. Staff, we also have fried shrimp here. Zhang Onwon, are you groping in the dark here? I'm almost groping in the dark, can you eat anything here? Staff, would you like some pickles and millet porridge? Zhang Onwon, a freshly picked hip bone axis. Whose hip bone did you pick? This is illegal. The staff was numb. She looked at Shen Feng helplessly, hoping that the old man's ears would work better. In order to prevent the old man from not being able to hear clearly, the staff also shouted at the top of their voices, "Uncle, please have some, what do you want to eat?" Then Shen Feng said calmly, 2 servings of lean meat porridge to fried dough sticks, 2 eggs, and 1 serving of fried shrimp. Also you don't have to speak so loudly. I can hear you. Staff, you can hear me, why didn't you speak up earlier? Do I need to shout for so long? The staff prepared breakfast for Shen Feng and Zhang Onwon in silence. Yang Li had given Shen Sheng and Zhang Onwon a meal card before, and Shen Feng used the card directly. There was a large plate of breakfast. Shen Feng originally wanted to push Zhang Onwon to the table first, find a place for her to sit, and then come back to serve the meal. As a result, the staff member glared at the photographer who was following behind. What a fool you are, why are you taking pictures with that broken thing on your shoulder? Can't you help your parents? Put that broken thing down and bring the breakfast over. The photographer was busy trying to explain. But before he could explain, he heard Zhang Onwon, who had been pushed away, shout, "That's right, do you have good eyesight? Bring the breakfast over here." The photographer was speechless. You don't pretend to be hard of hearing anymore, do you? He could only put the camera down obediently and bring breakfast to Shen Feng and Zhang Onwon. Then he picked up the camera and started filming again. While eating breakfast, Zhang Wanwan showed Shenfeng a sly smile and said, "How about it, did I pretend to be deaf just now?" Shenfeng was stunned. He had a puzzled look on his face. "What, you just got hit on the chin? Who hit you on the chin?" Zhang Wanwan. Chapter 81 The Old Chess King. After breakfast, Shenfeng asked Zhang Wanwan what she wanted to do next. Zhang Wanwan pondered for a moment and said, "Why don't we go to bed?" Before Shenfeng could say anything, Director Chen's voice came from the intercom. "No, I want you to play the role of an old man, and experience the life of an old man. Don't even think about getting by, think carefully about what you should do when you are old." Zhang Wanwan thought about it seriously this time. Then he said to the camera, "When I get old, I guess I just eat and sleep. I think this is very real. I think this is also very real. I can only say that this is indeed my style. Sleeping is fine. Can you two sleep together? I want to see it." "Me too. It's the last episode. Let's do something exciting." Director Chen ignored these messy comments. "Classmate Zhang Wanwan, let me tell you, if you want to sleep and kill time, and forget about the final reward provided by the program team," Director Chen warned, "go and see how the other elderly people in the nursing home live, and then learn how to live like them. Do you hear me?" Zhang Wanwan could only say, "Oh," helplessly. And she let Shenfeng push her to the yard of the nursing home. It is morning now and the sun is shining brightly. The old people in the yard are doing all kinds of things. Some are doing morning exercises, some are playing the erhu and singing opera, and some are just taking a walk and chatting. Zhang Wanwan was just thinking about what she and Shenfeng could do when she saw the gray-haired old ladies walking towards them. His face was full of wrinkles, but was covered with an embarrassed smile. The two old ladies stopped in front of Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan. Stopped them, and wanted to say something, but seemed a little embarrassed. Finally, an old lady next to him asked Shenfeng, "Brother, are you new here? How old are you? You look really energetic. Are you not even 60 yet?" "My name is Wang Yanhua. Her name is Xiao Quiding. Shall we go for a walk together in the future?" Judging from the expressions of the two old ladies, they obviously liked Shenfeng. Before Shenfeng could say anything, Zhang Wanwan, who was sitting in a wheelchair, suddenly spoke. Still lowering her voice, she said in an old-fashioned voice, "Sister, there's someone sitting here, didn't you see it? He is my partner, and we are a couple when we go for a walk. I accompany him and he accompanies me, we don't need anyone else." Oh, the jealous jar is jealous again. I can smell the sour taste through the screen. But the old ladies in this nursing home are quite open-minded. They dare to approach handsome old men when they see them. If I had such courage, I wouldn't be single. Old people are very friendly to each other. My grandmother just moved to our community after living there for only 5 or 6 days. She got to know 7 or 8 old men and women in the community. Now they take walks and play cards together every day. Old people socializing is sometimes much easier than that of young people. After hearing what Zhang Wanwan said, the two old ladies looked at each other. Then they all apologized a little embarrassedly. "Oh, sorry, sister, is this your partner? Hey, I saw that he looked much younger than you. And I thought he was your son, I'm so embarrassed." Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan were both speechless. The photographer who was following behind laughed out loud. It turns out that he is not the only one who is mistaken for his son. He suddenly felt much more balanced in his heart. As a result, he just laughed twice, and then he heard Shenfeng say, "I am a little younger than her, but we are indeed a couple. As for the son, we do have a son, the one holding the camera in the back." Photographer. When the two old ladies heard this, they looked at the photographer again, and they both said with some regret, "What a pity that you two are both good looking. Why is your son so ugly?" "Yes, we originally suspected that the baby was taken away by mistake in the hospital. But no matter how ugly it is, it has grown up to this age. What else can we do?" Zhang Wanwan said with a helpless expression. Photographer. "Okay, he shouldn't laugh. How could he beat this couple?" After chatting with these two old ladies for a while, Zhang Wanwan's jealousy disappeared. The two old ladies must have really thought of Shenfeng as their son at first. After knowing that they were a couple, they acted quite apologetically. Zhang Wanwan naturally wouldn't argue with the two old ladies, and even started chatting with them. Shenchang was pushing Zhang Wanwan from behind, and the few of them were talking as they walked. It looks very natural. If the audience didn't know that Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan were wearing makeup, they would even think that Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan were just two old people, especially Zhang Wanwan, as she talked with the two elderly people, except that her voice sounded a little strange from time to time. There was almost no trace of youth in her. Zhang Wanwan is now immersed in the role. Really, no wonder Xu Yingdi praised Wan Ji's acting skills. His acting skills are really strong. I didn't watch the live broadcast of that episode, but now I finally got to see Zhang Wanwan's acting skills with my own eyes. It should be difficult for young people to play the role of an old person, but she can still play it so well. I would say that her acting skills are among the best among the new generation of actors. I think no one would object, right? The audience also praised Chang Wan-won's acting skills. After all, the acting skills of the world-class movie queen in her previous life, when compared with those of the current domestic traffic stars, are simply a dimensionality reduction attack. A few people were chatting and soon walked to a few stone tables. There is a chessboard carved on the stone table, and several old men are playing chess there. The two old ladies said to one of the old men who was playing chess alone, "Old Li, we have a newcomer here." Lao Li is a thin old man wearing glasses. After listening to what the two old ladies said, he moved his eyes away from the chessboard and looked at Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. He nodded at the two of them, then continued looking at the chessboard, acting as if he didn't care. When the two old ladies saw this, they hurriedly explained to Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, "Don't worry about it. Old Li is just like that. He doesn't like to be distracted when playing chess. In fact, he is a very nice person. And why does he play chess by himself?" Zhang Wanwan asked doubtfully. There were quite a few people playing chess around, and many old men standing around watching. If MRLI is really a good person, why doesn't anyone want to play chess with him? An old lady waved her hand and said, "Don't mention it. Lao Li is usually a good person, but when it comes to playing chess, he immediately becomes a different person. He is so serious. He also thinks that other people's skills are poor and they are all bad chess players. He doesn't like to play with others and just likes to figure things out on his own. I heard him say before he seems to be some kind of chess master. And he seems to be quite good." Zhang Wanwan nodded upon hearing this. "I also came over and watched Lao Li play chess. She also knows a little about chess, but only enough to play against her father and the old men in the park." Looking at the endgame that Lao Li was studying, Zhang Wanwan felt overwhelmed after just a few glances. Isn't the red team bound to lose? Not really. Shen Feng, who was standing behind Zhang Wanwan, said, "It is difficult for the red team to win, but it is not impossible to win." As Shen Feng spoke, he stepped forward, picked up a red chess piece, and made a move. "Hey, don't move the chessboard, Lao Li." An old lady tried to stop Shen Feng. Lao Li is a nice person, but he is a different person when it comes to chess. Especially when he is studying the chess game, he will get angry with anyone who touches his chessboard. Unfortunately, it was too late for the old lady to speak. Shen Feng has already moved the chess piece. As expected, Lao Li's expression became unhappy. He looked at Shen Feng and said, "Brother, what are you doing? A true gentleman watches chess without saying a word. You are so rude to move the chess piece directly." An old lady nearby wanted to apologize to Lao Li on behalf of Shen Feng. Shen Feng reached out and tapped the chessboard. "Old Li, it's time for you to go." Old Li frowned. He looked at Shen Feng twice, and finally took a black chess piece and made a move. It just happened to block Shen Feng's red bead. "Tell me, what's the point of making this move? In the end, you still got stuck by me. Do you think I can't think of such a simple chess move?" Lao Li said. Shen Sheng smiled without saying anything and moved another red piece. "It's even more childish than the previous move. Have you ever learned it to play chess?" Old Li said, and directly used his black piece to eat Shen Feng's red piece. Hong Zi was already at a disadvantage, and now that another one had been eaten, Hong Zi's disadvantage became even greater. But Shen Feng remained calm and continued playing chess. Old Li didn't want to leave with Shen Feng in the first place. He was already annoyed when someone touched his chess pieces, especially when the opponent was a terrible chess player. But when he took the steps impatiently with Shen Feng, Lao Li's expression changed. Because he suddenly realized that the seemingly childish moves Shen Sheng had just made were actually intended to lure the tiger away from the mountain and set up a bigger plan. And he has already stepped into the game. Lao Li's expression became serious, and he began to carefully consider each of his next moves, striving to break the deadlock. But under Shen Feng's encirclement, he found that he could only retreat step by step. After more than a dozen rounds of bargaining, he had no choice but to sell his car and gun to save his life. This time He's advantage was greatly weakened. Old Li finally looked straight at Shen Feng. He made a gesture to Shen Feng, indicating Shen Feng to sit on the stone bench opposite. Shen Feng shook his head. He picked up another red piece. Just one step. Seemingly no effect. But after looking at the chessboard for a long time, MRL, I let out a long sigh. I lost. I didn't expect this game to be so messed up. Zhang Wanwan asked doubtfully, "Lost? Why?" She still hasn't figured out what's going on. At this time, the audience in the Li broadcast room were also asking the same question. As a national-level chess and card game, there are still many people who understand the rules of chess, but many people didn't see how Kuroko lost. At this moment, a user with the ID chess player Wang Ping suddenly posted a barrage in the Li broadcast room. After 5 moves, the red piece is in check after 10 moves. A red piece is dead, the black piece can only follow the red piece's rhythm. So the black piece has already lost. The professionals are here. I didn't expect that Feng Zi and Wan Wan's fans include chess masters. You even thought of what will happen 5 or 10 steps later. How amazing. Is Wang Ping the champion of the previous National Chess Championship? He is really awesome. When Wang Ping saw this comment, he couldn't help but burst into tears and laugh. He tapped the keyboard and typed a line of words. I am a big shot. No, the one sitting opposite Feng Zi is the real big shot. Don't you recognize him? That's the old chess king Li Ziyu, the first president of our domestic chess association. Seeing this comment, the audience was stunned. Chapter 80 to this depends on my son's opinion. Many people may not recognize what some industry leaders look like, but almost everyone has heard of his name. Li Ziyu is such a figure in the chess world. Before the domestic chess community became formalized, it was Li Ziyu who led a group of people and built up the domestic chess association bit by bit. After chess competitions became formalized, he led his team abroad and won several championships. He is truly a chess king. Even if some viewers do not understand chess or pay attention to chess, they have more or less heard of Li Ziyu's name. Who would have thought that this skinny old man wearing a vest and shorts, reading glasses, sitting on a stone pier in a nursing home in a small county town, would actually be a former chess king? Not to mention the audience. Even director Chen was shocked at this moment. He also never expected that while Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were recording the show, they would actually bump into a national treasure level talent. It's overdue. I have to pay the old chess king for his appearance in the show. After being shocked, director Chen started calculating with his calculator again. At this time, inside the nursing home, Li Ziyu sighed, then suddenly reached out and set up the chessboard. Then he stretched out his hand towards Shen Feng. Brother, do you want another round? Chen Sheng did not reply, but looked at Zhang Wanwan first. It doesn't matter whether he plays chess or not. The main thing is to see whether Zhang Wanwan will feel bored. It's okay, it's interesting to watch you play chess. Come on. Zhang Wanwan knows a little bit about chess, so she found it fun to watch the two of them play chess. Seeing this, Shen Feng nodded and sat opposite Li Ziyu. Red moves first, then black, and the game begins. Many spectators who understand chess also began to concentrate and watch the game. After all, one of the parties is an old chess king who has retired for many years. Even many professional chess players came to the late broadcast room. They were all called here by Wang Ping and some other chess players who were chasing Peng Hubei CP. For a while, the late broadcast room of this dating variety show seemed to have become a place for professional chess players to build their team. The old chess king is indeed the old chess king. His moves are murderous, yet very meticulous, with both offensive and defensive capabilities. To be honest, the chess king probably underestimated his opponent in the last game. This time, the feeling when playing against Feng Zi is obviously different. But Feng Zi is not outdone. I found Feng Zi is so strong. When I played chess with my dad, he gave me the characters that I couldn't beat. But Feng Zi was able to compete with the old chess king. Obviously, we are both young people. Is this the gap? Dude, have you just realized the gap between you and Shen Shen? He treats solving advanced math problems as a hobby, knows several foreign languages, plays the piano at a professional level, and his cooking skills are comparable to those of state banquet chefs. The gap between you and him is huge. Some spectators were studying the chess game. Some viewers who don't know much about chess are studying Shen Feng, and those professional chess players. At first, he was studying the chess game, but gradually, he began to study Shen Feng. Many of them had never watched this show before, and they didn't know that Shen Feng was originally a young man. At first I thought Shen Feng was really an old man. After reading the comments, they realized that the man who was playing back and forth with the old chess king on the chessboard was actually a young man in his 20s. In a communication group of professional chess players, someone sent a message. MRLI is playing chess with someone. Are you watching? Looking at it, who is that person? I think his chess style is very unique, and he can even fight Mr. Li on equal terms. To be honest, I think it's 40-60. With MRLI taking 40%, the guy called Shen Sheng is already trying to find Mr. Li's weakness, while MRLI is still on the defensive. I heard that it was a young man in makeup. Could he be the apprentice of some old chess player? He must be at the level of a first-class chess player. Everyone in the group was talking about it. Although they all understand that a chess game is full of twists and turns, one cannot judge a person's level based on the situation of one game alone. But if he can fight like this with Master Li, how could he be weak? But gradually, these chess players stopped talking about Shen Feng. They started talking about the chess game again. Because, 20 minutes later, when the chessboard reached the endgame, the excitement of the game between Shen Feng and Li Ziyu was no less than the final of the national championship. No professional chess player would want to miss this high-quality game. 20 minutes later, each of them had to think for a long time before taking each step. And almost every step is full of murderous intent and can pose a threat to the opponent. Many spectators, even those who were not professional chess players, watched with bated breath. The number of barrages in the live broadcast room has obviously decreased a lot. But the audience is constantly increasing. Director Chen was holding his cell phone at this time. On Weibo, the entry has become a hot search. The official account of the Chess Association reposted the trending search and started a live broadcast to broadcast the game between Shen Feng and Li Ziyu. In a blink of an eye, another 15 minutes passed. When Shen Sheng uttered the last word, he blocked all the retreat routes for veteran Li Ziyu. Li Ziyu put down the chess piece and shook his head. I lost. Li Ziyu lost. Although Li Ziyu knew he was going to lose several steps ago, he still wanted to struggle. Unfortunately, it failed in the end. This opponent is really, really strong. He looked at Shen Feng and said with a smile, "Brother, you are amazing. Which famous master did you learn from?" Shen Feng also smiled. "I don't have a teacher. I learned it by myself when I had nothing to do. It just took me a little longer to learn by myself. Besides, who dares to call himself a master in front of the chess king?" Li Ziyu was stunned. It seemed that he didn't expect Shen Feng to recognize him. But he quickly nodded again. Yes, this guy is so good at chess. He must have a deep understanding of chess, so it is normal for him to know him. Zhang Wanwan asked in confusion, "Chess king? What chess king? MRLI Ziyu, didn't you buy his chess manual back then?" Shen Feng said. Zhang Wanwan was shocked when she heard it. You are MRLI? Li Ziyu quickly said, "Hey, old sister. We are almost the same, so don't call me Old Li anymore." Zhang Wanwan was still in shock. This Old Li is Li Ziyu? Doesn't that mean that Shen Feng just beat the old chess king in chess? Feng Zi, this is too fierce. Also had similar ideas to Zhang Wanwan were the viewers in the leap broadcast room. When Shen Shun just won, they were still a little slow to react. At this time, large numbers of barrages of comments began to float out. Is Feng Zi so exaggerated? She actually won? I thought it was great that Feng Zi didn't lose badly. But I didn't expect him to win. That's the old chess king. Brother Feng is awesome. Originally wasn't interested in chess. But after seeing the game between Feng Zi and the old chess king at the end, I was completely excited. Now I really want to find someone to play a few games with. That Wang Ping also showed up again. Although one cannot judge the level of chess skills by just one game, I have to say that Shen Feng's level is definitely top professional. This is the unanimous conclusion reached by him and other people in the Chess Player Exchange group. This comment from a professional not only made the comments in the live broadcast room even more exciting, it also made Shen Feng a hot topic again. Shen Feng is a professional chess player. Shen Feng defeats the old chess king. When such entries appear on the hot searches, more and more people who previously paid no attention to entertainment news click in. Among them, there is a business owner who loves playing chess, an old man who often plays chess with his friends in the park. There are also some professional players in other chess events. If we say that Zhang Wanwan's acting skills and the praise from the veteran actor last time brought the first wave of popularity to Peng Hubei, now, Shen Feng's victory over the old chess king has brought about a second wave of popularity. However, Shen Feng didn't know that he was on the hot search again. At this time, Li Ziyu was pulling Shen Feng, wanting to win another game. Shen Feng waved his hand and refused. "Forget it, I still have to take my wife around. The game I just played with Li Ziyu is definitely of high quality." One game lasted more than half an hour. Although Shen Feng was enjoying it. This was a recording of a dating variety show. This isn't a videotaped chess match. Li Ziyu felt a little regretful when he heard this. But he did not refuse. Instead, he collected the chess pieces, stood up and said, "Okay, then I'll get up and walk around with you guys. By the way, are you two new to the nursing home?" "Well, we just arrived, but we are here just to take a look and experience life today," Shen Feng said. "Oh, brother, this courtyard is pretty good. You don't have to experience it yet, just stay here and come play chess with me every day. Okay?" Shen Feng smiled and looked at Zhang Wanwan. "And I'll have to ask my wife for her opinion." Zhang Wanwan also acted as if she didn't make up her mind and said, "We two old guys don't have the final say. This depends on my son's opinion." Upon hearing this, Li Ziyu looked at the photographer standing behind Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. After a moment, he couldn't help but say, "How come your son doesn't look like you at all? He looks much worse than you." The photographer was about to cry. "Although I am not very handsome, could you please not emphasize this to everyone? Also, who is their son?" Chapter 83 You and I. Just as the two old ladies said before, Li Ziyu is indeed a person with a good personality when he is not playing chess. He took Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan on a tour of the nursing home. He also enthusiastically introduced the situation of the nursing home to the two of them. Judging from his performance, it seems that he really hopes Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan can stay. This made Zhang Wanwan feel a little guilty. Because they were not destined to stay in this nursing home, they came here just to film the show. But now she couldn't tell the truth to Li. While Zhang Wanwan was feeling guilty, Shen Feng and Li Ziyu were chatting. Chen Feng called Li Ziyu the old chess king, but Li Ziyu just smiled bitterly and waved his hands. What old chess king, brother? This era no longer belongs to me. When we learned chess, we could only study chess manuals by ourselves or play with others face to face. So our level improved very slowly. Now I hear that young people play chess with A. They think they are amazing if they can rely on computers to review the game and play chess with all kinds of powerful people online. To be honest, I can't even beat some young professional players now. So how can I be called a chess king? There was some helplessness and vicissitudes in Li Ziyu's tone. As he is old, he is indeed unable to keep up with the pace of development.